Hey guys, welcome back. It's our annual movie podcast. It's been a year since the last one, and we're
Chase is excited. That's all
Chase
I
is
know.
pumped. Chase is crying.
He can't get that grin off his face.
He's happy. He's excited. We're gonna go through some highs and lows this year. Definitely
50
A
movies
lot of
again.
lows, mostly lows.
lot of lows.
I thought that, but there's some
Towards the
gems.
end.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see.
good year.
Kinda.
Let's get us started.
All right.
All right.
Are we going chronological?
No, they're not in order.
Random. Gotcha.
Let's start with Elvis.
Oh boy, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis.
Yeah,
Saw that
Certainly
in
is
marketing.
is
Fucking
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, it was
Whoever
it was
edited
enjoyable.
yeah.
I had a lot of his style. I think a little too much.
It was
Dragged on a little long. Austin Butler was really good, and
Tom Hanks wasn't.
Tom Hanks wasn't. I guess he was like fine. He was just so distracting.
He had too much screen time, I think. But I mean, he was the main antagonist, but
Yeah, I think I would have
his
preferred the
character
movie.
was so fucking. I don't know.
I think I would have preferred the
What's
movie
the character?
not be told like from his perspective.
I wish the
just
movie
rather-
wasn't so like
That's what I'm saying.
edited
Why'd
so
they spend
weird.
so much time on him?
It was like a 2-hour long like anime intro. Like
He
there's
wants
something.
to make an anime.
And every
He should just
time-
make an anime.
Every time it went back to the hotel, it'd be
It's
some
just-
like crazy ass fly thing. It's like just go
Fucking
straight to the
show
room.
concept.
I
Like
don't
the
know.
intro was like a gun shooting into like the casino things in like Las Vegas and like
And
Yeah.
it switches scenes like there's like parts missing.
Yeah.
Like it just like jumps to something. It doesn't really. You gotta like kind of figure out where you're at. It
Yeah.
was a cool idea, but I don't really like it.
What other movie did he direct? I don't like.
Greg Gatsby
Yeah.
and Romeo
I don't
and
like that
Juliet.
movie either.
Romeo and Juliet is the like craziest fucking movie.
Yeah, I did like enjoy it. I did think it was a little too long.
I didn't
And
love it. I also didn't like the visual, like the super like saturated look it always had, and like
That's
it.
what I'm saying. It was just
It's,
a
like,
weird
dark.
movie.
Vegas,
And, like-
baby.
Yeah, but like
there were parts that like I thought the style worked really well though. Like I remember the first scene, like where he starts doing all the movies and stuff, and it like played it as like the whatever like era movies that it was like edited like that, and it was cool. And there were moments like that that I thought it worked well, but then a lot of it I thought was a little overdone, and
Just took away.
it just shouldn't have been as long as it was, and he could have used a little less.
Hey, if that's not the theme for the entire year.
yeah,
Long
It was a long year.
for real.
Yeah, I mean, I still like generally enjoyed it, but it wasn't. I wouldn't say top tier. His performance is really the only thing that's carrying that.
It's
movie.
kind of cringe
Yeah.
though that he's like, oh, I can't
Yeah.
switch it between my real voice.
Yeah.
It's like, all right. I didn't know you were that fucking good of an actor.
He's the Maze Runner's friend.
What?
Never mind.
You're talking about Dune?
No.
Oh.
No,
Yeah, it was all right. It was good. It's a musical biopic.
Deez.
They're always pretty decent.
Are we-
Rarely good.
Are we doing our rankings of it?
Like a number?
Out of 10?
Yeah. Start us off.
I don't remember.
I'll start us off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give it 5.5.
Okay.
it has.
I was just
Are we doing halves? Let's do
We gotta
halves.
decide now. Let's do halves. I don't care.
No halves.
6.
I was also going to say 6.
I gave it a 7. I'll still stick with a 7. Still enjoyed it. It's a little too long.
I'll keep it a 6.
Well, lovely. Next movie, Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Oh.
Whew.
Snorefest.
Snooze.
What? I think it is one of the best video game adaptations of all time.
Most anticipated movie series of the year for
I
sure.
mean, it's
Not
pretty successful.
anticipated.
People like them. They make money.
I think it gave,
They're
like,
not awful.
This
for some
entire
reason.
series is going to give the fans everything they want. They started off strong with the first one. Then they started
First
like
one
fine
was
with the
really
first
good.
one.
I like this
Fell
more than the
asleep
first
during
one.
the first
I think also this one was a little too long, as in the 10-minute wedding sequence.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be in the movie.
It was kind of funny though when he was like an undercover cop. Was that it?
And like the Olive Garden, like
They didn't
guy.
do the Olive Garden in the
Well, the-
second one, did they?
No, there was Olive
It was
Garden.
Olive Garden.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the like Sonic stuff is good. It's enjoyable.
I like Jim Carrey too.
I really like Jim
feel
Carrey.
everybody likes
Idris
him.
Elba. I really liked his
Can you
knuckles.
say this is like the last movie he's doing for a while?
I'm sure he'll be in the third
done.
one.
Probably.
I was sick of
Yeah,
this.
because everyone was like, "Oh, is he gonna be in the third one?"
I'm sure he will be. Yeah, I like Knuckles. The supersonic stuff at the end, that was all cool.
That was
Just fun.
It's
And
just
then-
a fun movie.
And then the teaser of Shadow at the end.
Epic.
Shadow's cool.
Shadow is
Shadow
cool.
Tails should be a
Super.
girl.
Oh,
There's a lack of girl power. in
I
this
like
movie.
wanted like more Tails in the movie because I didn't really get
Why
like
that character?
because I didn't get like
so
a
annoying.
feeling of like who Tails was like as a character.
Tails is a
Can't believe you just
pilot.
said that.
He didn't like
Tails is a 42-year-old man
The
that
Sonic
can
movie.
that can fly a
I just
plane.
wanted more.
I wanted more Tails.
Tails is a 42-year-old man that can fly a plane even though he has tails to fly, and also is really good at technology.
Yeah, but how can he fly Sonic if he's not flying?
How could he what?
You know how he has this plane?
Yeah. He has his plane, but he can still like fly with
Yeah.
his tails,
That's cool.
which I don't understand why that's a.
What are you saying, man?
I'm saying that's how like he has to be able to fly Sonic with him. Like Sonic can't
He
fly.
can, no, there have
What is
been
this
plenty
point?
of games where you
I
can
don't
hold,
understand your point.
where you can play as
just a
Tails
fact.
and hold Sonic and Knuckles.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Enjoyable movie.
That was
Kind
fun. It just wasn't nearly as on board. You had to be a fan of the Sonic lore.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Which I'm not. But I still, when he went Super Sonic, I went,
Yo! Alright.
Next.
Did he
Wait,
uh,
go-
no, we gotta rank it.
ratings, baby.
I'm not ranking this. I didn't finish it. Here you go.
What? You not see with this?
I don't know.
Let's hear it, Mr. Hater.
I don't care about that movie really. I thought it was fun to watch.
I don't care.
I
That's
give it a 7 because it wasn't really outstandingly bad, but I just don't. There's nothing like crazy about it. It was just fun.
7.
I give it a 7. Enjoyable most of the way through.
Can't wait for the third one.
Ended on a high note.
I mean, I would watch the third one, so that's something.
We'll be there. The Black Phone. Little horror thriller. Little fun.
Suspenseful.
Who's it directed by again? It's not
Scott
James.
Derrickson,
Okay, yeah.
director of Doctor Strange and Sinister. I thought this was a pretty fine to like solid thriller. Nothing about it impressed me too much.
I like the style, especially when the like dead kids or whatever are on the phone.
Yeah.
Kind of used like old camera footage, but that's I don't know.
Yeah, and they help him escape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I really don't. I feel like I have the least to say about this movie. Like any other movie, it was like pretty straightforward.
That was
I
creative.
thought it did everything pretty fine. Yeah, it was like.
Was this
Yeah,
before or after Halloween Ends?
this was before.
That was before.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was why I liked it more.
I just liked it, or I think I also just kind of wished that.
This
Ethan
was part
Hawke
of the parade fail, correct? When we tried to go
Yeah.
see it, and that there was a parade,
and then he couldn't go.
so we couldn't make it.
I thought Ethan Hawke should have been like in it more or explored more because they had the masks in the movie, and they didn't explain any of it. Or
The
like,
girls also her like psychic powers.
yeah, she just sees
They, like-
shit in dreams.
Well, they didn't like end up mattering, right? Because it was like the wrong
Well, she
house
found
that they. Yeah, but it was like they did the fake out where like the houses were like swapped at the end.
But she still had like clues leading to it, and they got the brother. Because remember, the brother was the one who lived there. or
Yeah.
something? Or maybe I don't remember it right, but
Yeah, I was. I didn't think it was really anything special, but I didn't regret watching it.
yeah,
Didn't impress me, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was pretty solid all the way through.
I'll give it a 6.
I don't know. You go.
I'm happy with a 6 with that one.
I guess I'll do 6.
All right, let's go with the
Joseph's
crowd.
opinion.
Bullet Train, Joseph's favorite movie of the year.
Oh,
That's
wow.
pretty good.
Honestly, so the
Enjoyable.
reason I watched this is I watched Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and then I finished it, and Josh was like, honestly, I was like, that movie was awful. And he was like, Bullet Train's like a good bit better than that. And I was like, I
That means I
expected
must
Bullet
have
Train
really
to be
hated
terrible.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
Yeah.
because I didn't even love Bullet Train.
Yeah,
But like,
I thought I went into it thinking it was going to be like
the trailers made it look rough.
really bad.
These trailers were stinky.
In the first half of the movie, I think is
We
still
watch it every time we go to the movie.
yeah.
yeah. I think the first half was just like still like not good, but I really like. I like the style of the action in that movie. I thought it was kind of cool. I mean,
Yeah.
not that there was like a ton of great sequences. The one on like the quiet train where they're like kind of being quiet, but he also like Brad Pitt falls like 6 feet onto the ground and smacks the floor, and they're on the quiet train, and it's like you guys are making like a shit ton of noise. Like
you tell. I mean, yeah, that was there were some fun sequences.
That was just stupid. That was just stupid. That drove me nuts when I was watching it for whatever reason.
There's a lot of dumb stuff in that movie. I generally enjoyed like how it was all like set up though, with like the cutaways.
Also,
to,
the
like,
water bottle thing was like freaking
was
awesome.
funny.
I thought that was
my favorite part of the movie.
That was my favorite part of it.
I really liked the orange or tangerine
truck thing.
And Brian and
Lemon.
Aaron Taylor Johnson. Yeah, they're like
Lemon.
brothers. That was like I feel like
I think all the characters were pretty solid.
Yeah.
They were interesting. I don't like
the main character.
I don't like
the
what's
three
her
of them.
name? What's her name?
Joey King? Or the
She just been in a lot of bad
Prince.
movies.
I hate
Are you
that.
thinking of the poison
What's
lady?
the-
I'm thinking
Prince.
I
That's
forgot
what
about her.
she
Also,
is
with the
in the
guy that
movie.
dies at the beginning, whose like wife was poisoned at the wedding.
You mean the
son
father?
of-
No,
he's
like the wolf.
No, that's the wolf is the guy who comes onto the train.
That's
with
his dad,
afro.
though.
No,
Wait.
no, it's not.
The wolf is the one
father-
that's like the
The wolf is the Mexican
Yeah.
dude whose
wife
was
got killed at the wedding. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about him.
That's
Yeah,
Bad
That's the
Bunny.
wolf.
That's
Yeah.
him.
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny, yeah.
He's like a singer.
You serious?
That's him.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
He's like acting.
Didn't
now.
know
He's
that.
in that movie.
Well, I didn't like him.
The rap.
He died the second he came
Also,
back.
his like backstory, they do like that weird like sequence, and it's like playing music and showing his like
I've already thrown
his
up.
backstory. Yeah, and it's like really abridged. It doesn't really like I don't even know why they bothered. Like just
Well,
show
it's
me this
just
guy.
to show the connection between
Yeah.
each of the characters.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
that
know,
that
but
stuff
they
was,
just
like,
give a backstory. It has nothing to do with all the connection is at the wedding. The backstory was like just some shitty sequence of that movie.
Yeah.
I don't
I
remember
know.
it being that long, so I didn't care.
I don't either.
I watched this much more recently.
It had
than you guys.
it had like a little bit of style to it. It was fun. The water bottle thing was funny. I remember the ending looked really bad with like the CG.
Yeah.
train.
The
Like,
CG was
that looked
really bad.
rough. He's like flying through the air.
And then he's like,
He lands on
the
the teddy
movie
bear,
ends.
right?
The movie, like the last line in that movie, he's like, I'm turtle heading. And he's like, I gotta go.
Some weak writing towards the end. I guess
Yeah.
they must have been under the clock.
I liked Brad Pitt, like character, and like
I like
the
that
whole
kid.
the concept that he's like in therapy, and like I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah, the trailers made it look like it was gonna be the fucking worst movie ever, but
Yeah.
it ended up being decent.
Ryan
It was
Reynolds
a
cameo.
fun
Yeah.
action comedy, better than expected.
That's that. As far as those
Served its
go,
purpose.
it was like pretty. I think it was above mid tier for like action comedies that are.
It was doing
Recent.
something right. Something.
I like.
I remember.
agree.
I remember
Like,
chuckling.
I had a few laughs, maybe.
yeah, it's pretty
I
gory.
was never
movie.
dying, but
Yeah,
I'm sure somebody in
yeah, I'm sure they
I
were.
was cringing my
People were
pants
easy
off.
to please.
There were like there was one part where like, there's like those two characters that were like. They get the briefcase off the train and they're like, "Should we open it? What if it's a bomb?" And it like is a bomb.
Oh,
And I was like watching
Oh.
it. And I was like, got
That
the
was
whole room.
It was like the
geeking.
two bodyguards.
Yeah.
Or whatever you call it.
So
Yeah.
stupid.
That was
It's like
pretty
what?
funny.
I was like,
They were right.
they were.
yeah. It was fun. In terms of like dumb action movies this year, probably one of the better ones.
I agree.
So yeah,
I'd give it probably a 7.
6.5.
Are we doing half?
So we weren't doing hubs.
Oh, okay, that's actually better. 6.
I was thinking 6 or 7.
So
Well, which is it?
yeah.
We'll go 6.
Yeah, we're dogging on this year as far as movies, but like
They're really
we're
heavy,
also
man.
given everything has been above like a.
I would say 6 is like. I know you say.
Yeah, but when I'm
5
saying it was
is
like a good
5 is
year,
a-
I'm not thinking about Bullet Train like existing.
That's true.
I was like,
Well, I remember watching a bunch of movies where I left the theater and I was like, that was freaking awful.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
I can't
maybe,
think
like-
of any good movies besides like Top Gun was good.
oh, we'll get there.
Oh,
I don't
shit,
know.
that movie was
Guess we'll-
really good.
I guess I just.
All right. Did you say yours 6?
7.
7. Cool. Next is The Bob's Burgers movie.
Uh,
Did anyone watch that?
Peggy.
I watched it.
I don't know what happens.
I've seen the show. It actually is like a pretty good, like, you've never seen the show before. This lets you know what you need to know.
So you can watch it without seeing the show?
Yeah.
Just like the Simpsons movie?
Yeah. That movie's good though.
Burgers.
7. It was fine. I barely remember it. It was good.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
it was like funny as I don't think the show's like laugh out loud funny, but it was like charming. So.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, next.
Yeah.
Simpsons movie would have got
Doctor
that
Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
Fucking 2.
Oh dang.
Wasn't that bad?
I'm just joking around here.
Where to begin?
That was a lot better. I didn't watch the second time, but after the first view, I was like, it was pretty good. I liked the style and stuff. And then I thought about it more and saw more stuff about it. And I was like, that movie kind of fucking like really sucks.
Yeah.
The story doesn't make any sense.
I think you can like look at it with like two ways where you like that it's Sam Raimi and that there's a lot more Raimi stuff that you would
It's different
expect.
from Marvel.
And it was fun and all that stuff was pretty good or well done. And then you think about
Story.
the plot, the story, the characters, the writing, the visual effects are all really bad.
Yeah.
So what do you do with that? What do you do with that?
It was just a nice break from everything else coming out of like Marvel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There were like a lot of like fun sequences that I still remember, like the music fight.
The music fight was one of my favorites.
I remember like the camera work when she first takes over the body of like the other Scarlet Witch and like the other universe was cool.
I like the zombie strain.
I was just about to say
looked
that.
Sick. And the music, like the heavy guitar.
Yeah,
was very
good.
goofy like transitions with like Wong like stepping into frame like the.
I mean, they were cool. Yeah.
They were like
is it Spider-Man 2 or something where like
yeah. There's some like transition in Spider-Man that's like the exact same thing.
It's the eye one, isn't it?
Maybe.
Where it like zooms in on her eye to like a.
Oh,
It's kind of,
there's that one, but it's like a separate
there's
one.
one where like he's just like in the scene and then like it changes behind him.
And I know because every time we watch it, you're like, oh, I don't remember that. I
I don't
remember.
remember that. Must delete from my memory.
Yeah, all that stuff was good. The zombie strange thing was cool. He makes a cape of demons, and
It was fucking dope.
it was cool.
Other than that, like the
None of those
story
made
made
sense.
sense.
It's real bad.
Yeah.
Making Wanda the villain, I think, was the stupid. I mean,
They really
they
shoved
should.
the bad
I think
there.
they should have done that at some point, or like I think that would have been an interesting route to take. But the way they did it was like seemed early and like it was totally rushed.
And coming off of WandaVision, we're like,
Where-
they
yeah,
just
it concluded
mishandled all of this because
feel like
WandaVision
they had-
treats it at the end like she didn't really do that bad of a thing because
And she
Monica
realized what
Rambeau
she
was
did.
like,
And then
"Oh,
she's
I'm
like
sorry."
super evil.
Yeah, and they're using the excuse that she's like corrupted by the Darkhold, but that sucks because then they're just trying to like take away like blame from the character, but that also doesn't like explain really like how much control she has over her actions. So you're like, is she actually doing this?
Yeah.
And then she's like, I want to be with my kids, my fake kids,
She kills herself.
but not Vision or Quicksilver, and.
Yeah, where do you draw the line as far as like fake kids that you only had for like a couple weeks and like your childhood best friend and brother or
Apparently
maybe
she
your
loves the kids.
husband?
I feel like they
They were very real. That's like a good reason to be pretty upset, but fake children is like
Also, like,
mid tier.
didn't they conclude that like in the show that she like. I guess there was like the post credit scene where she like found the Darkhold or whatever. But
yeah.
I feel like it was kind of like.
But it doesn't explain, I guess they say it a little bit, but they don't explain, like, really what it is or, like, what it's doing to her. Her, like, fingers
They
are
just
all,
throw
like,
it in
black.
there.
Yeah, it's just, like, give an excuse
It's a
Yeah.
for
fucking,
her being
what's it
evil.
MacGuffin. What the fuck is that word?
McMuffin.
Egg
McGuffin.
McMuffin.
Is that it?
No, it's a McGuffin.
It's McGuffin.
Okay.
McGuffin.
MacGuffin.
It just is, like, a movie that, like, really nothing makes sense.
And it like visually
Like, worse than usual.
cool.
And they
I
throw
guess.
in like
Yeah.
Fantastic Four and
The Illuminati
Professor
stuff.
X.
John Krasinski's first movie universe.
and then it's like
Oh no!
and then it doesn't make like they all died. It
That's
doesn't
a
make any
strong-
sense.
That whole sequence is
It's
just...
like, you guys are. s-
I mean, I like the violent
Girl
deaths.
Captain America.
The
Once you
I can
think
do this
about
all
it.
day. The Captain
dies.
Oh no!
Uh,
There's so many memes about that part. It's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it's just that whole entire scene is just ridiculous. Just like the whole like
Just the
getting
writing.
inside of what's his name?
Professor
Professor X is like mine, and then just snapping.
She's like a zombie
Yeah.
for some reason.
Turning what's called into
Spaghetti.
rubber.
And all the cool things happen, but they all happen at the expense of like not making any
Bad
sense.
writing.
Yeah, like really bad writing.
Who wrote on that?
Michael
That's
Waldron,
what I thought.
writer of Loki.
Writer-
Yeah, makes some sense.
The genius.
Wait,
behind
World's
Loki.
nothing makes sense. That's just his thing. He's gonna write.
But it was
some
fun.
King
How do
Dynasty.
you keep getting hired for shit like that? I don't understand. There's obviously negative feedback towards the
I mean,
story.
this movie had like a lot of issues because this is another thing. The other Mordo like not being in the movie after the post-credit scene where he's like clearly supposed to be in the sequel.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna kill all the sorcerers, and he just isn't in this movie. But then the other universe Mordo is in it, but he like sucks.
Still a bad guy.
Yeah. And America Chavez, like, yeah, she's not a character. She's just like a yeah. She's just like a plot device. But the fact they do the whole like Doctor Strange telling her to believe in herself, and then she can control her powers at the end thing, but without any real build up to it, and like the memory store thing. You don't really like step on those pads and like it shows your memory up on the TV.
I think so. Oh, and like the different universe.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like they
actually
could've
brilliant.
been
idea.
Dumb stuff. Just really dumb stuff.
I feel like they could have done more with the universes too, because they only had that one sequence where they like go through like different.
Oh, we're paid.
worlds. But then that's it. And then
Oh, we have pizza balls here, and you stop on red.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
crazy.
And then they don't do anything else with that, despite her having powers to travel to like different dimensions.
Yeah, it's
And
like-
they
There's
just get
another
stuck in
multiverse movie this year that kind of wiped the
weak.
floor with it.
What the fuck is the point of that being like this saga, the multiverse saga, if they do like practically nothing with it?
Yeah.
What's the other multiverse movie that did that?
Spider-Man.
No.
That came out this
What are you
year.
talking about?
Everything everywhere.
Yeah.
That didn't.
I was
That
talking
totally
about, I was
went
talking
into
about
it.
Marvel. Not,
No, that's what I meant. I meant like that
It
movie
did
wiped
so
the
much,
floor
yeah.
with this with this movie because it was better.
'cause they're
Oh,
fucking
like
crazy.
I thought you meant.
Oh
Okay.
no. God no.
They're talking about Marvel.
I think that's about all I have to say. I really like all the Raimi stuff, but
Shit's cool, but story
the
sucks.
writing is real rough.
Yeah,
But it's not his
overall,
fault because he
that
didn't
was
write it.
like.
So
Yeah.
I remember watching that, and I remember leaving that movie and being like, "Oh,
yeah.
that was really not good."
Yeah.
It like
just
put me
so
at
sad.
yeah.
Doctor Strange. It's like 6 years in the making for a sequel.
Maybe if I was like a little more like, if I had seen less cool
Blind.
visual effects, in like I've just seen that done so many times, probably better. That it's not as
Well, yeah, the
entertaining.
first
just
Doctor
like,
Strange was like
I
that was a
talked to
talking
someone
point,
else.
was the visual effects.
Yeah, I talked to someone else about it, and they're like, "Oh, the visual effects in that movie were so cool," and it's like, yeah, but at the same time, like for the standard of like, they could have done a whole lot more. I think it's like a 4.
Well, even that one scene from
gonna say that.
Far From Home with him and what's his face was
Goblin.
like 10 minutes was really cool.
Don't know whether they're going through the multiverse.
Wait, I'm thinking
the
I'm thinking the
geometry.
French one. Let's away.
I
The
don't
second
even
one.
know what you're talking about.
French?
Far From Home.
Spider-Man away from New York.
Far From Home.
No, yeah, I was right.
What were you saying about it?
Just the train, like when he's like caught in Mysterio,
Oh,
his little like the train goes by, like that whole like that 5-minute sequence.
Oh, the like illusion scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
I thought
that was
was
cool.
even that was.
Yeah,
really
I mean, there
good
lots
for
of these
that
movies
time.
have had cool visual effects.
Yeah.
This one just had a lot of stuff that I did like, but can't make up for bad writing.
And even the style, the one like good thing it, like kind of has for it is like completely polarizing. Like there are plenty. Of
Yeah.
people
Also,
that
people.
hate that.
Yeah,
It's
like
just cheesy at the end of the day.
yeah.
But you,
some
like, you
people don't
get
like the
that.
epic
I
guitar
wasn't-
strings when he's doing magic, but I think that's fun.
That was
I mean, I thought that was cool,
Yeah.
but like not like so cool that it redeemed
It is
any
cheesy.
other part.
Yeah, he knows what he's. I think he just made the most out of a bad situation he was given. He's like, I'm gonna
You
make
have
this.
I wouldn't call that making the most. He like tried, maybe.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, that's
isn't that
what
what
he's-
making the most is?
Well, I think he
Tried.
could have done a little more.
I don't. I mean,
the studio.
I think he like tried to make like as like interesting and distinct of a movie as he could have made with like the script he was given.
Oh, well, yeah, maybe.
So I'd like to believe.
Uh,
I don't know. I've been sitting on a 6 with this, but now
I was gonna give it like a 4.
Yeah.
I'll go 5.
Okay.
Don't let us swing you.
No, I'm not.
I just bring up like a lot of terrible stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
and just when I say it all out loud.
There's really not that many positives.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of 4.
So sad.
Average guy.
I can't believe that's the weakest movie so far. I guess that makes sense.
I-
Yeah, against
Bullet Train.
It's just funny. It's just funny that Sonic 2.
this is 3 points ahead.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I'm
come
saying.
on, guys.
The Gray Man.
Oh my god.
You know what?
I forgot about this
Don't
movie.
even like know what happened in this movie.
This
but I
is the
remember,
Gray Man of movies.
I remember
it's
like hating
you
it
can't-
all
you
the
don't
way
remember
through.
shit.
The movie is awful. It is so fucking bad. It
I
was
didn't
like
think it was that bad.
I thought it was like unbearable to see.
I could watch it, but I was just thinking the whole way through, like,
Everybody watched it.
I don't
Ryan
like this.
Gosling and who else?
Chris
Ana de
Evans is the
Armas
bad
in
guy.
No.
Yes, she is.
Is
She's like
she's the love interest? Is that her? Not the
she-
love
she
interest,
has
but
like
the other
helps.
agent
She had a busy year.
Yes,
in the beginning.
I'm
You know
already
that-
sure.
Dude,
Billy Bob Thornton.
Christian Bale had a busy year and it was like a shitty year.
A lot of actors had busy
Apparently,
years.
the movie
Brad
that
Pitt.
Margot
came out
Robbie.
on Netflix was really bad.
I didn't
What?
watch
Pale.
Yeah,
Or maybe that's not out yet.
The Winter.
The Pale something.
It's
I
got
don't know.
Who?
skinny
It's
Christian
about
Bale
like
in it.
vampires and like him being a detective or something.
He just is like
Maybe
the
not
best part of
vampires.
every. Anyways, I
The Gray
gotta
Man.
digress.
Gray
Gray Man.
is really bad.
Gray
The
Man.
one I've heard was like a pretty average action movie.
I didn't think it was really
Netflix
bad.
The
movie.
story was
I'm also-
so fucking ass. The visuals were ass. Like there
The
was a lot of
Russos?
there's a lot of CG in that movie, and it was under like a Netflix budget. And I swear to God, they couldn't have fucking afford it.
I just like don't remember anything I really liked out of that movie.
I just remember the ending being so stupid. What?
The budget is $200 million. Oh.
It was just towards the
It
end.
was a
amazing.
lot of just gunfire.
That's probably
Remember that one
actors,
scene
too.
where like he's like driving the really nice car, like that whole like chase sequence, and then he's like in the middle of the square, and they're just like shooting for like probably
I think
10 or
so.
15
the
At,
house?
at the car, and then he like does. How does he get out of that?
I just remember the train part where he's running on top of it and then like jumps into the Ana de Armas' car, and then like the train is crashing into a building. It just looked bad.
Yeah, no, that's
I don't
exactly
know.
what follows after that when he's just like trapped.
So that's when they're like in the house, and then they like kill
Yeah.
that lady who's like friends with him. I don't know. That
Yeah.
movie
Oh yeah, and
sucks
it like
ass.
blows up. The
Yeah, they
house
just shoot her
blows up.
rocket in there.
Oh no!
Or
Yeah.
maybe she blew. Oh, fuck, I don't
she's like sacrificing herself
Okay.
to save
Something like
know.
that.
Yeah.
those two.
Because she like screwed him or something.
I just remember the ending was so like unsatisfying because I think they're gonna make. Or
He
planning
like
on
breaks
making
into the
sequels.
whole thing and kills everyone, right?
Well, he doesn't kill Chris Evans, and then the chick.
He does
behind-
kill Chris Evans.
No, he doesn't.
No, he
He
totally.
shoots him.
Ah, fucking no, he
He
doesn't.
doesn't go.
I'm saying, okay, you remember the two boss people? It was like that, the one dude from like Bridgerton,
Like the really bad. Well, Chris Evans is
the
like
bad guy who's like he's like the new guy there, and he wears the glasses. He's like, well, let's get rid of the gray program or whatever the fuck it's called, and so he's like, kill all these people. And then the girl that's like working with him or for him, she ends up being like the fucking head bad guy for some reason. She comes at the end and kills Chris Evans after Ryan
Oh,
Gosling
that's
doesn't
right.
kill him.
Yeah.
But it's like, where the fuck did that come from, first of all? And then, or Ryan Gosling is like put in like a fucking, I don't know, like a prisoner or a prison. It just as a prisoner. He escapes at the end, but I thought it was like the most boring fucking ending.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was like a stupid action movie, and I was pretty entertained by Chris Evans being like a really bad guy.
just like an asshole. He wasn't even like he wasn't like he wasn't like evil. He wasn't like a villain. He was
Just
just
a
kind of an
dick.
yeah. He was just a dick.
He
That's it.
killed people. He was like, "Oh, let's kill him. I'll kill all I want." Like,
Whatever.
What'd you give it?
2.
Oh my god, that's real bad.
I was gonna
awful.
give it a 5. I didn't think it was that bad.
Oh my god.
I thought it was like a 4.
Damn,
I just hated
stinking
that
on
movie.
that.
I don't
A
know.
2.
I don't remember what I
I don't know
watched.
if I gave anything
Dude,
this
I
year.
can't
a 2.
remember. I can't remember shit from most of these movies. which is
Well, I know.
Not a great
We're
thing to
talking
admit,
about it. I
but
keep
like,
remembering.
I wish usually like when we see a movie and then we talk about it in the theater afterwards, like I remember like a lot of those movies. When I watch a movie by myself and I'm just like staring at my phone for 3 hours, go do something else and never think about it again, it just kind of like
Who was that said, like, if you don't see the movie on the silver screen, you haven't really seen it?
James Cameron, wasn't it?
Probably was James Cameron.
I thought it was...
Don't watch Avatar on
I
your
could have
phone.
sworn it might have been...
Honestly, that's like the most.
Thomas
That would be
Anderson,
pretty
but I don't think it
underwhelming.
was.
Well, the only
It
reason,
could've been.
the main reason to watch is for the visuals. So if you're watching on a phone from 2012,
The Gray Man?
Wow. Known for its visuals, the Gray
Avatar.
Man.
Alright.
Should have $1 billion.
Next movie, X.
Oh, yeah.
Deeply
You remember that?
disturbed at some point.
Yeah.
Naked Granny.
That was good.
Naked
Yeah.
Kid Cudi.
I thought
That was Kid. Was that?
This guy watched these, you watch these movies?
Was that actually
Kid Cudi.
even
No
even I
fucking
know
chance.
that.
What's his name? What's his first name?
the guy with the
Something
afro?
Miss Cudi.
Yeah,
That's
Jackson.
good.
The guy with the afro.
I forget what
He's
his
like,
first name
he's
is.
like, yeah, I got a
Kyle?
big dick.
Kyle Miss Cudi.
I don't think that's it.
And he plays Landslide.
Yeah, I thought this was good. I thought this was a solid, fun slasher.
I thought this was
interesting.
probably one of the best slashers I've ever seen. TBH.
We'll watch
I
them.
don't know.
No, it was.
I haven't
it was
seen that
good.
many. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie to you. But
No, it was good. There definitely was a style to it that I really enjoyed.
it
There
was
were some
very-
like fun
it was
transitions.
reserved enough to where like, I don't know, they like could have done more and they didn't.
They
It's
could have,
fun.
but it was still pretty like depraved. It
Like
was,
some
all,
of
it was all about like going to this old people's farm to film a porno, and it showed most of the pornos.
Reserved.
then-
Reserved
and then
isn't what
a lot of
I
killing.
meant. Like on the. I
like
don't
gore.
even know.
I feel like when they kill some of the
They
kills
just
were
didn't
kinda
go over
weak.
the. They didn't go over the top.
The
on
dude in the
yeah.
barn was easily the worst.
Yeah,
one.
that was a
He
pretty
was like
good kill.
looking in a hole, and then she just
I-
Stabbed it. I liked that.
See,
one.
I hated that
I
one.
mean, it was gross.
like
but, like
that's
She
that's
stabbed
one of
him
my
in the
like
eyes.
things is like the eye thing. It's like if I see someone like eye stuff, it bothers me.
I
Which
think
is
it
why
wasn't
that one
great.
like stood out.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess not
It
all
was-
kills are creative. So.
I don't know. I like enjoyed, which is rare, for like a lot of bad slashers. I like enjoyed all the characters before they were getting killed,
Yeah.
which was a fun surprise. Like what it was said when they were singing Landslide, I was like, and they were doing the fun transitions with like the
And they're like convincing someone to go into porn. I was like, I can get that.
yeah.
Oh, I
It
like
was
these
Good
guys.
guys.
Yeah, just
But then there
Kid
were
Cudi
like
talking about
I remember when
porn.
Jenna Ortega is like putting her hand out thing and he like smashes it with the hammer.
Oh,
I was like,
yeah.
ooh.
Yeah, that was disturbing.
Yeah. So
I think I don't know. The naked granny part actually like really bothered me. Where they're in bed and
They're
she's
in-
like got her
Uh-huh.
hand around her,
Oh,
and
yeah.
oh my god.
I like, and
That's
that's
true.
had the funny moments when she like kills herself pretty much with the
Shotgun.
Shotgun. Yeah,
Sure,
that was
shoots
cool.
back.
Yeah.
What is it?
Or when Kid Cudi answers the door to
This dick.
the old guy.
Yeah, oh my
You
god,
see
I
his,
forgot
like-
about that.
It's like 10-inch, just swinging.
It's like fresh bread.
Can I help you?
It was a baguette.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
The old.
I was kind of
guy?
hoping what's her name? What's that actress
Mia
name?
Goth.
The one they were talking
Ortega.
into porn. Jenna
Jenna
Ortega.
Ortega.
Yeah, I was hoping she was gonna survive.
Yeah, they're really
But
marketing
then-
her. I'm assuming because she's like, the biggest actress, but she was like on all the posters and
And then
stuff.
it was
She
Shia
gets
LaBeouf's
shot in the face.
Yeah,
Girl,
she
She's
just
like
fucking
running
dies
out.
in it.
Yeah.
What's Shia LaBeouf's wife? The main actress.
Mia
What's her name?
Goth.
Mia Goth.
We'll talk about Pearl later,
She's
but
a weird
Pearl.
Do you want to
put
just do
some-
Pearl now?
Sure.
Right after this one.
Sure.
Did anybody who's seen it?
We've all
Oh
seen
god
it.
dang it.
I didn't watch
You
it.
know it?
Oh, you better get spoiled.
But it's just a prequel, so like. It doesn't
You know what happens. X though, I thought it was a fun time.
you can't be serious.
I'm gonna go pee anyway.
Well, we're not doing it yet.
Yeah,
You're not doing
we
it
got
yet?
no more stuff.
Finish
stuff
it,
X.
finish
It's
it.
ratings. And
Wow.
Yeah, fun slasher, solid horror movie. I enjoyed it. Did what I wanted it to.
Yeah, I thought it was like a very solid. I want to say 8.
I said 7, but that's still.
I was gonna say 7.
Same.
I would say 7, but like 7 is like I've given other things 7, and now I'm kind of committed to my own scale.
7.5.
I'm gonna say
But that doesn't
8.
exist.
I liked it more than a lot of the other movies. It was like actually good.
Cool.
Compared to other movies, I think it was one of the fucking better ones.
Then the prequel, released a few months later, Pearl.
Get out of here! Get out of
I'll
here!
step out.
So that's the same house.
Yeah.
That's the same. Presumably, she's the old woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And her husband, after the end of Pearl, where she's like killed all her family and his sister,
Mhm.
he stuck around with her.
That's, I think, the biggest mystery. And really the only complaint I've heard from the movie, they're like, why does he stay with her?
Well, it seems
I don't
like...
know.
Yeah.
Assumedly he's got something wrong with him too. Or like I don't know. I don't know what happens.
But also that, maybe if
I can
he
suspend
ever
my
leaves,
disbelief enough, like...
If he ever leaves, she'll
She's
just
gonna
kill
fucking
him.
kill someone, yeah.
Yeah, there could...
Well, she kills more people, because there are, like, more cars on the property in X that have been, like, drowned. So she does this pretty often.
Are there?
Yeah.
I thought that was just no, it's the same car.
No.
Well,
They drove a van there. and
I
there's,
think
like,
it isn't the same car, but it would make sense that that's supposed to be the same car, so I don't really know.
No. Because they drove a van there, and it was like a Beetle. A Volkswagen Beetle is in the creek. And also, they take it way too much in stride for that to be the first time they've invited people to that house and they killed them.
I mean, I definitely think she's killed people in between those two movies.
Yeah.
That's what I'm...
Yeah.
I think,
No, but
that
Pearl as like a prequel, kind of giving some more context to X, I also enjoyed a lot. Mia Goth, good.
Terrifying.
The Oscars care.
Scary.
They nominate her. Yeah, no, she was really good.
Did the end where she just smiles and stares at the camera?
Yeah, I liked how like
Yeah, she's just an unnerving person
She is.
to see
She's
perform,
weird.
and she's
She's
good at
creepy.
it too.
She's very good at what she does, yeah.
I liked how like different it was compared to X. Like they
I
weren't
like
like
that too.
similar in tone or style, really anything. They were super different.
There's like something similar. Like it's like...
It's
You're
like
right in saying
the 50s.
tone, I think.
Yeah, the 50s and the 70s.
Style maybe was like...
Not the 50s. The
teens.
the teens. Yeah, because it was
World War I.
after the Spanish flu.
Well, I was gonna say it's like the same kind of like sitcom-y style. Some of it as like old sitcom, like the transitions from even like where the credits roll and all that stuff is kind of like
It's
Or
just
like
the
how it starts
style
with
of
like
old-
the font. It says
They
Pearl,
they take a page from old movies, but they integrate it into their own like style, but they've like created, and I think they do it like really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like perfectly done. That part is at least.
I think it gives a lot of context to like her character, especially with all the stuff where like the guy
And they develop
that
the
she
characters.
meets, the projectionist that she meets, and like shows her like the porn, the early teens porn.
And she wants to be a star.
Yeah.
I'm a star.
It just had a lot of like great her like monologue, her like
It's
8-minute long monologue, like uncut.
yeah.
Is that at the audition?
No, it's when
No,
she's
it's
talking
after.
to the sister
It
at
was
the
when they're in the
house.
kitchen after the thing.
Oh, where she like reveals that
Mhm.
she's
Yeah.
and the sister's like, "Go shit."
Yeah.
Gotta get out of here.
It was, yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, here's what I'm gonna do.
Oh.
I'm gonna switch my rating of X to 7.
I give this an 8.
Give this an 8. I like this one more.
I think it's really interesting because like people, it's not there's like a lot of people like X more and a lot of people like Pearl more.
I think it's
I don't know if
because I
it's-
watched Pearl first and I did
Maybe
not
that's it.
know what the hell was going on, and like they do a really good job. They're like nods at the past movie, like the alligator.
But you don't
and-
have to have seen it to see it.
But it doesn't really. It like makes sense later on too. Like you figure it out as you go. Also, I just like the style was so good. Maybe if I had known that was Kid Cudi,
I think they're both equally as good in like different ways.
Yeah.
Like it's like X is good as a thriller, slasher
well, it's a
sort of
throwback
thing.
to 70s slashers.
Yeah,
And
and then Pearl is yeah.
its own 50 or
Throwback to-
50s, 40s inspired like
serial killer.
like character
Classics.
study, weird
They did a good job.
stylistic thing. I really enjoyed both. I hope the third one's good. And
That would be a really solid trilogy.
Yeah,
if they
that
pulled
will.
off. That's like a very unique trilogy.
it is.
It's like Split vibes, but if they had
Oh
done that
god, if
better.
they didn't make Glass one of the worst movies ever. Yeah, it was kind of like that. Oh god. Yeah. So
Right?
I
You son of a bitch.
I'll give each of those a 7. Together, they form an 8.
I'm giving this
If
one
that's
an 8.
possible.
Yeah.
What'd you give Pearl?
I think I liked X like slightly more,
Same.
but not enough to be like. I'd still
Yeah.
put Pearl as a 7, like I did with X.
Me too. Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Bruh.
Bro, what?
That's all I gotta say about
That movie was so
They're. Can I put them on?
Unfortunately,
I
I
don't
didn't finish
know.
it.
There.
You didn't need to.
I got like halfway through it and I was like, I can't.
This was the movie this year that I think I struggled to finish.
Fucking. It
That's
was
why I
like.
didn't.
I was crying.
Oh, you guys actually watched it?
I
course it was
Well, because Joseph told me to.
That movie was a train wreck. Like,
Well-
it was really, really, really bad.
That's why they got such big name actors. They just paid them off.
I don't-
to be in their movie.
I don't even feel like
I think they probably.
Bruh, that's the word.
the story was
Bruh,
the reveal was underwhelming.
Yeah, that she's the one
It
of
was
the rich family.
edited really weird. There was nothing
What
about
was
any
the
of the
reveal?
characters that made me want to keep watching them. None of the actors are like.
I'll lay down the plot. 2 people get framed for murder of Taylor Swift. Basically,
Oh, I forgot it was Taylor Swift.
poopy, no make sensey.
Wait, that's set in the modern day?
No, it was
Yeah,
in the 1920s.
it turns out that
Taylor Swift
I don't know why he just
plays
said
a
yeah.
character.
Okay. I thought it was like in.
No, he
Oh, no,
plays
no, no.
some like
she's
part of her
senator's
family,
daughter or
yeah.
something.
so she's a general's daughter. The general just got killed. She's looking into the murder of her dad. They're helping. She tells them about the murder of her dad. So then she gets murdered by the same people. So then they get framed for her murder. They've got to get out of it. Basically, like, it was all part of some big conspiracy that they're kind of involved in for communistic rule of America. Like, they want to instill yeah. I know. And I was watching.
What happens at the end?
What happens at the end? There's this group of 5 that are these powerful guys, and they're like, join us.
It's literally just to reveal that someone that we thought was helping them, but we didn't know him long enough. It's Freddie.
Mercury.
What's his name?
I'll say it.
It's the guy who plays Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
And,
Rami Malek?
Marty
Yes.
Malek. God.
He's in that movie.
yeah.
He's in it. Robert De Niro's in
He's the
it.
bad guy?
Margot Robbie's in it. Taylor Swift. It's not a
Christian.
stack cast, and none of them are doing anything worth talking about.
In the Amsterdam sequence, when they're actually there and they're doing that, that was kind of okay. But literally, that movie was none of it was coherent. Margot Robbie turns out to be rich, and she left them.
I
but
don't-
she,
Crazy, right?
she was there the whole time, and they're
I'm literally,
she
getting
wasn't
angry,
crazy because her
Was she
relatives
crazy?
were
I was confused.
no, she wasn't. Her relatives were giving her medicine that was making her crazy, and then they're like, "You want to try these drugs?" Anya Taylor-Joy's like, "Come on, put it in your eyes." And
My just real issue was that the John David Washington's character, the Christian Bale's friend, has got to be the most boring character I've ever seen in a movie. He I cannot tell you a trait about him. He's a good actor. He's in Tenet, but.
I was about to bring up Tenet as another version of him being super boring.
I swear I've seen him in something where he's good.
I like.
Was it the 21 Bridges or whatever that movie was?
See,
Is
in
he
that
in
movie?
the?
Or wait, was that wasn't the Chris Rock police film, right?
That was.
Oh, that's the
Chadwick
Saw.
Boseman. That's
Oh,
Spider-Man.
Chadwick Boseman was in the Bridges movie.
Okay, I can't think of a movie, but I like him. I don't know why, but I thought he did. He's so lame in that movie. And Christian Bale.
Christian Bale is just trying his hardest, being little Christian Bale, doing his little acting thing, and he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job, Chris. But good God, he needs to choose better movies. The script was freaking awful.
Yeah, the script was rough.
That movie
and
was.
I don't want to think about it ever again.
That movie
3.
1.
Oh,
Two.
dang.
That movie was
One,
so
one.
bad.
Yeah. Spirited.
Am I the only one who saw that?
Are you?
Put these
In
two-
Will
put
Ferrell's
these two next to each other.
in Will Ferrell's second Christmas movie, it's a musical.
Second.
Oh, I didn't
It's
see
a
this,
musical?
but I saw the runtime was
What do
like.
you mean it's a second Christmas movie?
It's his second Christmas movie. Elf. Has he done more?
He did Daddy's Home.
I don't even know.
That's
not a Christmas movie.
I thought that was
That's the
Christmas.
Mark Wahlberg.
There's
Will Ferrell movie, right?
That's like a
I'm pretty
divorce
sure there is
movie.
Christmas in that movie.
Maybe that's not a Christmas movie though.
But I feel
Either
like it's
way,
part of the
how
plot.
good was
I don't
Spirited?
remember.
It's Christmas time.
I
Gotta
see
watch
it's-
Daddy's Home.
I see it's a
Go to
Will
Mark.
Ferrell comedy that's 2 hours and 10 minutes long. So.
Yeah.
It's all
So,
these long ass
The
movies.
So tell me about that.
The premise of the movie was he's a Christmas Carol. Wait, what's the movie with
That's
Scrooge?
right, That's right.
Yeah, it's that, but they've gone on to do more people the present, past, and future. It's like a business, and they do it every year for Christmas. They choose one person who's real mean and grumpy, and they have to make them grow a heart before the end of Christmas.
That
That
like a
sounds
good movie.
hilarious.
So they chose Ryan Reynolds this year, and they're trying to do it, and then Ryan Reynolds
was
is being
it funny?
a real difficult guy, and then Will Ferrell turns out like he was actually Will Ferrell's character was Scrooge, and then he died, and then became Christmas present or something. And
Was
then,
it funny?
Yes, it was pretty funny.
Did
Ryan
anyone
Reynolds
else watch it?
Ryan Reynolds.
No.
I kind of wish I watched.
Ryan
I don't.
Reynolds gets hit by a bus and dies at the
man.
end of the
I have a question. Is there like a subplot or like a point about like teen suicide?
Yes.
Okay.
But not like
this
because I saw someone.
2-hour
No,
tennis
I saw
match.
because Ryan Reynolds tells like the.
I saw someone that was like, "This is like really insensitive, and this movie like should not be talking about it in the way it does." And I was like, "There's no way they actually."
Maybe it was insensitive. The Ryan Reynolds' daughter, he like gives his daughter advice, and then she like, or not his daughter, it's his niece, but whatever. He gives her advice, and then she like, he gets a vision where she does it, and it makes someone kill themselves, like one of her classmates. Yeah,
What's
maybe
your
not the
rating?
most tasteful thing in the world.
You got a rating for it?
Like a 6. I thought it was fine.
Merry Christmas.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. That's alright. No, it was.
What is there
great.
even to say?
Trying to
I
figure
do
out
feel like it's
where to
been-
start.
Most of it's been said.
It's pretty cut and dry. A fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Like start to finish, almost like really well made.
Does the
I
multiverse?
also
thing,
don't know where to
right?
start. Okay, yeah. So, as like a multiverse movie, it shows
It really,
a lot, or it uses that concept to its advantage,
and
and
it doesn't like milk it too much to where you're like, ugh. Like it's like they just do a bunch of creative, cool stuff.
Which seems like most people should do when they're making a movie about that shit.
yeah, why would you not like the one where there's one where she's like a puppet, and one where she's like
A rock.
stop motion, the rock one, and there's the ones that like act like the one where she the like backstory they give, like the one where she like fell and like lost her eyes, so then she gets trained by that like dude, so then she's like
Yeah.
a kung fu star, or like she knows kung fu, but then she becomes like a movie star, and that's the universe where like the other one you cut back to a lot. It was just like a story serving her character and her daughter's character and her
The husband, that whole like ending scene where it like comes together and like, it was, like,
Yeah,
really
it
put
just
a
had a
smile
lot
on
of
my
moments
face, yeah.
that hit really hard, and it was just all really,
It was
well-
really
the,
well.
Yeah, I've never felt more of a need to like not even breathe during a scene than the rock scene.
the rocks. Yeah,
It's like I don't want to be the person that makes a noise during this.
yeah, it was just a crazy.
It's also like a story that's been done a bunch of times, but in like an actual refreshing way, and also like
yeah,
way better. It's like
Just
Freaky
well
Friday,
done.
but also not.
The mother-daughter relationship.
yeah. It's like a movie where like every single aspect is like about as good as you could ask for. Like great performances, really good editing,
Yeah,
and like a great soundtrack.
and it's
Good
like
story.
overall the style of like the camera work and stuff is pretty vanilla. Like it's
Yeah, it's like a
More or less
$20 million budget movie. It's like
Yeah.
a cheap movie.
it's not like they did.
But it doesn't
anything
look like nothing ever looks
crazy.
bad.
It
yeah.
always looks good. It's like every other thing was like costumes was killing it.
I forgot
Like-
Jamie
Yeah.
Lee Curtis was in that movie.
Yeah.
How's the hot dog fingers?
Yeah. that's
The
what I was-
like it was like funny. It was like probably the most I laughed in a movie this year. The hot dog finger thing had me cracking up. The 2001 like remake, the
Raccoon.
Raccoonie thing,
That's pretty.
the
funny.
butt plug fight scene, the like all the action. I forgot there was action. Like action
Oh,
was
it's
great.
like the classic like Jackie Chan type choreography.
Yeah, the like first like fight scene and like it switches the aspect ratio when he fights and the like. It's too much to say.
Really, really.
I
It was like an I don't know. They just somehow managed to make that work, even though it was like a really off the rails like concept.
Yeah,
And they didn't let that like all the crazy stuff visually that was going on like overshadow like the
it always came
the
back to
really
like in
emotional,
service of
like,
the characters
important- yeah, straight
and the
up.
themes and had a clear theme, like themes through the characters that you could follow that made sense from start to finish, and like her like kind of low point where she's like, had like I guess like nihilism versus
Optimism.
I don't think
whatever the opposite of nihilism is, like
Well,
Christianity.
Yeah.
the like nothing matters versus like nothing matters, but let's like make the most of it kind of thing.
Optimistic nihilism.
And that it was perfect.
Could you imagine Aquafina?
She's supposed to.
She was supposed to be the daughter.
Who's Aquafina?
Thank God.
She was in Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Oh.
Girl.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that would.
I saw someone bring up that point. I was like, I'm sure it would have been worse.
I didn't hate her in that movie.
I thought
other than,
she was funny.
It was just like the jokes that I feel like she like the beef. You want beef with whatever she says on the like plane. Remember she like interrupts the
backstory.
Yeah, I guess that was the stewardess, but she's like, you give us beef or something.
Your name is Sean. I mean, that
is
wasn't
funny,
bad.
We all just laughed at that.
But no, it was like stellar. And
are you gonna?
It just had like so many like sequences in it that like I like wouldn't change.
Yeah.
I mean, I could give it a 9 or a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9.
I would give it a 9. I don't want to give it at full price.
I don't want to either.
I mean, I have it a 9. Probably on like another rewatch, I could see it going up to a 10.
I want to rewatch it soon.
That's the only one I bring up. I'd probably give it a 9.
All right.
It's probably.
I mean, I like might as well give it a 10. But
do we have like a little epilogue at the end of this?
We can.
I want it.
I was gonna bring like all of the movies coming out like this year, especially, just feel like the rewatchability of them have gone down
Just like
extremely.
0. Yeah.
It's like I'm never gonna watch Avatar 2 again. Maybe I will never watch Babylon again. I will like. I don't know.
Babylon,
It's just ridiculous.
It's like
These
I would
three-
watch that in like an art gallery.
It's like a commitment.
Yeah, there
Entirely.
there
RRR. I will
RRR.
always watch. That's a
there
yearly.
weren't a lot. Yeah, I mean, I agree. There weren't a lot of movies where like I would want to rewatch them. But I remember when we left the theater, I was like, I want to rewatch this movie.
This one's like a
Yeah, but
I've
that's,
seen
but that's the point. Like see
Yeah,
I would
certain
rewatch
things.
There's a
Pearl.
lot of-
I'm gonna.
No, I meant Everything Everywhere.
Oh yeah,
There's
no,
a lot of
that's what I'm saying.
details.
This was
Yeah.
like
that
this
you
is a
can
longer
miss.
movie, right?
There's a lot of details you can miss. in
Yeah,
that movie.
exactly.
Probably the biggest movies of the year were like super long
Every
and like
single big movie
kind
is
of bad.
fucking long.
Most of them. So,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
think you got a point. I
take
don't
a
know.
shot every time we say like this could have been cut off and this could have been cut off.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we said that like I remember we said the same thing about like Nightmare Alley last year and like Licorice Pizza and like
Oh my god.
When we rewatched Licorice Pizza, I kind of liked it more, but I still think the plot is fucking weird.
The more I think about that movie, the more I like it.
I still like it.
I think it's
I
fun.
Last Night in Soho.
That movie is kind of weird.
That's a movie I'll never watch again.
Weak sauce.
Okay, next is
Oh, the Batman. That's another long.
Before we go to the next one, did anybody watch White Noise?
No, I was about
I
to.
thought about
I started it last night, and I got like halfway through it. It's the most boring shit.
Is it? That's
What movie is
it?
Greta Gerwig is in it. and
It's not the guy that
Adam
made Marriage
Driver.
Stories next movie.
That's him?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. It was like really
I thought it was gonna be
boring.
like funny.
It was like dry
I just-
humor, but it was like too dry or something. I don't know.
Too dry. Next movie is Prey,
Oh
the
boy.
Predator sequel.
Fine. Weak ending.
It was a fine movie.
It was good up until the ending, I think.
You know what's weird is that like I feel like we're like in the hot take zone on this because like a lot of people before we watched it I heard like good things and then even now it's like on a lot of people's top 10 and stuff and I'm like I don't know I wish I could. I liked it I enjoyed it.
I thought it was really. I mean, I thought it was like a
I thought it was like
better than I expected.
yeah for like a Predator sequel.
Isn't it like
yeah.
a Hulu original? Or
Mhm.
something?
For like the first there was like some stuff that I could have been okay with for the first like hour and 50 minutes or whatever that's like whatever like some stuff I didn't like but also a lot of stuff I did like and then the ending is the thing that really let me down.
Yeah.
I think it'll let all of us down
Like,
because you're waiting to see like okay how is she gonna outsmart the Predator
but she doesn't really.
but then the
they just
way
make him
she
stupid.
does it is silly
Yes.
and it's also edited
What does she do?
poorly.
Remember, she like gets the mask, right?
She, like,
the
chain- I
laser
don't
thing. She or like the
And just
red dot
beams
sight.
him
She
with it?
lines it up,
No,
and he
it's
goes in
just,
the
like,
mud
aiming.
pit.
Oh, that's
He
the
gets-
thing where
he
she
gets-
does the superhuman jump.
He goes in the mud pit, then he,
He
just
gets
falls
he gets
down.
stuck in the mud.
Yeah, like without even trying.
But it's also like really trivial how that was like aimed. Like he could have gone around.
I know it didn't make
Yeah.
any sense. It was like very like.
That's
he
what I'm
has
saying. That's
to be
like the
here,
point of the
so-
movie is that, or not. You're waiting to
Just
see
to be,
how
like,
she beats the
foolproof,
Predator because you know
outsmart.
that's going to happen at the end. Is
But
that
it's
she's
not
going to
that.
outsmart
It's
him
not that
somehow.
crazy because it
And
doesn't
then-
make any sense.
Yeah, for when it finally happens,
She got really
I was a
lucky.
little disappointed.
Yeah.
I also just thought it was edited like poorly to the point where I was like, like we had to like I remember we went back and we
Because it like
watched it.
aims on him and it flies like all the way around, and he
Yeah.
just watches it happen,
It
and
was-
then like doesn't move.
There's
It's
also like something about a tree right beforehand. I remember where like she
Someone-
like catches him in a
It's because it's a sharp tree.
Oh no, she like cuts a thing and it like comes.
I kind of.
I like vaguely remember this thing and it does not make sense.
There's like a sharp tree in it or something.
Doesn't he have the
I'm okay
shield
with like
that's,
a few things
sharp?
not making a ton of sense in this movie. I just thought it was
She
like,
wraps
stupid
around. That's how she
it
gets
ended.
out of the mud pit.
Oh, she like.
She pulls herself out and then she gets.
And
her
then
to
the
fall.
predator gets her.
They're-
Which
oh,
isn't
no,
he like
mud.
the apex? Like, doesn't he do research on the planet he goes to?
Probably.
Maybe this
he
was
know?
before they started doing that.
I mean, he killed a fucking bear in that movie, which was
That
sick.
was
bear
cool.
scene was sick.
That's what I'm
really-
saying.
And then,
Everything else-
imagine
yeah,
being
then, like-
alive at that time and then watching some humanoid-looking thing murk a bear. I'd probably.
Everything like
God,
or pretty
nuts.
much everything before that was like I thought great though. Like or everything with the Predator was great. Like his design was good and he had a lot of cool kills and there were like some action scenes that looked really good and he's like fun. Like he had a lot of fun like kind of proto like gadgets like not fully but like whatever he had in the 1700s.
Yeah.
Don't they have a version
Um,
that's like completely in a
It's a
like they shot it again in a different language?
I think it's just a dub. I don't think
Really?
they shot it again, but yeah, they do have some like. And yeah, I just
Native
wish
tongue.
that it ended
Yeah.
a little strong. There were like a few like performances I didn't think were good, and a few lines that kind of sucked. But overall, I was fine with it until I got to the ending, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a.
I thought it was. Yeah.
I just wish it ended stronger, but still, there were cool moments.
6.
As a Predator movie, not bad. 6.
I'll go 6.
6.
It's the last 6
Consensus.
this year. Pretty
That's
dark.
every
they're
year.
just like they're like good movies.
It's good
like
enough.
it's like
Yeah.
It's like fine.
It has to do
Um,
something like different to kind of get out of that category.
Speaking of good
I
movies,
would have given that.
do it really well.
Morbius.
let's go.
I don't feel like talking.
Steve.
Well, we don't have to say much.
The bathroom or the dance scene is really good.
Milo dancing.
That was like one of the most disturbed. The music and the
That
dance, like,
looks
just the movement of his body where he like leans back.
And then he like
That's like not a song you can like dance to. But and then he danced to it, but like didn't dance to it.
that's the only
He
part
just-
of that
it's
movie
just
that
like-
like has some sort of energy or like excitement or like
I
made me
know.
feel. I was like, oh yes. But
Jared
like,
Leto is like fucking miserable. His performance is
me.
like, and then the CG is really bad.
The
story
it's
is
just
really
all
bad.
predictable. Like it's all been done before. We'll talk about another superhero movie that is like
Well, they're just shitting out movies.
What,
really.
what did the bats do to kill the guy?
I don't
He
know.
just hit him with a bunch of bats.
I can't tell you what
They
happened.
just threw bats at him.
The action.
Did it kill him or did he like he got the like venom out first, right? Didn't he like
I
do
don't-
a
I do
syringe
not remember.
or syringe? I mean?
I don't want to think.
I
about
guess
it.
because then the girl got some of the blood, right?
Oh yeah, she got
At the end.
She's
bitten.
Miss Morbius.
Why did he not think she was like not gonna be a vampire?
I just don't
She just left
ever want
or
to
he
think
just
about
left
this movie again. The action all looked really bad. The post-credit scene is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Michael Keaton, I remember he was like, I don't know what the fuck is
It's
like,
like
happening.
his like delivery and like what are you gonna find?
That's why
We're
I
gonna
think it
find,
was
like
him.
Spider-Man or something. Oh, like in the suit?
Well, it sure as hell wasn't because it was CG, but like even the voice over or whatever.
Maybe it was like an
didn't sound-
AI doing a
Or they like
we
splice
gotta
some
like
shit
find
together.
maybe we could do some good.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Even like the whole wind thing, I hated.
How he like flies.
Oh, I
well,
forgot
just the
about that.
visual part of it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It just didn't
it
look
looks-
great.
It's a train.
It's
Oh, the train thing.
just awful.
He's just floating in
No-
front of the subway.
No redeeming qualities. This has zero.
I've
Other
always
other than that
hated
dance
Morbius.
scene.
Morbius was terrible in the '90s show, and he's terrible fucking now.
At least he had the
Why
blood
do
suckers
people-
on his hands.
Why do people
It's
want to
disturbing.
fucking see Morbius? Like, he's just a dumb fucking vampire. That's not really even.
He's just a dumb fucking.
I think it's
He's
just
like an
wild that
anti-hero.
Sony like keeps making these movies. They made Venom. They made
I mean,
Venom
that's
2.
what they
They're
have the
making
rights
Morbius.
to.
Craven comes out this year.
I forgot
Oh,
about
what was
The El Muerto movie comes out I think
Ugh.
next year.
that. I
Alright.
saw something else about Childish Gambino being.
Yeah, he's some Spider-Man, but not the Prowler. He's like
That doesn't
some.
make any sense because he was already in the fucking movies.
So why wouldn't you just be the Prowler? It seems like
Well,
he would
he-
play a great Prowler.
He's not that old, or he's like old enough to do it. So
I just remember the previews for Morbius. It was like from the writers of like Venom and
yeah,
Venom
Oh,
Two
no, I'm gonna
is
watch
fine.
it. I was like, I'm so excited.
They're just sort of, and like all the stuff with like the multiple universe, like the Raimi like pictures that are in it, like the amazing
It doesn't
story.
make
It's just
sense.
such a mess and so fascinating. To was
Yeah, I have
cute.
F tier.
I'll give it a 2 for the dance.
Yeah, and the post-credit scene for making me laugh.
Yeah. It was. I mean, it's like there's fun parts to watch, but there's very slim.
I don't know. I think I think it's those two.
I think you should see it.
And the we are Venom. But that was in the trailers.
Any
It wasn't
cringe
in the
moment
movie,
with Matt Smith. Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, too.
Should we give the cringiest movie award? Should we do that?
Babylon.
Oh.
Close those ears.
I'll just walk out again.
God, you
You should,
suck.
because I want to talk about this. Okay, I really enjoyed it overall. After it was such a wild movie, and I feel like it's trying to say a lot and is trying to do a little too much. And the runtime, I feel like, is the biggest issue with the movie, because there's absolutely no reason it should be 3 hours and 10 minutes. I think it could be like an easy, 240 at least, if not shorter.
Yeah.
But what it was trying to do and how it did a lot of that, I thought was well done and had me invested.
Yeah,
That was well said.
I was just worried about the very beginning, the whole party scene. I was worried that was going to be most of the movie.
I was also,
which I think it could have. I get the whole craziness behind Hollywood party stuff like that. You wanted to see it all. But I feel like that could have been even that could have been cut down a little bit.
I think it could have been cut down a decent amount.
I think
I really
I would have been
think
happy with a 2.5 hour runtime. I think that would have been appropriate for that kind of movie.
the movie had a pace, and it would go at that pace, and then it would really drag at parts, and then pick it back up, and it was good. When it was going at the natural pace, it was pretty solid. But when it dragged at the fucking Tobey Maguire part,
I mean, that's the only part that I like.
that's the part I don't like. I thought that was stupid. I feel like a studio made them put that in there because they were like, oh, let's make it we need
ridiculous,
interesting, funny,
I don't know, or maybe I almost feel like that was him, and then the studio should have said take it out, because that's so I can imagine anyone other than he wanted to put I don't know, I
don't know much about him, man. I just know that he filmed a version of this in his backyard during COVID that was 2 hours long, and I doubt they had that part. I doubt that was in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they did. Who knows? But anyways, it just felt like that, that whole using that as a plot point to drive all the characters apart and all that. I feel like it could have just been something else.
Yeah, I think we talked about this, but we said that it could have just been the people that Margot Robbie owed the gambling debt to. They could have just been the reason that they all had to, run out.
They have to show it.
Yeah, that well, it didn't have to be the people
maybe
at Tobey
after
Maguire's
dinner,
goons.
After they get drinks with the people at that compound where they met Tobey Maguire, maybe they just leave from there, and it's fake money, and they have to go, and then
yeah, or could they not try and pay the gambling debt with the fake money, and then they have to leave because of that? I
think that would have been good.
I don't feel like they literally
didn't need the part where they go to take them to this place.
Yeah, because it left them in a situation where there was someone after them because they wronged them with money, which is the same thing that happened with Margot Robbie. So they could have just left that happen. Yeah. I feel like that could have been cut.
Well,
other than that, though,
the actors did first off, the shot of the old Hollywood that they show, where it's one continuous shot and it's going through everything. That was
shooting
awesome.
Yeah, with all the different sound stages.
Brad Pitt's death was super fucking well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt killed it in that movie.
He did do really well.
Yeah.
There were just a lot of scenes that I still vividly remember, and I thought were very well done. The taking, when they're shooting that scene with Margot Robbie, going to college or whatever.
Just kind of
the
yeah, the way it was edited.
Drag on. I think that was
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I said it was good.
Yeah, that was good.
And
that was a long scene though.
The Brad Pitt, everything with him shooting that night movie or whatever.
Yeah, or the one where he's drinking a lot and there's the ambulance scene and then he sobers up instantly to get it together. And I feel that was pretty accurate as far as
well, yeah, that
how
was
things were probably going.
I was I really hope this happens in that scene. And then when that happened, I was yay. It's
yeah.
As soon as you see him stumbling all the way up there, and then immediately when they say action, just complete
and that was so,
composure
it was
and
so
acting.
poetic, or like not poetic, but it's like it makes sense that at the end he's like depressed with that. Like you see that like that was just his like entire life. Like that was like what he did, like the whole acting stuff. And when it was over, he was just like.
Yeah, the scene where like he's watching everyone watch his movie, the scene with him and
at the new shoot, the like when he's like goes in, he's like, is this a bad movie? Do you want me to save it? And then he just comes to like
with on the
scenes.
phone with his friend.
Yeah,
that's okay. These are all scenes with him, but like cause
well,
the scene like with him and the journalist, where
Holy
she was
shit,
like,
that
or
was
the
so
scene
well
with
done.
him and his wife, where he was like movies are art, and that all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're just for a lot of
director's really good at like unspoken emotion. He does the same thing in
La La Land and Whiplash. Yeah.
I really like that director.
I was really excited for this movie because pretty stellar director. I definitely think it's like, I haven't seen whatever he made before this, but I definitely think it's like the weakest of his movies so far.
I think it would be the strongest if he had just like pulled it together like a little bit more and like condensed it and maybe like
indulge.
thought, like I feel like it was just there was too much thought put in. Some things just could have been, like we just like assume that something happens.
Especially with like Whiplash and La La Land, I feel like those are two movies that are pretty like perfectly
concise.
paced. Like there's like everything that needs to be in there. They don't drag on.
Yeah,
they're
there's
not too
too
short.
much.
Yeah, they're like
Whiplash is like
Well, Whiplash is like I don't think it's even 2 hours.
no.
But yeah, there were a lot of like really great scenes, and I really liked what it was trying to say, and I think it like consistently enforced like its themes throughout the movie. I really liked the ending.
Yeah, the of him in the theater.
In the theater crying.
That like had me like gripped.
Yeah.
In like a way that like I don't
It's hard
think
to
really any
explain.
other movie did this year.
They like the whole like the same thing they did in that scene where they're starting to get impatient with the lighting and it like builds up. Like that's like done throughout the entire movie as far as like the emotion in that character specifically. Who's that actor? The guy who plays the main guy?
Diego Calva? I never
Diego
heard of him.
Calva. He's freaking
Yeah, he did
killed
really
it.
well.
And like the way like everything like that like from the very beginning like he said he wanted to do like go to Hollywood and he like thought it was great and like I want to be around movies and stuff and then he does it and then he's like looking
He gets
back
caught
on
up
it
in the machine and he starts to lose
and he was
himself.
like a bad guy and then
And then
and they fully
all that was really, and yeah, just the like that
Him
scene was like that's like
crying
a
when they're
15-minute
making
long
fun of-
scene at least at the end. But yeah, it's like
that was a perfect
they
way to
took
go.
all the stuff with like it was the movie that Brad Pitt had or like the same lines or whatever from that movie that Brad Pitt had like done that everyone hated, and yeah, just that entire thing with like showing that kind of how people were liking it, but also like I don't know, it was the like kind of being immortalized thing that the journalist like talked about earlier in the movie.
Wasn't it using all the stuff like he kind of was in the business of at that like 1930s whatever as like the butt of the joke?
Yeah,
it was.
Well,
but then he's like crying during that and it's like he's
then,
like
so then it's like
it's just bringing up memories and it's like they start smiling at something and I don't remember.
Yeah, so it was almost I like was thinking during that point it was going with the same kind of like like a critique kind of like Hollywood, like the Hollywood machine and all that, which we was crying and I was like, okay, that still follows. And then I think they switched to Singing in the Rain. And then it's it's like a scene from that and then it's like the film, like all this colors start coming in, like the film strips.
So the colors are the colors, like the whatever the three colors you use, like that you mix together,
like
you layer
red,
over.
green and blue. And I'm sure there's some significance to like which color it was, because I think it was like red for Margot Robbie and like blue for, or like it was for each character.
Yeah.
And then when it was like doing all that, and then it was do like the montage of like cinema from like the pretty much like beginning of the 1900s to all the way to the present. It was just like it was such a big swing.
Well, it was like a movie that was bigger than itself in like a way that they directly like show in the movie, which is weird. And it was cool.
And it had me like that was so like unexpected. I think I had that thought. I was like they wouldn't do that. I was like there's not going to be like clips from like current movies like in this movie.
And then
it happened.
It was on a
and then I was like oh wait. I was like oh my god. And then he's like crying, like he's crying and like smiling at the end.
What was it? Singing in the Rain that came on?
That was like the transition, yeah.
Where he was smiling?
I think so.
Why was he smiling at that?
Because
that movie's also about like the transition from like silent films to talkies. So I think, and that's like kind of a piece of art that they already want to make from that. So I think that entire like at least final part was just kind of
he's like watching how much everyone is enjoying it and stuff, and he's like,
yeah. I mean, I think it could be like interpreted a couple different ways.
It's also just like the progress of like, because
that came
from like the choir thing that they were doing with.
But he was also supposed to be the one who was like at first like on the forefront of like, hey, we need like let's get in this like audio thing now, like this is the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
man, that was.
And then the progress of it, and then it was just like still critique about like all the bad stuff that had happened throughout the movies, and it shows all the clips of all the stars who like died pretty much to get it to progress to the point where it was. But then also is like a celebration of like, look how crazy this is, and we got Avatar, yay! So that ending just like that, like I don't know, that really hit me.
I still don't know if they were like intentional nods to Tarantino in that film or not. The one thing that like me and John were talking about, like the first thing you see from Brad Pitt is him doing an Italian accent.
Did you think about Inglourious Bastards at all when that came on?
Yeah, that's what
I think everyone like.
And
then, so I'm assuming that had to have been.
And then he talks about like the Apache Nation during part of that film at some point, and he says, I come from the Apache in Inglourious Bastards too.
Yeah,
there's someone else. There's also the fact that
him
Brad
speaking
Pitt,
Italian to his wife, and then she divorces him. And like, say that one more time, and he does it again.
Yeah, it just.
From the beginning, I will say I was like very skeptical, and like I wish that they like that party. The very beginning was weak. The party scene was like
it was just like establishing.
It was like
characters,
but it really should have. I
definitely think it could have been cut down a little bit.
I think it should have been way shorter, and it.
Even
to the middle of the movie, I was still like, well, I guess actually the early Hollywood scene where like that was good, and then they've already been famous, and like then it's like him and Margot Robbie in a cab, and there's like some of that stuff, and he's becoming a producer. Also, there were like a couple moments where like the whole like I don't know that hit pretty hard. Like that making the guy in the trumpet put on like black makeup and like you can tell how like uncomfortable everyone
is. And he leaves.
And then he's like, I'm just
like he gives the car back, he gives the house. Does he give the house back too?
I'm assuming. I don't know if we know.
I think he just was like, I'm not coming back. Yeah, it was like
it was just and
it was like And
then he gets to perform in that like little jazz club.
And he
it did have its like its faults, and I think to McGuire thing, but after like sitting through those 3 hours and then getting to that ending, it had me like shook. I was like,
it did a good job.
I was like haunted. I don't know. That cool.
I really like when we talk about all the good things like that. I want to give it like a 9 or something, but really
I'm really only like. I guess I could go through and like see what could be cut out, but the only thing that comes to mind is really the Tobey Maguire thing.
I think the Tobey Maguire thing,
but which is like 15 minutes. That movie is just a little too long. Anyways, what's everyone's rating? I feel like we just talked like 15 minutes about that movie.
I would like to give it a soft 8.5, but since it's a soft 8.5, I'll give it an 8.
I think it was an 8.
I'll say the exact same thing. If I could do an 8.5, I think I would. 8.
Yeah, it had problems. And I'm not going to watch it again. Well, actually, maybe I'll watch it again.
I want to watch it again to see the ending scene.
Ever watch that again on, like, my phone or something. I want to, like, sit in a dark room with, like, a big TV and watch it. Like, it was, like, one of those movies where it was, like...
Margot Robbie was right in the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're sitting in these seats. Seeing this film.
I saw so many people on Twitter that were like, Margot Robbie said that to me, but I was the only one in there.
Yeah, we were the only group with like the 2 girls behind us.
They were cracking up and everything.
After that movie, though, like I left the theater and I was just like really sad about how like that was like a genuine like someone put a lot of time and effort and thought into like making this little cool piece of visual art, and it's like super underappreciated, like criminally underrated. I've heard terrible things about it too. Because people probably... to be fair, it caters to people who make podcasts about movies. But
I mean, I totally get why, like, a lot of people... Like, people we saw it with, a lot of them didn't like it. Like, I get, like, why it would be divisive.
The 2 people that were behind us loved it,
I think they were just, like, high or something.
But it,
They were also doing the roller coaster ride thing with us.
Oh, yeah, when I put my hands up for the 3.
Yeah, it literally is a 50 audience score, which is as divisive as a movie can be.
Yeah.
So...
Well, usually that just means it's bad. But...
That means half people liked it.
Or a lot of people just gave it a 50%.
Yeah.
We gave it an 8.
5 hours ago,
Blonde?
I'm sure.
Didn't see it.
I watched half of it and
I
gave
watched
up.
that.
You like? What'd you think?
It was awful. It was fucking
So,
miserable.
Just
sit
like
through.
treats Marilyn
Did you
Monroe.
finish it?
I didn't start it. I didn't watch a
Oh.
frame from that movie.
Well,
It just
yeah.
treats her like poorly, right? Like portrays her in a very negative light.
I wouldn't say that. I would say it portrays. It's just like shows all the negatives that she faced, except apparently it's not really based on factual events.
It's based off that like book
a fan
about
fiction.
her, right? Yeah, fan fiction.
So why the fuck make it if it's not really true? It's very graphic.
Also,
for-
there's some
It's the
parts that are
first
very
like
hard to watch.
NC-17 like mainstream movie in a few years.
I was upset by
It
a
was
lot
like
of
3
it.
hours again. Like every fucking movie is.
I was watching it and I was like, watching like the interactions with her mom and then like her getting like raped, and I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it's like really sad,
yeah,
and it's like
There's also a
I guess
style
make a
to
movie
it.
about it, but you don't.
There's a style to it to where it's like. So she gets like pregnant in the movie, I think, like a couple times or something.
yeah.
And then like there's like this weird theme with the baby and her, and it keeps like going in the womb at some parts, and it looks really strange.
I think I've seen clips.
And it's
of that.
like I don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean, I was like, I try to pay attention to the whole movie, but I feel like it's
It got a little boring
Not
from
off.
like
nodded off a few times.
I've just heard nothing but terrible things.
It was boring, and the style was weird as fuck, and it was just bad.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were it was like tackling very very
Heavy
Heavy
stuff.
heavy
stuff, in a
heavy
fucking
stuff.
shit
I just
way.
sounds like it was a questionable idea from the start.
I don't even
It's
think
a
they should
snore
try and
fest.
tackle that stuff in a movie. It's like, you know.
I think they can tackle that stuff, but it's
Well,
just like
I guess I don't know.
Well,
It's
maybe
like
they
using
should,
a
but-
fiction.
At that point, just make
Story.
something about a
But
not
that's-
a fiction character, right?
That's what I was.
Like
so
why?
you spiked my drink.
Yeah.
It's
Sand.
the nodes.
Like why even make it about Marilyn Monroe if you're just gonna completely like make
Yeah,
everything
it's untrue.
fictionalized? Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it's like
Well, yeah, when I found that out, I was like, what the fuck is the point of this movie?
Well, if
Talking
all
about
the
her
like the
trauma.
main event, if all the trauma is true, then like that's probably fine. Like that's
I
like
guess.
empowerment. She's like she got through it. She
well, did
worked
she?
her way to the
Well,
top.
she didn't.
We'll
she
talk
killed
about
herself.
another movie.
Well, she
Did
was
she kill herself?
successful
I thought she just OD'd.
until not.
She did OD, but I'd argue
Darn.
that's like killing yourself. Well,
Technically,
not
yeah,
on
but
purpose,
All right, Professor.
Professor
You guys got ratings?
Sandwine.
He's the only one that's seen it.
Chase, you got a
Yeah,
rating?
but-
I guess.
Dang,
I mean, these are probably too low. But,
you're being low this year.
yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Nah. I think every Jordan Peele movie has very heavy themes in it, and they're like super obvious sometimes.
Mhm.
Like Us, it was like the fucking people holding hands.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the fucking message. It was
I
like
think-
it was just like the U.S.
I think
was
that's
the Us thing.
the thing with Jordan Peele movies is that like obviously they have a lot of thematic stuff going on.
I feel like that gets in the
And
way
either-
sometimes.
It works like in Get Out, where it works into the story well, or it's in Us, where it doesn't work into the story
It's
well,
like
and it's a little
blatantly-
silly. And I think this was on the better side of that. I think it was more of a Get Out than an
So it was
Us.
better until the part with the monkey and the, like, I don't know. I liked that part a lot, but it felt like it was a completely different movie.
But it was the guy, Steven Yeun's
And
character.
then he
It
just
was
like died. So like, what?
yeah. Well, he was like it was the like commercialization, I guess, of like what he was trying to do with the monkey.
I know,
And
I
so
mean,
like I feel like it has like a thematic connection and it's related to the plot because it.
Yeah.
But why tell the same story twice?
I think it was just giving you like another example.
But it was like
Why?
such a big part of it, and then just for that, yeah, we got the character's motive and stuff, but then his character like
There isn't a
wasn't
motive.
part of it.
He shouldn't be doing that, knowing what he went through, right? He shouldn't be
Well, that's
taking
what I said
advantage.
originally. So I'm saying he had this experience as a kid. So
So he'd be haunted by it, right?
well, that's what
Instead of doing
I
it again.
yeah. I initially thought I was like, yeah, he would want to do the opposite and like protect these creatures.
But I think since
But
he
then I guess it's just like
he
I
was
guess we
surrounded
don't-
by such a controversy that he got popular by it. I think
yeah.
so. He
Well, he has all the stuff like framed
that's
up
what
in
I'm
his
saying.
yeah.
He, like,
So
turned
that's
it into
yeah.
something else.
So that's why like I think that makes sense. Yeah. It had some really good scenes, like the digestion scene.
That was such a good
That was
scene.
haunting.
Yeah, I hated that.
That was really well made.
Yeah, that was
The
good.
That was like my
I'm like,
favorite
I
part
mean,
of
the
the
stuff
movie.
with the monkey is like monkey's scary.
That part is terrifying.
I thought Monkey
It's also
was
really
funny.
sad and disturbing.
I thought Monkey was funny, but turns out Monkey was scary.
Yeah, I mean, I like the characters. I like Daniel Kaluuya and
I liked all the characters. The
all
tech
good.
guy, I don't know, he's kind of a new
the
face.
cinematographer or the
Cinematographer was really funny too.
the guy
with
from,
the evil like
Best Buy.
voice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought all the characters were good. Shot really well, like the way it framed all the stuff with the
I think
alien.
it was a good story.
Yeah,
Really.
I loved like how the design of it. I loved that like it was like a ship, but it was actually the alien. And then it turned into this
that
like
was so weird.
jellyfish thing at the
Those
end.
were
The part
Beautiful
where it's like
creature. Yeah.
raining blood.
Yeah, there was a lot of like
That
great
was a
stuff.
really good part.
Visually stunning.
The weird
Something.
when the alien like transformed into like the butterfly thing with
jellyfish?
the box.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, but it was cool looking.
I don't understand aliens either.
It's true. It was like made of confetti. or something.
Yeah. I don't know. The more I've like thought about it, I've enjoyed it a lot more. Once I feel like everything from the monkey stuff and is like comes together a little bit more.
Yeah, it cleared up a little bit.
Yeah, it. I thought it was. I definitely didn't feel like it was. There was more of a like. It was all interwoven a little bit more than like the stuff in Us with the like underground.
Kind of glanced over
clones,
that. I feel like that just
like-
came out of nowhere at the end, sort of.
Yeah, I remember. I feel like it had jumped the shark a little by the stuff in Us, but I felt like
Shark.
I felt like in this movie it all worked well, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I can't really remember any other parts that bothered me.
I like that the whole like the goal of the movie was just to like get a picture of this alien.
Yeah, that
and,
was
like,
fun. The cinematographer.
the way they
was
did it at the
I-
end with the like well thing.
That was was there something with the cinematographer that just didn't make any sense?
There's this
I think
camera.
when
I
he
thought they had
died-
the footage, but he.
Well, I think we thought that he killed himself with the footage, but they had it.
No, I think he did kill him with the footage. That's why they didn't have it. So they only had
So
the.
they had to take the well photo.
Because he's like, I gotta get this shot.
That's what he. Yeah, because he took the footage with him when he got eaten.
Yeah.
Even though he had like a bunch of shots with it.
I
But
don't
did he
know.
though? Because
That-
I swear, like
I guess he used
the
the
film
ci-
was on the ground, or maybe it got sucked
Well, they
up.
used-
I don't know.
Oh shit! They used the fucking. They were rolling the film the whole time, but they didn't get it on camera. I think until the one. I don't remember exactly. The TMZ guy, I remember with like the silver helmet. and
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
rifle.
Daft Punk.
Yeah.
He just fucking ate shit
Yeah.
and died.
I just all the like, and all the like stuff that it like kind of foreshadowed in the beginning of the movie, like the inflatable arm men that like came back and they used that to tell like where it was without looking at it, and like
Yeah.
I remember the score also in that scene where he like is on the horse like riding like into it. Just I thought it was all really cool, really unique.
The horses were a big theme, or a big part of that movie. That one horse just ran off and got fucking eaten.
Oh yeah, and that was how the title cards were like the names of the horses.
Oh
Remember,
yeah, I
like,
forgot
chapters.
about
Or the suspense in the
barn.
unneeded suspense
In
in
the
the
barn.
barn.
In the barn, yeah.
that. I freaked me
fun.
out.
I'm free to punch people out.
It's scary. People don't like aliens.
Yeah,
Well,
but they were like comic aliens. Like it was
Yeah, that
like
was
comically funny. Like big gray man with
He was just like,
big
I'm
eyes.
not
That's what
making
people are
this kind of
afraid of.
alien movie. I really liked it though.
Yeah.
They were freaky.
I enjoyed it.
I liked it.
I liked it too.
I remember coming out of it not liking it, but now that the chimp scene was a
Yeah,
little
that
bit
was
more
the main.
cleared up.
I feel like disconnect. But once you
Oh,
like think,
remember
of,
the fucking shoe? That was like standing.
Oh, yeah.
upright? I just remember that part. I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And I don't think we ever figured it out. It was just like extraordinary like circumstance or something. That was like the
Yeah,
point of it.
the daughter, the whatever got.
it was just like
the
a
girl that got
stomped.
like her face.
It was just like
fucking-
a-
Yeah, and then she just had the shoe was just standing up on its end
that
at
was
the end of the
yeah.
shot,
Yeah.
and
It was
then,
just like
and then
something
it was
crazy,
in his
right?
museum
Yeah.
thing.
I think it's just like a symbol of
But
that.
why did you need
I don't know.
that part? I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah, I don't know. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. Cool movie. Great movie. I thought I liked it.
Better than Us.
Better than Us, I think.
Not that you need to compare.
I still think Get Out's better. I put it number 2
Get Out's definitely the
in
fucking
his
best
filmography.
out of that.
I am gonna give it an 8.
I'm gonna give it a 7.
7.
The Whale. Say a quick,
Damn it! I forgot about that movie.
Say a quick blurb about
What did you
this.
watch it on?
He saw it in the theater
Theaters.
with his mother.
Oh,
Saw it
yeah.
AMC.
You literally just said that.
You know, I was looking forward to this movie. I like
I
Brendan
heard his
Fraser.
performance was like crazy good.
Yeah, that's the
Only good thing.
not only good thing, but it's like what you're going to the movie for. You're going to see like, when he does a really good job in this, and he's big Brendan Fraser. And Sadie Sink is also in it.
Already
She's
so
really
good.
good. But other than that, there was a lot of like strange like things about it. Okay, it's based off a play, which I didn't know. I feel like that makes a lot of sense because it's like written like a play. It all takes place in the house, and it like
Boring.
just like a lot of the lines feel like they're meant to be said to like an audience in a play. And
Why wouldn't they change the script?
Crazy. I don't think it was the exact script, but it feels like that. And yeah, just the entire thing, like I found like the characters to be like weird and not fully go where they were supposed to go at the end. But the ending itself, with like one thing, was really good. So yeah, I'm giving it a 7. Wish it was better though. Brendan Fraser's really good.
Was Brendan Fraser that big in that movie? I thought they added stuff to him.
You mean like in real life?
Yeah, in real life.
It's like a fat suit. I think.
Serious?
He's like
No,
big.
but he's big.
That's
in
why, because
real
like
life.
you see the poster and you're like, okay, but then when
Yeah.
the movie starts, he's like big.
Yeah.
So, and there's like a scene where he's like, oh, I'm gonna like eat a bunch of candy. It's like a bunch of gross like food stuff. Yeah, it was. I need to rewatch it. I wish it was a little better though.
What do you give it?
7.
What everyone give Nope?
I said 8.
7.
Okay.
fucking tab.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever.
Woo!
All right.
So-
All right.
Hard to do a tasteful, like, movie after their lead role.
Maybe it's like they shouldn't make it. or
The last
something.
movie had
I don't
died.
know.
Although they did a pretty good job. I thought I was
It
not like
tasteful.
I was never like cringing off of like they shouldn't be doing that. Like I thought it was like well made.
CG Chadwick Boseman.
Actually, I thought it was like the best Marvel movie in a freaking while, to be honest. But
It's too long again.
I keep saying this. It was too long.
I don't think
This one was actually. I think it was. It was like 2 hours and 16 minutes.
I thought it was longer. It was like 2 hours and 40.
Oh wait, yeah, it was. That's insane.
Another like almost 3 hour movie.
Wakanda Forever.
Yeah.
I think the worst part of the movie is easily the Ironheart part.
Oh my
she's
god,
like-
I forgot about that.
It's
That's
Yeah.
like easily, I think it's
That makes the
definitely a
movie
setup for the show.
Because her character isn't interesting, and you're like, well, why are you into Stark tech? But she's like, oh, I'm
It's
gonna
never explained.
build this suit, and then she makes a CG suit, and then she's like, oh yeah, and then she was like, she just every time she's on screen in the movie, you're like, man, I hate you, and I don't want you to be here, and I'm not gonna watch
She
your
just
show.
takes away.
Yeah. Other than that, though,
I
That was
think
something.
Namor was really cool. I think
yeah,
he was a good bad guy, but he wasn't a really bad guy,
yeah,
which is like also the theme of every fucking Marvel movie this semester.
not that bad a guy. Yeah, I liked Namor as the villain. I thought Shuri as the lead worked really well. I thought the actress did a great job.
Shuri
like,
was
the first scene I
really,
remember
really good.
being like great. Like it was all one take, and they're like, Black Panther's dead from disease.
From A to Z.
I think
A disease.
that was I don't have much to say about it, to be honest. I
Fight-
thought the
ending fight could have been like
As always,
that was a part where I was obviously I don't like that because
all the like
every
fighting
Marvel
on
movie
the
ever has the same
boat.
problem.
I was like,
yeah, that part was fucking.
I at least enjoyed the fight between her and Namor.
I feel like it could have been longer though. They just kind of.
I just think it could have been better. They can always be better.
They just
Stop making
landed on
these
a
fights.
beach and then they just fucking fight and that's it.
I did really enjoy how she referenced the lines that he had said like in Civil War to like not kill Namor. I thought all that stuff was good.
I liked what's his name, Michael B. Jordan in it.
Yeah, that was a fun surprise.
That was a fun
That was
surprise.
kind of cool.
Yeah. I also liked how it was like an actual sequel to the first movie. It like referenced a lot of things that happened in that movie where you're like, oh, I wonder if that'll come up again, and that feels like kind of significant. And
Yeah.
that worked well. And her mom, she did a really good job.
She died.
She died.
Rest
Big
in
year
peace.
for water people,
Oh,
ocean people,
Yeah.
mammals, Mr. Nimbus.
Then there's dumb stuff like the suit, like Okoye gets, the like CG,
like the
like
Iron
Iron Man.
Man.
Oh, very cool.
Like, what the heck is the reason for that?
I think
It just makes them gods. Like there's no.
It makes them look cringe. I start cringing when you
everything
look
with
like
Shuri was really cool. Yeah, that was really dumb though.
that. I was like, ooh.
I think that movie was saved by some stuff, and I honestly think it was like a 7.
I was gonna give
Julia
it a
Louis-Dreyfus needs to stop showing up in these.
7. She's the
MCU
new.
things. I cannot believe she's in that movie, and she's like, we used
I'm
to be
your
married.
ex-wife.
She's the new Nick Fury of bad guys.
For the Thunderbolt? Oh, I love the Thunderbolts. Can't
I
wait.
love how the Thunderbolts are like 3 out of 6 of them are the fucking people from Black Widow. Or 2 out
Yeah.
of 6.
I love Marvel.
Why is there
I also
Santa
like that it was.
line?
It's the fucking shit.
I liked that it was like more serious. There weren't as
Just
many
like-
cringe like Shang-Chi
They
jokes.
didn't do. That's like the first movie since Guardians that hasn't been like.
It had
that.
like 3 jokes total, I think, in that movie. Or like,
Yeah.
2 of them were like.
Yeah, probably a good idea that you shouldn't be making jokes.
And don't get me wrong, those jokes suck, but I still cringed. But the cringe ratio was down
Facts.
from previous. So.
A 1 to 4 ratio rather than a 1 to 10.
Like I still remember when they're in that room with her and like they're doing all the she's like throwing she's like I like her like these dumb like I'm like
Yeah.
I hate you. And there's like dumb plot stuff like in all these stupid movies.
Continue.
Overall though, solid.
3. I'm bringing it down to a 3 because we keep talking about it.
What was that?
7.
5, 8, 10.
Calculate.
That's all I
7. I
do it.
still don't like
6 or 7.
like it like that. Like it was like good for what we've been getting, but do I want to watch it again? No. Do I really care that much about what happened in this movie? Not really.
What is that?
I'm
I
Mr.
know what that
Nimbus.
is, but I can't.
It's from Rick and Morty.
It's the Ocean Man.
Who has the set
The
rating?
first episode?
Chase
Yeah.
the set rating.
I said 7.
And you said a bunch of things actually.
I said it could be a 6 or 7, but
Okay.
I'll just go 7.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I probably have to watch.
What'd
it
you
again.
give it?
I said 7.
Sleeping
What'd you give
Beauty.
it?
I
Keep a lot of
Oh,
He fell asleep.
in
In your drunken stupor.
It was the best MCU
in
movie
celebration
this year.
of the new Black Panther. I blacked out before.
Oh, the like little tribute at the end, I thought was nice, and the stuff with like him having a son that like.
That was cool.
I feel like they didn't need to do that, but
Yeah,
I-
I thought
Yeah,
it
they
added
didn't.
to it.
As someone who didn't
Did
watch
it
the
add
rest
to
of the
it if they ended
movie,
it without it, I think.
The son thing?
Yeah.
you guys
It
said
did.
there were like tributes to it like throughout the movie, right?
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
like
not there
2
wasn't
big ones.
footage
Not
of
like-
them.
yeah.
That was the tribute, but I think after what she had like been building up to through the rest of that movie, that
did
like
it
beach
well.
scene at the end fit well.
I know.
Agreed.
Because after seeing only the last 15 minutes, I was like, oh, they could have done like somewhat better of a thing, like tribute to Chadwick Boseman instead of whatever was at the end of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was like, it shouldn't be the main focus of the movie. They decided to make the movie. Don't like just make a big ass tribute. Like if you're
Which I
gonna
still
just
feel like it
take
was a
on the
tribute,
guilt.
But it
So,
was
like-
there was still a death in their like their
Or-
king died.
But
Yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, make it a tribute, but like, don't make that like, don't.
The focus.
Yeah, like if you have to like reference that every 2 seconds, then maybe you just shouldn't be making the movie.
Yeah. Wait, should they be?
No.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I think it was good for what it was, but I really think they should.
Best,
They got $1 billion, so who gives a
best,
fuck?
Fuck yeah,
best
dude. I
MCU movie this
actually-
year. Not that it was a hard competition. Joseph, do you want to say anything about Spiderhead?
Us three watched it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I came in late for it, but it was
I
still
came in late
as
for it.
bad.
I
Dark and flawed.
Just tell me
Some
it's
of the
bad
best jokes
and-
I've heard in a while.
It's
were
pretty.
made in the
It's
movie.
like entertaining to watch.
Like,
but it's so stupid.
They
So
make
fucking
during
bad.
that movie, or we made?
We
during
made.
that movie? Okay.
I remember Gabby was like, "I'd give this like a 10." Or like a
She was like,
9 out of 10.
it'd be a 10,
got-
but like no, she was like, if it was
She-
just the ending, it'd be a 10.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, I love the ending." The ending was just the
He like crashes a plane into
It
a
was just-
mountain and dies.
the bad guy just
He gets high.
just is high off his own fucking supply, just crashes a plane into the
He thinks
mountain.
he's like flying to the sunset, but he's like flying into like
But that's-
a rock wall.
I don't understand how you could like look at that and be like, "Oh, that's like a good ending." That's just an ending. That's like
There's no justice for
Anyone.
anybody in that movie,
No.
so I don't see how that's a good ending. It's like it's funny, but it
It was
Kinda
it was
disappointing.
really bad.
was bad. I think it was a good bad funny.
It
Yeah.
was a
It
good
was a
bad
fun movie to
It was
watch.
a
Like,
fun like Netflix movie to
It
watch.
should be like if I was rating it on the same scale I rated like Babylon, that's like a 1. But as far as like it was entertaining as fuck. So I'm gonna give it
I
like
think
a
it
4.
took itself seriously enough.
That it
sort
was
of.
like funny.
Yeah. 8.
No, yeah, I was entertained, so probably like a 9 or a 10.
I think it's a 3 if it was a
I would,
fucking...
yeah, I would also give it a 3.
Banger. Banger.
Uncharted.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Better than
I
expected.
can't believe this was this year.
I guess.
Better than expected? You fucking with me?
I mean,
Mocky Mock.
I wouldn't
disagree
know.
You're
strong
from
You think it was worse?
very.
I thought it just sucked. I don't
Queens.
care. I think as an adaptation of the game, it was god awful. I think as an
I
average
haven't
action
played-
movie,
I guess
it was
yeah.
a like snooze fest, and then had a cool finale.
Like the boat.
The boat stuff was
Boat,
cool.
It was
boat
so
flying.
stupid.
I've seen better action sequences in the Naughty Dog games than in.
Well,
the
yeah,
fucking
they're all
movie.
better in the game.
I was actually about to say that same exact thing.
The plane thing.
The only like video game esque thing is when Tom Holland is, I guess, you know,
Falling
the
from
pirate.
I think
ship.
I'd rather watch
But yeah,
an
falling out of
Uncharted-
the cargo plane, just like climbing up the boxes.
Yeah.
So that was like a shot for shot thing from
Yeah.
the
I
game.
did
I think I'd rather
enjoy
watch
the-
a cutscene compilation than that movie.
Yeah, I
That's
did
why it
like
doesn't make
enjoy
sense to
the
make these-
ending. Like at least at that point, I was like, this movie sucks, but like at least this ending is like, I'm entertained. But
The pirate ships.
yeah, but it just was
God,
like
it was fun.
the most
Goodbye
like
to the
cliche
kid.
movie I've ever seen. It
You're
just
a
checked
goodbye
off.
to
Every,
the-
it just like checked off every trope. And Mark Wahlberg and Tom Holland, they're not really jiving together. They're both giving whack performances.
When does Mark Wahlberg not give a whack performance?
A fighter.
The other guys.
The other guys is his peak for performance.
It was just so like lame,
Father
so
Stone.
average.
Oh fuck.
Liam loved that movie.
None of
This
us
movie
watched that,
like
I'm
does
assuming.
what it has to, and it's just so like.
It was unneeded as most
Agree-
Sony movies.
Oh, I remember there was like a villain swap at the end. That like they
Oh,
killed.
with,
I was like,
uh,
I like the old villain. Why'd you
What's
kill?
his name?
What?
I was just saying Bebop.
It just is like as a game. Why
Superbats.
would you cast them as them? And the post credit scene is like, I have my mustache.
Oh, at the bar.
Sucks. But also as like a movie by itself from the game, it's like pretty average.
I thought it was worse than average. I thought it was
Okay.
gross.
It was pretty standard, like,
gross to
action
look
movie.
at.
It was a. I don't know. I
was a
haven't
movie.
seen like an action movie in a while.
I had fun with it a little
Give
bit.
it like a
I
5.
guess.
I think.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5.
I was thinking 5.
Same.
All right,
Average is
moving right along. Probably a third of the way done already.
Yeah,
aren't we?
yeah.
Close too.
Oh god.
Lightyear.
Freaking! Can we just skip the review of this? 6, 4.
Did anybody watch it?
Yes.
I did.
6.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why was Tim Allen not Buzz Lightyear?
Because he's
Because quit that
conservative.
and you
Because he was in the Santa
He's a
Clauses.
cheap made
So
in
they
China
obviously brought him
knockoff.
back. Yeah, I thought
What
the
are you
movie.
doing?
This movie is also just lame. I think the twist villain was lame. I think
Was it not Zorg?
No, it was
Zurg.
Buzz.
Zurg.
it's him.
Zurg was
Zurg
Buzz
is
in a
older
robot
Buzz. He's like I do think at the beginning I was like I'm kind of into this. It like started off promising with
I
like the
liked
time
it.
dilation kind of interstellar stuff. I was like,
I
this is
liked
a cool
where he
start.
was like failing to. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
failing to get it, and he had to.
And that's the first like 20 minutes because once that's over,
And
the
then
movie
Taika
is a
Waititi
snooze.
joined the movie.
Oh, I forgot about. Oh, I actually forgot that happened. I
He's
That
forgot-
is like
he's the
that
same
is so
character in
bad.
every movie. I fucking
Oh,
swear.
I'm
A New
cat.
Zealand.
I'm made of
bitch.
rocks.
Yeah.
They have these like checklists. Like we need a funny like New Zealand.
Alright,
Cat.
we
We
need-
need a funny cat animal or something like that.
Okay, but the
Cute
cat
little-
was
cute-
funny.
The cat was
Cute little
stupid.
sellable animal.
And
No, that's literally they're like, what's
Socks.
gonna be
His
the
name was
toy?
Socks.
Yeah, he was so stupid.
Can you put something maybe furry that
Hey.
maybe can you make it talk?
Can we make this
Every
like
Disney
this movie about a toy, but like try to sell something completely different?
Something
How
funny
is that
and cute
supposed to
that
be the
serves no
movie
purpose.
that Andy sees in
Andy saw the
1995
movie. He did
that makes him want to
sucks.
go out and buy a Buzz Lightyear action figure?
It is, dude. I think that movie was like, it was. The beginning was. It started off better than it ended.
I agree.
For sure.
I was
And
kind of on board.
It was like
Because it got
I
goofy.
finished it and I was like, this was just a.
They
It
can't
was,
make a serious movie to save.
it was just like a pix. It was like no, actually, you know what that was? That was a Disney movie. That wasn't a fucking Pixar movie. That was
Amen to that. That was like the weakest Pixar movie since their last bad
The Good
movie.
Dinosaur.
Wait, they're making bad movies all the time.
Yeah,
In
that's
fact,
kind
they've
of
only made one good movie in the
my
past
God.
like 10 years, and it was Soul.
Frozen.
I still haven't seen that.
Soul was really good.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
I also like Coco though.
yeah.
Coco's
I'm saying,
really
but
good.
that was still like 5
I still can't believe the whole misconception leading up to that movie that this is like the toy Buzz Lightyear in this movie.
Yeah, people were
shooting
confused.
off into space, doing all this like
And being malleable and like having
Yeah.
a face that.
and not Tim. I don't know. But didn't they like flash that on screen before the movie started?
I'd probably be confused.
Yeah,
That's
he says
That is
he says
ridiculous.
Buzzy, Woody's. Timmy, Jimmy, Andy saw a movie, and he's like, and this is
that.
Buzzy,
movie.
Woody, Timmy, Jimmy.
this is that movie.
Stroke.
That is.
Yeah,
All right, let's wrap it up here. I'm sick and tired of talking about
I
this
feel like I had
garbage.
one more thing to say about it.
I gave it a 5, but I'm kind of feeling like I should change that because I really don't like this movie.
I thought it was a 5.
I
Same
gave it a
as
5 when I
ever
saw it,
was.
so I'm gonna trust myself and stick with a 5 because
Poop
it's
movie.
not like it's not. I just
Worse than average, I think.
I didn't like it.
It's just a money fucking laundering.
I'm giving it a 4. I'm a hater. I kept Uncharted a 5. 4.
Jumping out the
I'll
window.
be the pessimist and give it a 3.
Jesus.
I was thinking 4, but F you.
And I'll be the hero and I'll give it a 9.
Same for the
Imagine.
average.
Wait, what'd you give it?
5.
Okay.
I genuinely didn't think it was like that bad, but it
was just
not
lame.
good. Yeah.
I saw this movie Funny Pages
Oh.
that I didn't like that much, so I'm just gonna say, but it was okay. So I'm gonna give it a 6. I don't really feel like talking about it.
I watched the
Does the
documentary.
kid from 8th grade, the like guy, he's in the car with
The guy
her?
From, I didn't never finished 8th grade, so.
Oh.
Is he in Licorice Pizza?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then I don't know.
No, not that kid. I know you're talking about that. The one on the
That's
plane. Yeah. No, it was like a like mature Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and I didn't like it as much as I thought. Basically, it's about like a bad guy, and then bad things happen to him,
Okay.
so he doesn't become a better guy, which I thought is what might happen. 6. Halloween Ends.
Wait, can I really quickly before I forget about it? I watched this documentary called "This Place Rules," the Andrew Callaghan one.
What would you get?
6. That's pretty cool.
So,
Cool.
You said it was good.
You were
Halloween
We
Ends.
talked about that the past like 3 days.
Evil dies tonight.
I wish.
I remember that
think
movie
I would be
a lot
wishing
for
watching
some
that movie.
reason.
I don't even remember that movie.
It was when the guy.
Did you guys see that?
I can't believe they forced a mentally ill man out onto a ledge.
Not that one. The next
And
one.
then he jumped.
The one this year.
What kind of message is that?
Okay.
Oh my
so
gosh!
This
And then,
movie was
how do you
kinda
live with
wild
yourself?
They
because
introduced a new like.
yeah,
or,
and
like,
when it was
skill.
like
Oh
halfway
my
into the
god!
movie,
Now I remember.
and it was just that guy doing his thing. I was like, I don't hate this. I was like, I thought the actor did a good job throughout the whole movie, and I was like,
I don't know.
I'm okay with this character existing, but why is it in this Halloween movie?
Also, I
and
didn't
then
like the way
he
it
beats Michael Myers up, takes the mask, and the movie goes downhill.
Yeah, Michael Myers just like he's like, fuck it, I'm dying.
He's not in the
Evil
movie.
died.
He's
He's like, no,
he's-
evil dies
and then maybe
tonight,
it's-
and then he gets like a cabinet dropped on him or something, and
It's
then
also
they like finally
weird.
beat him.
It was weird how it was all supposed to take place in one night, right? And then it was like 3
We
years
cannot
later.
do this.
I think what
What
really
was
happened
he doing for the last like 3 years?
in the last movie, they
Camping
should
out in the
have.
sewer.
What about the last 2 Halloweens? You didn't go out and kill people?
In
like
the
that's
last
his
movie,
thing.
they should have just ended it. Like, I'm so confused why this movie even existed.
Well, because they killed her daughter, so they had
They
to
should
go
have just
from
left
there.
it after the first one. The first one was like a good comeback
Yeah, there
movie.
should have never been a trilogy.
And then they were like, "Oh, all the sequels suck," so we're like
money, more
retconning them.
movies.
And then they immediately make more
Wait, shitty
sequels
ones.
that suck.
Yeah.
It's like well, okay.
It was just like half it wasn't a Halloween movie, and Michael Myers isn't in it, and it's just I was like okay with it, but then it doesn't go anywhere because
I thought that guy was gonna get a redemption arc, and he just.
well, where it does
I
go
did
is
too.
he
I
like
was-
be-
that's what I
he
was
just
hoping
they were
dies.
building up that he becomes Michael Myers thing, but it was so
Or I was hoping
cringe.
that Michael Myers would kill him and be, or
Well, he
like he's like
does.
this monk.
Oh, I guess he kills himself.
Yeah. It was just
Alright.
and then in the last 10 minutes it becomes Halloween Ends, and that part was like all fine.
Oh, that was the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
of
that's
how
like
long
this-
is
That's what
movie?
it.
That's like a
if
short
you could
film.
take the last 10 minutes of Halloween Ends and take that out, and then take the last 10 minutes of that movie and then put it where the last 10
Yeah.
minutes of Halloween Ends
It
were,
would have worked.
Yeah.
it would have worked much
Man, that
better.
movie still would have sucked in.
There were a few fun kills, like the record player thing with like the tongue on it. Do you remember that?
Sort of.
No. Oh, I do remember that. 'cause I-
And like he kills those people like at the junkyard.
Oh, those
Like
were
the-
fun.
the
yeah,
kids,
yeah.
those weren't fun.
When
Those
it
were like
became-
kids, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh god.
When it
They
became
were
a
mean,
Halloween
though.
movie, I was like, this
Really
is
kinda
fun.
mean.
But the
It was-
hour and a half up to that, I was like, what is
It
this?
was still a little more entertaining, or I would say a lot more entertaining than Halloween.
But Halloween Kills had so many
Kills.
kills. It had nonstop kills.
Which one is
Yeah.
this?
But it was also really
second one.
bad. So what am I supposed to do with that? I don't know. I'm giving it a 4.
Okay.
I think a 4 is appropriate.
Foul.
Foe.
Yeah, 4.
Tree. 2.
Tree.
6. It really deserved like a 2.
Movies, jazz.
Jackass Forever.
Honestly, fucking really like that movie.
Heard good things.
It's gross to look at sometimes.
Not really, mate.
Who watched?
What do you mean?
Joseph watched it?
I watched like the uncut, unedited version.
Well,
The NC-17 one?
Yeah.
maybe that's your problem, man.
I saw some like
Dicks, probably.
there was a part where they tied like a bowling or like a brick to their wiener, and it got like caught on his wiener, like pulled it and stretched it, and it was like it was so messed up.
Seen a clip of that.
I was like, it was like
Who's Wiener?
it was the dude that has like a missing tooth, but he has like one ball,
Oh, fucking,
and all the other
Aaron.
yeah, so like all the other ropes like caught on their nuts because they had 2, but he has 1, so it like caught on the end of his fucking dick.
Why are you whispering?
The microphone's right here.
Alright, I thought that movie was like, I mean, I don't know. I like
It's a
Jackass.
Jackass
I
movie.
like the cast of people who do it, and they brought in
They just got big.
This sounds like a
brought
solid.
in Tyler the
Machine Gun
Creator's
Kelly.
homie.
This sounds like a solid 7 to
Jasper.
me.
It was
Jasper.
quite literally
The
a solid
definition of a
7.
solid 7.
You're right.
Chase.
Which one was the one where like
I don't
they
know.
put
I don't know how to
his
rate that movie.
penis
It's like
in
a-
like a,
They-
just like
they
a
did like
mouse
reel.
outfit?
That was
put
like
it in the
that's
sink
Jackass
pit. Was
like
that like
2 or 3.
Yeah.
That one was really.
Let's spend 30 minutes on this, or 30 seconds on this next one. Tall Girl 2.
I think it's a
Phenomenal.
really solid sequel.
phenomenal sequel?
Honestly, say the name and that's enough.
It was
said.
about a play.
It's basically copying and
God,
pasting
I'm so
Kissing
tall.
Booth 2 and putting it in Tall Girl.
I'm like pretty
'Cause she's,
tall.
like, they beat
No,
a, they
you know
beat
the
a
problem
handsome
was?
person. Or what?
This movie wasn't about her being Tall Girl.
Yeah. Oh wait,
It
she
was about,
forgot
like-
to say how much
It's
she
about
was
a
tall.
boy
Bro.
problem.
It was about-
There was
yeah.
like that beautiful
Donkers.
Swedish
what I'm
guy,
saying. That was, like,
and
in
he
the
like
kids'
had,
movie.
his sister's also
His name's
beautiful.
Donkers. Or Donkers is the
It
one.
was
Donkers. Yeah, Donkers is the small
Donkers.
one.
movie
Donkers
sucks.
doesn't understand.
I'm glad we watched it. As always.
It was a fun watch.
Second worst of the year, maybe. I'll give it
2.
Is this the one we
2
watched
for
like
sure.
right
Yeah, I was
after
gonna say
Eternal
2.
Sunshine?
I'll
or
give it
was
a
that
2.
something else?
No. 2. Cool.
Yeah, 2.
Sorry, I lost track. Oh, Avatar: The Way of
I knew
Water.
that was coming.
All right. This movie is a sequel 13 years in the making that no one asked for.
Really good.
I surprisingly enjoyed it.
I
Kept me entranced the entire time.
I feel like it was
Yeah.
like
Beautiful.
It was like it's I shouldn't be surprised. It was like one of those things where it's like, ooh, big good movie coming out, and then it was like exactly that. It was like
It was the first one. It looked good. And
honestly, I
had
think
a
the story of this
decent-
one was way better than the first
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Well, the first
There
one
were,
was
like,
just setting up
characters
that.
but
in
it's
this one.
it is a weird
kind of
premise.
There was
The kid-
two
there-
characters maybe.
The kids were pretty like set up,
But
and
then
the whale
it
is a
was-
character.
But then the character
I guess
that
there were two, yeah.
the emotional impact of the movie hinges on isn't a character. So you're like, okay, I don't really care, but I'm glad that you care. Jake Sully.
Yeah, well, no, I saw that like we all talked about this. Like 2 hours in, he's had like 6 lines, and I was like,
He's done for.
I mean, obviously they're gonna fucking kill this guy.
Yeah, all the underwater stuff looked insanely
Fucking
good.
incredible.
Everything
Every-
looked good. Blah
every
blah
part of
blah.
CG was-
Avatar looked
But-
good.
God, if this
I
was
still
a
don't
Marvel
think-
movie, you'd be raving, Josh. You'd be raving.
No, I know. It's just like that's the obvious.
It's weird to like think about it because like if you think about Avatar, the first one versus the second one, you're like, yeah, the second one like looks better, but not by much.
Honestly, I think
The
it
first
does.
one was
You've
so
gotta-
far ahead of its time, but then
Well, it's just
yeah,
that-
but then you compare like the late night like dark rainy scenes were
At the end, yeah, that was
incredible.
looking beautiful. Well, I remember when like the movie starts and you're like, oh, I'm here, I'm in Pandora, like it looks insanely good, and then the water stuff starts and you're like, okay, this is like something I've never seen before. This is like really cool.
Yeah.
Also, like the whole. I don't know. The kids were done well, and I liked the characters they set up. Like I liked each one of the kids. The little girl being a 50-year-old
70-year-old
scientist.
woman?
Yeah, that didn't really make sense.
Yeah, I'm all for like trying things, but maybe don't have. She didn't like try to put on a voice. She could like play a child, but she's just
Sigourney
using
Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver's just using her voice to play this
Would you
12-year-old.
rather have a Sigourney Weaver trying to be a
I'd rather have a
12-year-old?
kid play them.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
That's a really good
Why?
point.
Like, why?
Because how old is she? And there's Avatar 5 coming out.
Okay, no, that was the thing. He said he's like he said we filmed most of
How
them
old
like
is
really.
James Cameron?
He will be like 80 something by the time these movies are done. He will spend.
He's found out how to live forever.
He said that like they filmed all of them so close together so the kids wouldn't age out of the roles. But he casted a 70-year-old woman as like the 12-year-old daughter.
Also, what do you mean age out of the roles? They're CG.
Yeah, for the most part.
Well, yeah.
What does it matter? They can pitch the voices in.
I don't get that. Every time she talked, it really took me out of the movie.
I didn't know that was happening, and I really didn't notice. I did not care at all. I thought it was weird.
I noticed it sounded very similar to Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah,
I was like,
I also did.
That's weird.
That didn't bother me that much.
In terms of characters, all solid. I liked the Stephen Lang is like the villain in the first movie. It kind of sucks, but I actually liked him a lot more in this. But like
I like
stuff
that he
with
had
his
like
son,
emotions.
There was like something to do. Also, I just felt like he acted better. Like he's very like cartoony in the first movie.
Yeah.
So in this one, he's like in all like him being in the Avatar body. Or the clone.
All
like,
that whole premise thing was like a little.
You gotta just get on
I think
board.
this
Whatever.
is the definition of a solid 8. Like, I think it was just. It's like looked really good.
Definitely,
story passed.
Definitely a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Like Top Gun vibes.
Yeah.
It's like a big movie that just did things right, and then you're like.
Also, in terms of action, it had like some of the best action I think like of the year. Like I remember the action scenes at the end were like
insane.
Also, yeah, like once the like finale starts,
like bow and arrow stuff. That was so cool.
Once the like finale starts, I was like, I'm really invested, and I was like, but I don't know why because I don't really like any of these characters. That like Jake Sully like is fine, but like in this movie he's just like serviceable. Him. Like I like Natiri, like I like the. I don't know. I just like I was really invested and I
really exactly the only character I liked a lot was the teenager, which is
Sigourney Weaver.
No, the boy.
The one with with the whale friend. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, I think there were just like some things that are just weird in it or like bad, poorly planned. I don't like. Okay, I get seeing your dead body and these 2 arrows in it. It's like, oh, those are 2 arrows. They have green. But then he's like, oh, that's her call sign. It's like, what do all the other bows, like, what are they made out
That's
of?
like in my favorite movie, RRR, when he sees the blue painting on the back of the thing, and then he thinks back to the fingernails of the guy, and he's like,
he's a painter. And then the whole, like, kind of ending fight where, like, the Sea Clan has just disappeared from the fight. That was just
Or,
weird.
like, maybe the fact that when water's on fire on the surface, it's not actually on fire under it.
Yeah. It was. It is just really similar to the first movie, really where all the action and all the visuals are stunning and all that stuff is great, and the plot has been done before and is really simple, and some of the characters could use a little bit more fleshing out.
But it has improved.
It has improved, and I'm ready for the next one. Although, do you see that thing where he was like? The next one, you know how we joked about like the fire clan and all that?
Oh no.
He literally was like, yeah, the next one will be like a group of fire Navi. Like,
come to our volcano.
What does that mean? I'm gonna go swim in the lava.
Like, how does that work?
You know what? I'm sure we'll find out. I bet it'll look really cool.
You know what? It'll be cool.
Even cooler than the water firefight in my favorite movie.
Avatar 3 will introduce some evil fire Navi, hints James Cameron. I want to show the Navi from another angle.
Oh yeah,
do they have fire
nation?
No, like fire like animals.
That's what I was about to say.
Fauna.
Water makes sense.
Well, water people, are fish that exists.
You can't survive near a volcano.
Doesn't really make sense because what?
So when the space people will be the one after that?
Space people, I think fire people, space people.
Oh, Earth people.
Do we have
actually Earth people? Probably won't.
No, Earth people are the Navi and the.
They're like forest people.
Do you think they're gonna be like
Yes, they're gonna have like an underground like civilization.
They're like malls.
They're
like look at your heads. Your hands are
they're gonna
so
have
stupid.
To like start.
And they've got like giant shovel claws.
They're gonna have the like star-nosed mole like noses.
Yeah, they're blind. That's a good idea.
That'll be awesome.
They have like that Eric Andre skit where he's like, "Have you seen my dog?" And they just describe him to me. And it's the skin.
No, it was better than I thought, but I, like you said, shouldn't have been surprised. It's still like would love for the next one if he would like try a little bit harder writing what happens and like give me some more going on with the characters. But I feel like he is setting up stuff with like the daughter, the Sigourney Weaver daughter.
I think he did a
So
really
he's
good job.
Sigourney Weaver's daughter.
He does do well with like the 1 to 2 sentence like world building.
Yeah,
I forgot the specific examples, but there's a few in there that's just like, oh, okay, that's why.
Yeah, dude,
It
the
just
world
explains it,
building
like, really
is
quickly.
unlike any movie I've ever seen. It's like
Yeah.
insane.
It is
He's
cool,
like
but that-
built
yeah,
an entire
precise.
ecosystem. Yeah,
that's like why you're there.
That's a different, like, not even like, I guess that is part of the world building, but like the ecosystems he built
makes
like,
sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, they,
Ish. Like it's like
Ish.
it's like good enough. And
Inside the whales, it makes you stop aging, and
well, that's just like I feel like
it's
that
the same thing.
that was me.
unobtainium in the first movie.
Well, yeah, it's
the
like
same
suspend
thing.
your. It's like doesn't really matter. Humans are after something that is valuable.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
all you
really
need to
care.
know. Like
Yeah.
doesn't.
I just would like, dude. I don't know. I just want a little bit more from the characters next time, and we'll be sitting here 2 years from now, and I'll say the same thing.
I
7.5, but 7.
8.
8.
Cool. Okay, Scream 5. Scream.
The next
Dumb-
one's called
dumb-
Scream
dumbly
6.
titled
Scream.
Scream precursor to Scream 6.
Didn't see it.
God, that's cringe.
Pretty
Okay,
solid.
no, it was good. Surprisingly solid, actually, for
I
a
liked it.
Scream
I didn't like that
5.
Dewey died and the what? What?
I want to replay whatever the fuck just happened.
No,
I
that
thought you
was
were looking at him
literally
again
the
and
only
seen
thing
it.
I don't like about that movie was that he had
the
a
way he
silly
died,
death.
too.
Yeah.
Everything else, I thought all the new characters were
I
solid.
like the Reddit, like bad
All the like
guys.
meta stuff they always do, I thought was timely.
That's funny.
The girl who's like the daughter of Billy, like I liked all that with like the ghost talking to her or whatever.
Oh, I forgot about that. That was funny.
It just like was a modern Scream done. Yeah, Reddit. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. It was just a solid, like it was more Scream. It just was a Scream in a modern
Stays with
era.
the times.
Yeah.
Slasher.
Don't know about the new one coming out so soon, but whatever. It's directed by the same people. Scream
No,
takes
Campbell's not
Manhattan.
gonna be in it.
She's not.
'Cause
Which is like
they-
fine actually, because
She doesn't need to be in it.
yeah, why?
It's a new generation.
There's also there's like a whole new cast. So that's fine. Okay, 7.
7.
7.
Cool. Keith, quick blurb about Barbarian.
Oh, I thought it was very well done. It's not like it's a very suspenseful movie, and what it like. There's parts of it that the suspense is like absolutely fucking killer. It does what it does well. There's like a few goofy things in it. But I think
I
overall
heard it was pretty
it
good.
was pretty good.
Good year for horror.
Yeah.
True.
I don't know. There's and also Justin Long's in it, so I mean it's kind of weird. It's very, I hate saying it, but like defying your expectations. There's like
Nice.
I don't want to really spoil
For real,
anything
The Last
because I want you
Jedi.
guys to watch it. But like, just the casting of what's the brothers, the it guy,
Skarsgård?
Alexander
Skarsgård.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
no.
him being in
Skarsgård?
it. This casting of the Skarsgård guy is
Skarsgård.
That's not.
I don't know.
Skarsgård.
Can we get a fact check on that? Crew?
Skarsgård.
But the casting of him in it is pretty good because he's like a big like horror guy.
Georgie.
And he's weird looking.
Yeah, yes.
Fucking
But
big
yeah,
fan.
the suspense that they do use in that film is perfect.
Cool.
Wonderful.
I do want to watch it. Rating?
I want to give it a 7.5, but
Nice. We don't do
I'll
that.
give it like an 8.
Whoa!
It's a good like suspenseful movie.
What's that movie called? Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Did anybody watch this?
Yeah, dude, that's like a surprising movie where it was like
Funny Nick Cage, funny.
it was like it was. I mean, it's got like a classic like comedy movie drama plot where like it really doesn't make sense and it sucks kind of, but there are like some scenes from that movie that are like top tier. He trips with
Don't spoil it.
Yeah.
I do kind of still want to watch it.
Okay, well you should watch it.
I
It's
will.
pretty good. I
Really?
honestly like. It was entertaining, completely like throughout the movie, and it had some parts to it that were like decent friendship story kind of thing. and a really funny premise.
Nice.
So like 7.
Cool. Wow. There were a lot of good movies this year.
I wanted to put
when I feel like we started out with like an average movie, and then we all gave it a 7.
You gave it 6s. A lot of 6s.
I think I gave it a 7, so I'm like stuck at this like average movie equals 7.
I wanted to put Barbarian out of like the 7 category, but I didn't. Like, it's not. I don't know. It's like maybe an 8.
Unbearable Weight
Eights are
like
tough.
it's like it's not a good movie, but it is very entertaining, and it's like self-referent. It breaks the fourth wall.
Just like the Batman.
Start off the long
3 hour.
Yeah, the 3 hour year.
Something. Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good.
I loved it.
All jokes aside, it was great.
It was really good, but it was also like I'm watching it and I'm watching it and I'm watching it and I'm watching it and I'm watching it. It's like fuck. I've watched it twice.
Also watched it twice.
I want to rewatch.
And the
car
runtime,
scene?
neither time has bothered me.
It bothered me the second time a little bit.
What?
The runtime.
Yeah, I had to do it in 2 sittings. I'm also very sensitive to that when I'm outside of a theater. When I was in the theater, it didn't bother me one bit.
I thought that I remember talking about it afterwards how Batman didn't really save the day a lot of the time.
Kind of shit the bed.
Especially when the bombs went off. Like, he didn't
He
solve
saved
that
all those
time.
people.
I mean, I'm saying he
time.
did
Like,
save the day, but he like didn't solve the puzzle
in time,
and like the city blew up, and then
It's his first time.
Well, I mean,
sorry, he's not perfect, Chase.
It was like
I'm just saying,
the point of the movie, though. It was
I know.
Like, imperfection is like his kind of his.
You want a Batman that can do everything.
The Ave Maria.
You gotta watch Superman.
You want Superman?
The more I think about that part of the park cringes me
so
out.
fucking hard.
I
not
love
like-
that part.
I don't know.
I
was during the movie. It's like doing like the Joker. It had like the build up of like when the Joker is like doing something in the old Batman movies. Like that same vibe, but it's this goofy ass dude. I don't give a fuck about singing Ave Maria, and I'm like,
I like the pic on the wall. And
gosh,
that was like
what was it?
It's like the
It's when
2
he's
Polaroids next to.
in Wayne Manor. There's like he's going through all.
It was in the orphan home.
Yeah,
Or was that what that was?
Yeah. I thought it
This is-
was great. Generally, really well shot. The like sound of everything was great. Like the opening like sequence with the narration. It's Tello.
That's kind of
And like the narration and all that was like perfect.
The opening scene of like the narration and like just the cuts to like the
cool.
dark.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, is he
That was
there or not?
perfect.
He was another Reddit villain for some reason, or 4chan, or what the fuck it was.
He just was a streamer.
Yeah,
No,
it
but
was
he
like
posted on like Reddit and 4chan and stuff like that.
I think
It's like, make sure you bring your guns.
Yeah, it's like an underground.
I do think the only like ridiculous part of that movie was the fucking
Venom, or the fucking
the
adrenaline.
Bane stuff. Yeah, the adrenaline shot that he like took, and it just like freaked out.
This came out of
Really?
nowhere.
that's like realistic though.
I mean,
that is actually how that works.
This vibrant green liquid.
it's adrenaline. I don't. It's like it's
if
supposed
you
to be
took like
anything
a
else.
shot of epinephrine, I
I think
think
it was just
you can
confusing
bounce
at the
back
time
from
because it
pretty.
looked like Bane Venom, but it just...
I did not think that.
It was like bright green.
It was the
and
bright
Nickelodeon
green that's
slime.
been going.
and then he got super
Bane
strong and like beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah,
I don't think he. I mean, I don't know. So I assumed it was
I
like
mean, it's obviously
adrenaline or
not.
something.
You remember
like,
in The Gray Man when he like he's like really tired
just
and
another
like getting
Thursday,
beat
that's
up,
what he says.
and then he takes an EpiPen and just like stabs it into his leg. 'Cause I remember that, and I was like,
Batman's whole like
I'm bad.
you know like vengeance arc that he went on and stuff. I thought was great.
The
And like
fight
that ending
scenes were pretty
scene,
good.
all the action was great. Like the ending scene where like he's like helping everyone or like airlifting all the people out and like his narration again. All that stuff
I'm so excited for the sequel.
was super well done. Same. All the action was
Jesus.
great. I wish that his
car
suit
scene.
wasn't bulletproof.
That
But-
part was so fucking stupid.
Well, I just
Well,
that's
don't-
just shoot in the head.
I still understand. Why do you guys have a problem with that? It's like, oh,
because
it's his
I feel like
first
that's
couple
like
of years out.
another.
I'm not
bulletproof?
good. I'm not
Oh,
good
wow.
at fighting yet, so I should probably stock up on the.
I just like when it makes him
protection.
more
I don't think you should be
vulnerable.
able to
When,
take
why
like a
wouldn't
full load or a full round.
What
of fucking
happened?
stuff.
4.
Remember, it's like 2 dudes.
It's
like,
from the
walking down
trailer.
the hallway, and they're like 2 dudes.
it's the
like,
scene that's only
there's,
lit
like
by
4
like
rounds
the
of
gunfire.
submachine guns, and he just
There's
like
only
walks.
one guy.
I thought it was 2.
I'm not saying there's like anything
It's-
with a.
But isn't
It's
his face
the
exposed from
Yeah.
down?
and he like smashes him in the ground.
I'm not even
Guess
saying
so.
it's like a flaw or anything with the movie. I'm just saying like I kind of prefer when he doesn't have a bulletproof suit because then he's like more vulnerable and like
It's OP.
it's a little bit. I feel like he has to like rely less on like stealth and like.
If you just
movement.
go balls deep.
Not
it's
like
just cool.
I mean that scene is cool.
You know,
Just like personally.
The Dark
All the
Knight.
casting I also thought was like top notch.
agreed.
Andy Serkis, Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell's really good.
Unrecognizable.
You don't know Spanish?
Sure.
What's that scene? What's the?
That part makes you like cringe.
That scene is awesome.
I like that a lot.
That scene is like perfect.
URL.
I'm the only one here that knows freaking Spanish. What are you showing me?
You're showing me.
And Zoe
Zoe
Kravitz.
Kravitz.
Like honestly, every
She did a
like
really
person
good
I thought
job.
was like John
Falcone,
Turturro.
yeah.
As
Although I
Falcone.
don't love her, like her character, like arc maybe wasn't exactly what I wanted it
I
to
don't
be.
think it's over there.
They like
think she really not
kiss
really an
and then they
arc.
like don't.
I don't think she really. Yeah, she didn't do much. She just
She moved on.
helped to, or her friend died, and then she was trying to solve it.
I feel like she had an arc because she killed. Or I guess he didn't end up.
Well, she
killing
goes to
him,
help
that's
him
the
at the
villain.
end,
Yeah,
but
and
her
then she,
killing
like,
stance wasn't
denounces-
really. I don't remember if she was killing.
Maybe I
people
just
at
don't
the
like the
end.
She
way
wanted
they
to kill
ended it.
Falcone, but then
When I
she
killed Falcone.
She stopped.
That's my
I don't
dad.
remember.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it.
It was long, but I also don't think I would cut anything. I thought about that when I rewatched it. I don't think there's like anything you can really cut from that movie.
I thought the church or the funeral scene was really cool with the bomb. It was fucked up.
Oh, when
The
the
guy's,
guy's
like,
the car
taped.
comes in.
Yeah,
The scene with like Andy with Alfred
the fire.
and when
I
that
loved
happens, the way that
Alfred.
was like edited, and then the scene with Alfred and
Oh.
him like in the hospital.
Remember
When
the
Alfred
flight
steals all that-
suit part when he just eats total. He
Yeah.
pulls the chute when he's under the bridge. It's like
And
why
he catches-
Yeah,
That
When-
part didn't make any sense.
when
Hey,
Alfred's-
but you guys keep on saying it doesn't make any sense. This is like year 2 of being.
You should have
Batman.
pulled the chute before. I feel like you would have known.
It's
that.
pretty stressful, Chase.
well, I just think
I just plummeted off a 100-story building. Ah!
Wait, dude,
Okay.
I don't know, man.
I didn't really have a problem with that, other than the fact that it seemed a little over
Out
the
of-
top, I guess, because he just like
because
flies.
there's nothing
John
else
Wick
like
It's a
Like,
real
down-
John Wick
down
at
a-
the end of John Wick 3. Like, if I literally would have just been like, let's change it so instead of he hits his head and does a triple backflip, he just like hits the side and then
Shit.
like falls over. Like, I just would have changed that. Still, I really liked it.
Yeah,
Good-
if they're doing
good
something
Batman.
so realistic as a learning curve to Batman's abilities, they should probably do a more realistic fall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, small. But if those are the gripes, then,
whatever.
they're quite small.
Not bad.
Hey, 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I'll do
Happy 8.
the whole like car scene of like
Yeah, the Batmobile
That
chase.
is so freaking
Oh, the score? I think easily one of the
Oh,
best. Like,
yeah.
the dong, 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 all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
the
oh,
basi-
yeah.
It's like
Batman
basically just
theme.
2 notes.
Something.
Yeah, it's
very simple.
That's what Ben
in the
Shapiro
way.
said. Like, this Batman movie has a terrible score. They just took the Dark Knight theme and inversed it. That's literally what he said. I was like, that's not true.
I hate
Doesn't
him.
make any sense. Doesn't make
Maybe
any
that
sense.
is true. It probably is true. It's Ben Shapiro. He's probably like, well, actually, A minor,
This is the
B
movie was
flat.
like shot in grayscale, which
The
that's not
Dark
true.
Knight
either.
doesn't really have like a score that has like 2 big beats.
The Dark Knight's
Or
the,
it goes,
like what plays in the end.
I guess it does that.
I don't. He sucks.
Yeah, but also the like tone of this music like fits the movie.
Well, and then he said it was woke agenda because the Catwoman's a black woman, and
God, he does suck.
can't argue with him there. JK. No, it's like a Batman movie. It was like a cool version of Batman that we've never seen.
Yeah.
And I like it a lot.
Suit's cool.
8's all around. 8's all around.
Cars
Next
games.
movie.
I think that's what we all gave it in the parking lot after the movie as well.
Yeah.
I think someone here gave it a 7.
I thought someone gave it like a 9.
That could have been me. I'm pretty sure I gave it an 8.
I think you did because you said that there was no arc. I remember.
I see
Yeah.
onions.
There's something about. Texas Chainsaw Massacre sucked.
8.
1.
2.
Almost redeemed
There was a
about that
school
movie.
character that had a history with school shootings.
What was the redeeming part of the movie? The Tesla driving away automatically.
Oh, I love that
Remember,
part.
she gets like grabbed out.
I
or something?
forgot I
remember
watched this
that.
movie. You guys, the second we started talking about this, I'm like, I haven't seen this, but I have. I loved this movie. Let's go to the abandoned town, and
It was just
this
so
woman still
lame.
lives here. What's going on?
Stop making Leatherface
It
lame.
was hard to watch.
I thought it was
the only scene that
like,
was
stupid
kind of fun
funny.
was where he kills
Bus.
everyone on the bus.
Yeah, that was like that was a
I
great
was say
scene.
the bathroom one in the back of the bus.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the only cool scene. That's why it's a 2 and not a 1.
I'll give it a 3. I remember enjoying it more than.
We were crying.
I don't know.
Um,
I'll give it a 2.
I said 1.
I'll say what I said.
I do like the bus scene.
I saw this movie, Cha Cha Real Smooth, that was like a human, it was a drama. It was like a lot of dialogue that was really good. Some might even say great. Had great characters and great writing, and Dakota Johnson's in it. And I won't say anything because I think someone should watch this one day. So I'm gonna give it an 8.
Wow.
Wait, no, I give it a 7. Sorry.
It's like really good.
Okay, no, it is good, but he
Some
made a
might
movie
say
before.
great.
He made a movie before that was an 8 that I thought was better. It was just wasn't as good as that.
What movie was that?
Understood.
Shithouse.
Why'd you say it like that?
Why'd you say a bad word?
Oh, just a bad word.
Ambulance.
Woo!
Number
What a
one
fun
spot,
movie.
baby.
Please,
Story.
God, keep it quick.
It's the story that
I love
defines
my-
what it means to be a family.
I love Michael Bay.
I think it was a good exploration of fucking what it means to have a brother and what it means what you will do to your family. I think the weakest part of that movie was Asa Gonzalez, or however you say her name. She was so fucking.
We're not the
boring.
bad guys. We're just the guys trying to get home.
I think she's a terrible actor.
Dude, at the end when he like kills his brother, and it's like they have like this moment where they.
He's just screaming.
That's like that's like the best scream ever. The worst fucking.
I love Michael Bay.
Why
It
did
is
they do
a
this?
through and through Michael Bay movie.
For sure.
Lens flares everywhere,
Shot-
action,
the drone
explosions.
shots.
Saturation turned up to
Fucking-
1,000.
I remember the
It's like
from what I
everything
did
is, like,
see of
under
that,
the
the
bridge.
like a lot of I was like I didn't barely watch a lot of it, but like the drone
There were
shots
a
were
lot
making
of
me like
shots, like,
annoyed. It's driving me nuts.
And then the
You know
whole,
how they do? Sorry.
the whole plot, like where he like shoots the cop, right? And he doesn't have to shoot the cop at the beginning when they're like, I don't know how much everybody remembers this, but they're like,
Like the bank heist part?
yeah, he like shoots the cop after Jake Gyllenhaal's like, don't shoot fucking anybody.
Yeah.
And then the like got his like brother,
scares
who's like the
him
military
or
dude,
something.
like shoots him, and it's like, why did you just do that? And he's like, we can't leave this dude here. And then at the end, they're like trying to arrest this guy. They're like not gonna help him, right? Because he's like bleeding out of the ground, and he's like, this guy saved my life. The cop is like that after he just fucking
You shot him.
Shot him.
like was near death the whole fucking movie because he shot him.
I'm
It's
assuming
like
it
that
was-
wasn't.
I was in a great mood while I was watching that movie, so like I would have given it a 5.
That seems about right.
Dude, this just you know how they like take the audio out of like a music video where they're like doing a stupid dance and they add like the shoe squeaking noises and they like just like kind of move around and like it's
Yeah.
like completely silent but the
Yeah.
shoe squeak. You should do that with like add the drone sound to like a crazy
over
shot.
top.
It's like,
Yeah,
I'll get on.
movie's whack.
Ratings, you guys?
I don't care.
think it
It's
deserves-
irrelevant.
It deserves a 3, but I'm gonna give it a 6.
6!
Just for fun.
I would give it a 5.
I was like,
I was
It's
4.
like a terrible.
I just
movie.
woke up
4, 5, and 6.
cabin and I like
You
turned
put
it
it
on.
on.
Like,
I
alright.
walked in the. I had a dream where I
Maybe it's
walked
like
into the
2.5.
main room and Keith and Chase were watching a movie, and then I woke up and walked in the main room and Keith and Chase were watching a movie.
It was
so
like 2.5 hours long too. It wasn't like
it was
It was
really
a
long.
long movie.
By the end
That's
of the
so
movie, everyone
cringe.
was in the living room watching
Yeah.
it.
Okay. The Banshees of Inisherin.
That
No,
doesn't
this movie's like, it's being like very positively received. I did like it. I don't think I'm quite on the high of like best of the year, but
I really liked
I-
that movie. I
I'm
cried
with
during
him.
it. Like,
well, I didn't get exactly. I still don't know exactly what it's like about. I know what it's about, but what it's trying to say.
you
And-
texted me. You told me that. Like we talked about this like briefly. What is it trying to say? Like I don't really know. It's more like telling a story, and it just does a really good
Yeah.
job. And like I think the point of the story is that it's like super grounded and like it's just like it's more a character arc or just like a character change. Fuck's your problem. than anything else. I mean like
I mean, it was weird because like I enjoyed like every scene and I consistently enjoyed it. And Colin Farrell's character, Also, well, it was really like enjoyable, but it was also really funny. It like had me like laughing, which I didn't expect. I saw this in the theater, a bunch of geezers, and they were all like dying laughing at a lot of parts.
I wasn't like.
I thought that was so quaint.
I laughed a few times in my bed alone.
I just wasn't expecting
Yeah,
that at all.
I was also in my bed alone watching it, and I like.
At one point, she's like, "You're so I think his sister says like, she like insults him or something. Dude, are you really doing this right now?
We're trying to like do something.
I'm trying to break down this movie.
I sat at the table.
Well, this just occurred to me. Do you think there's any relationship between, obviously, whatever, pray again. Whatever
The sister?
No, just the two guys the movie's about and like the civil war that's going on.
I think
that
a little
apparently
bit.
It's supposed to be like a metaphor for the Irish Civil War.
Okay, that's
Which makes sense, but I don't know a thing about the Irish
They
Civil
don't.
War.
I know.
Like,
So-
I know it's
From what I interpreted, as far as like, I think this is like kind of obvious. Like throughout the movie, this one guy hates him, trying to get rid of him. At the end, he's achieved his goal, and then he's the one like trying to like make small talk and not let him leave.
Yeah.
And it's like the permanence of like that thing that he did is now like coming back, and like he's realizing like he doesn't actually want it, or maybe he just liked having the option to switch back. But I don't know. I thought that movie was so well made, though.
It was really well written.
Well written is the right word.
I also feel like it was like
also, the
best-
world they established was like freaking awesome. But
yeah, it was really weird because it was clearly in like the 20s.
There was a
the
car
official
at some
start
point.
date of the Irish Civil War is technically around the 40s, I think.
Well, it was like either early like 1900s esque, but like it
regardless,
felt
it
almost
was
like
like
a
a farm
fantasy
town.
world. It felt
Yeah.
like I don't know. It was like a world you could get lost in, and I feel like it had the like consistently like best acting. Like all four kind of main characters, all I thought gave like insanely good
The
performances.
Flash? Was he in that?
No.
Who am I
The
thinking?
The guy
I
from
think of
Eternals,
The
and
Eternals,
and the
really.
Joker.
Barry Keegan.
Oh, it's
I
the
hate
Joker.
him in literally everything.
But
He
he
was good
did
in this.
so.
He's so unnerving. When I
He was
saw
making me
when
really
I saw
uncomfortable.
Colin
Why
Farrell
did I
and
just think
Barry
it was the
Keegan, I
Flash?
was like, oh, this is gonna be like a super weird movie, like Killing of a Sacred Deer. There's those two together just make me feel uneasy.
His
Colin did
character,
a fucking killer
he
job,
did.
and so did the guy from Harry Potter. The
Moody.
Brendan Gleeson,
Yeah.
he was great, and then the sister also. She had like a lot of great scenes.
Hagrid.
Fucking.
it was Josh.
I didn't know if there
That's
were
you.
like
Well, Josh started it.
what.
Did you say that was Hagrid?
Did you not?
When? Like, when we watched the movies?
I don't know.
Joseph's
I
like,
don't
this
remember.
is Hagrid's last performance. But it's not.
It's
Professor
not Hagrid.
Moody.
It's Professor not. Yeah, I realized that later on, but
I don't know if it was like trying to say something with like interactions, because like he ends up like going kind of too far, or like Colin Farrell, and then the like interactions that she has with everyone, she's like able to get out of it, and then Barry Keegan's character ends up dying from
Suicide. I
yeah,
guarantee it.
it was suicide. I mean, I think
I'm just
the
gonna walk
implications that
over
he,
and
like,
do what I was doing over
because
there.
he got like rejected kind of from her, and also
well, I
it
don't
was-
think.
vote.
I think it was more like his like.
well, yeah, not specifically that, but like that was the
And I don't
straw
think.
that broke the camel's back. It was like everything else.
Yeah.
His life just sucked, and his dad beat him.
There goes that wish.
Also, I really liked the scene where like he punches the cop guy is like coming to walk up to him, and then what's his name? Monkey comes over there and punches the cop. He defends his
The scene
friend.
where like he confronts him at the bar, they were just like it gave me a lot to think about, and it,
I was
Had me
like the
thinking.
entire yeah. It gave me a lot to think about, and like it was just like really well written. Like every scene, I was like very into it. In the world, you're right. The world they created was like insane.
The question I had was the old lady, was she supposed to be the Banshee?
yeah,
Because they
I
were
think
saying
so.
like, oh, she just sits back and like watches an amusement, and then it shows the two scene, like the scene like towards the end where they're on the beach together, and she's like pulled up
Watching.
that chair and just watched
Yeah, I think so.
about how he was gonna come and burn his house down.
Yeah,
Or no, I guess that was after.
That was after.
But
I think so.
It gave me the vibe of like a very old fashioned story. Like I don't know why I'm thinking of the Green Knight, but like I'm thinking it's like a
Barry
we-
Keegan was in there.
it's like a weird like there's like all these like symbolisms and like it
yeah.
like
I think
I
the
don't
Green
know.
Knight was like a bit more of like a complete, more traditional story, but this, I mean, I really liked it. Had me thinking. It was enjoyable, funny, sad, tears and laughs.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
That's fair.
Wow.
I want to give it an 8, but I don't think I'm quite there yet, so I'm gonna stick with 7 for now. But I should probably give it an 8. I'm just gonna. Oh, what's yours?
I'm sticking with an 8. I enjoyed that movie.
I don't know why.
The small like, the small bits of like comedy that were in it were like pretty funny. And it kind of did like cut between the whole.
I have no issues with it, so I guess I'll give it an 8.
I think I don't exactly know what like struck me about it that was like so good, but I don't know. The characters were just set up so well. I really liked. It did just make you think.
Next movie.
Big year.
Jay should come up with this one.
Big year for B movies.
Oh, Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
Okay.
Can we keep
Do you want
this
to see
brief?
this?
No.
You watched it?
We watched it in our apartment,
Oh.
didn't we? Someone had it on.
I watched it.
Some of the memes.
Referential humor,
I didn't like this.
pop culture.
I didn't like this.
I thought it was funny.
I hated it. I thought it was the opposite of funny.
I thought it was funny.
Uncle Sonic? What's his?
Ugly Sonic.
Ugly.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious. Come on, you're laughing
Yeah,
right
yeah, That
now.
part was, that part was funny. It was funny. The fact that Ugly Sonic, that's like, okay, that's kind of funny. But the fact that he was like who rescued them at the end.
Dude, that just freaked me the fuck out.
The fact that Uncle Sonic came in on that helicopter, he's like, I'm here to rescue you guys. I was like, that's kind of funny because why is it Sonic?
Hey, man.
I didn't. All their dumb joke. We get the CGI surgery. I thought it was all cringe, and I hated it.
I do remember laughing, but I did not enjoy that movie.
I think that's funny because that's like so stupid. Like that's like what they're going for.
Oh, at the Disney convention, you're Seth Rogen as Pumbaa and Seth Rogen as Monster.
Can you stop that, man? You're freaking me out.
It was big bug at the window.
It doesn't matter.
It's just no screen.
There was
some. In here.
I know it. The chase.
There were some cameos that had me going, but I hate this kind of movie. And I was sick of it.
It was definitely a point movie. Like
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was.
Look at that.
No, I get that.
Spider-Man into the Spider-Man.
I just hate it, and they go like the dream. I don't. For
hey, I don't.
Shrek was in that, right?
the Shrek like soap was in it. He's like, you want some Shrek shampoo or something?
Whatever. All right.
It was DreamWorks showing. Was it DreamWorks? Whoever.
It's Disney, isn't it?
I don't know. It was Disney showing like who all they had.
Yeah.
It's like Space Jam.
I give it a. I liked it more than Space Jam. At least it was trying.
I agree. It's better than Space Jam.
Barely.
It was a 4.
Space Jam was.
Yeah,
I mean, this
like
4.
It was like fine. So
I don't regret watching it, but I was like
9.
Don't worry, darling.
Hey, we didn't rate
Girls love this movie. What do sorority girls give this movie?
Rate it.
I said I gave Chippendale a 4.
Oh. Yeah. no, I agree.
Cool.
This movie was
Don't
weak.
worry, darling.
This movie was weak.
You know, it actually really wasn't weak until like
I think it
the
was
end. It was like really weak, but
The whole
it
point
was.
of the story was.
I think everything in the story didn't even like make.
Well, that's the
fucking
part.
sense.
Maybe like before, like a lot of the story came to light, I was liking it, and then when I knew what was happening, I was like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah, it builds up
The
intrigue
reveal.
well, and Florence Pugh is good, and all the actors do a good job.
And I like
and it's shot well. And you're
Harry
like,
Styles being like slowly like
I thought he was fine in the movie.
realize
Every
that he's
girl-
like kind of a bad guy.
Oh, we'll get this.
And then when he and then oh, he hasn't shaved.
Well,
in
yeah,
a
once the
little bit.
reveal
His hair
started-
looks funny.
Once the reveal started coming in, the girls were dying.
we were in a movie theater full of sorority girls,
That's what it was meant for.
and then us, and we were
It just frustrates me
having it.
immensely. I just like it. Yeah, the first hour and a half was like build up everything pretty well, and then once they start giving you the answers to the mystery, you're like, ooh, stinky, and it's just not. It's just
That's
it's
how I
silly.
felt.
It just isn't a satisfying reveal, and it's silly.
I
And
think.
then the bad guy, like at the end.
What's the plane? What the fuck is the plane?
Yeah.
What is anything? I think so. It's a simulation. I think we talked about, but like the simulation's breaking down and
And
showing
like
it,
if you
like-
die, but why? And the girls can't.
But I
And why
think
did
the girls
Gemma
can,
Chan betray
That's
Chris
what my
Pine?
point is. The bad guy, she just goes up and stabs him. She's like, "Fuck
So
you!"
many-
But she's been supporting him the whole time.
It's because she realized that maybe she
a
doesn't
bad-
need him.
I just know like
Yeah,
started
but like that's not something that like.
She just murdered him.
as the
without
answers started
really
coming, it
cause.
started losing me more and more. And by the time she's in that escape sequence at the end, like in the
Also,
car
I wish they did a
scene-
sequence in real life
And the two
where
dudes
they
just
like.
crashed.
Yeah, I was
Ridiculous.
like this.
Oh,
sucks.
yeah. Psh, like they or like oh yeah the guy who's driving directly
like,
towards
"Oh,
her
no!"
yeah and he's like
It's like the
he's
Austin
got
Powers.
like 4 seconds yeah
The guy
The
sees the
whole-
steam or the roller in Austin
Yeah.
Powers. He's like, no. And it's like,
Or
20
when
feet
she's
away.
going up the hill and then it's like,
Yeah,
crashes into
shit.
the mountain.
let's
just-
make this a little harder.
it went off the deep end by the time the story, revealed the answers.
It had a good thing going but it completely ruined it.
Yeah, it was like a sloppy combination of like ideas that have been done better in a million other movies.
I think the red plane or whatever was like someone on the outside sending it a virus into it, but it
Is that your
crashed.
theory?
Or like something, I don't know.
Remember the dance
I think it might have
sequence?
just been like a red laser that like malfunctioned for a second, and so
And it
she
was
just
a
saw it
plane?
go across the eye.
Or
She's
maybe
like,
that
oh,
was
it's a plane.
remember the plane? The kid also had the red plane at the beginning,
Yeah,
and I don't know.
that has no connection to anything.
Maybe-
I don't understand.
I honestly don't remember a lot of the details. I just know that once
Did the kid die? I don't remember. Or
Yeah,
he just
right?
disappeared.
I think he
That's
did.
why she went like crazy.
the kid isn't real I don't think the kid is like
sexy
Oh.
movie.
Or they like took
because
the kid as a punishment.
because
I
remember
don't
the other
remember. It's
the,
either
the
that-
other the wife or like their neighbor
She killed
she
him.
did it she's in the simulation on purpose and it's because her kids are dead and she wants to be with her kids or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
anyways
And then she went out, and I think that's why they like took her kid as punishment. So that's why she wanted to kill herself.
What she did, but is she dead? Because or do only the guys die? I think all of them have to die. That'd be stupid if.
yeah that wouldn't make sense.
But the whole movie doesn't make any fucking
I had
sense.
5 actually I want to give
I gave it a 5
I was gonna
because
say
it's still the
5.
first like hour. It's still like enjoyable and it built up
Oh.
intrigue well. It just dropped the.
It's just the ending
Ball.
ruined it.
Apparently, the book
Reveals.
or like the original
book.
We
screenplay,
talked.
the original screenplay was like really good.
Well,
and
it
it-
wasn't. I wouldn't say really good. The ending was different, where they got out.
Oh,
and
yeah,
escaped,
yeah.
And they like fought in the real world or something, and then
Which makes way more sense.
I think
I
it
just
would have been
anything
interesting
would have
to
been
see
better.
something like that.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, because when she gets out of there, like, there's more people behind that whole programming thing. She has to,
There's
Yeah.
more to the story that
Yeah.
isn't explored for no reason.
Yeah,
Stink,
5.
stunk.
Yeah,
guess
I also don't think Harry's acting helped any.
I mean, I don't think it was like
Oh,
good.
I don't
He kept
remember
on-
it bothering me at all.
Yeah, I was
It's
like,
The
whatever.
one where he's like yelling at Florence Pugh, his voice is awful.
Well, I rewatched that scene a few times. I'm like,
Yeah.
but on
And
the
then-
first view, I was like,
And then it
Famous for
also,
having
the
it.
people that were like in the theater with also didn't help.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that
focus.
makes me like.
That makes me mad. It's like, oh, you can't like think about like anyone else in celebrity mind that like, oh, maybe
Girls
they can
suck.
act and like, if they see him in anything else, they're like, oh, it's Harry Styles. He wears the
Well, it's not like
The
there's-
scarf.
Ooh,
and dresses.
nothing.
I heard.
instead of
We all
bad
heard.
word.
Yeah, God, that was cringe.
Alright.
5.
5.
I don't want to rate this.
Okay.
Okay, we always give you one.
I
Four.
said 5.
Mr. Hater.
Fuck it, 4.
The Northman.
Oh my God, was that this year?
Yeah.
Holy guacamole! It's been a while.
Yeah. I
Beautiful action.
was hoping for a little more, I think, but
It was good.
once
but
it was it was a story. It was a complete story. Good action and good acting.
I think it's the
I
weak.
good
just
directing.
wasn't. I just engrossed by it like
yeah,
that much.
it
I was
didn't
just
grip
like,
me really.
Anya Taylor-Joy
Yeah,
was there.
that she was there for sure.
He was there.
Yeah,
Um,
Ethan Hawke got his head cut off.
he was
I
there for a second.
Yeah.
I don't remember if I
Kidman.
hated the ending or liked it. The fight.
I
in the
think I was.
volcano,
I was
thought the fight was
indifferent.
They just
cool.
both died. Right?
I like
Yeah.
thought. I thought I'm indifferent on the whole thing. Like I don't think it wasn't my cup of tea. I just
I
don't like it.
thought I would really like it. Like it did everything right.
I agree.
I
Yeah.
just don't
I
know
just-
why it never grabbed
It,
me.
it's the same thing with Lamb. It's like it was a story that happened in front of me, and I liked it.
Yeah,
I
but-
stayed there and watched the whole thing, but it's
Or
like
was it like in it?
there was something that kept me there that just never happened
Yeah.
or something.
Well, Lamb or
Maybe it
the
was
Ram
mystery.
Man
It
got
was a
me.
mystery.
Oh yeah,
The Ram Man had me gripped.
That just came so out of nowhere. So Sort of.
It just, there's not much to say. I don't know. It's like a classic tale. It's a good story.
Why did he use guns?
Good
Vikings.
acting. It was Vikings.
Vikings are always cool.
The final battle was like cool. I liked how like the volcano and it was all really well shot.
Yeah.
Everything looked good. And all the
I just
performances were
don't find
great.
it like it wasn't like, ooh, this is so like epic, like
Yeah.
this is so cool. Like I thought it was like
It never really did it. And I
Yeah, I guess it wasn't really in the
visually
budget to-
maybe it wasn't like there having.
That was fine.
I thought it looked.
actually.
I thought it like
It looks
always
cool.
looked good. Especially I thought like the ending looked great. I don't know.
I don't know what it is then. I
still
can't figure it
think-
out. But
I
I
don't
didn't.
think it was boring
I don't
it was
think they were in
definitely a little
the.
boring.
I don't think.
or slow.
And I
They
didn't
weren't
care
trying
about
to-
like the main character really. Like he was kind of an asshole.
Yeah, they weren't trying to
Should've
like
just killed
glorify Vikings, like make them look cool.
No.
They just like
It was,
there are
like,
these
show it as it
people
is.
that just like invaded this
Like
area.
they
or
could be
whatever.
cool if they're a cool guy, but if they're
Yeah.
not, they could just be a bad guy. Maybe they're not too great to their wife, and then they get killed.
And there really aren't any scenes that like I'm like I remember that a year later.
I remember one
Like I
scene.
remember like the final battle. I remember the
How
scene.
about this one?
What's the?
Let's awaken a memory in your brain. Mommy moment.
I mean, I remember that,
when she
but
goes
not
to
for a
kiss
good
him,
reason.
she's like, it could be us.
Yeah.
It's like,
Or
Their
the
kid.
See, nothing-
stabbing
just
him in the
nothing like-
back.
the
Jived.
oh yeah.
the stock fart sound when he's like a kid. He's becoming like he's in the like cave thing with his dad.
With
And they
Will's
got a
He's
phone.
like, becoming, like he's like becoming the animal, whatever. And they have him fart.
What did
Hey,
we just
just
watch
stock
that had a fart?
fart sound.
I've heard that before.
Was it? I don't
We just
know.
watched a movie with a good fart humor.
It
wasn't Was it Babylon? It was Babylon.
I assumed it was
Okay.
Babylon.
Was it a stock fart?
I don't remember.
It wasn't stock fart.
It was just
Thank
like a
God.
good fart.
So what are they doing?
But what was the thing he like chanted? Avenge father,
Oh.
save mother,
Oh, I'll
Kill,
kill Fuhrer.
cure her. Yeah, yeah. It was like it did everything mostly right except make me care that much.
Yeah.
'Cause I did care, but
It was just
I
a
just
slow-ass movie.
7. I still thought it was like good.
I want to give it a 7. But I might give it a 6 because I
think-
remember like it was like one of those things where it's like everyone's like everything is telling me that this is a good thing, but I just did not enjoy it. Like I don't.
yeah.
I think it was the weakest.
That's
out of
fair. Of his
Robert.
movies, for sure. Well, I haven't seen The Witch, but I'm sure it's...
I think it's.
And it
I
bombed.
give it a 6.
Yeah.
Six is solid.
I would just give it the same thing I give Lamb, which is
Anya
7.
Taylor-Joy has been stinking up with movies recently.
Well, that's not a bad movie.
She was in that Amsterdam
That's
and
not
The
so-
Menu.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
I think the menu is fine.
Um,
Get to it.
Black Adam.
Oh, good thing I just watched that.
Favorite
Fresh
film
on
of the
mind.
year?
Stinky Adam,
The movie sucked dick.
Brown Adam.
I don't understand why there's so much of a focus on that like
The
woman
kid.
and her kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was like the movie was about them, and Black Adam was like, I mean, he was in it most of the time, but like he was so like
This movie was...
two-dimensional.
Well, he was The Rock.
His
He
act-
wasn't The Rock. He was
acting
A
like-
Rock. He normally is The Rock,
but
but
he
he
didn't
was...
have a character. He was like, okay.
Black Adam has got to
It's
be
like-
the like most boring protagonist.
But he's
if
not. He's
even-
a
I am
bad
not a
guy.
hero.
He's not a protagonist.
he just
Okay.
He
He said
sounds
that like five
He's a,
times.
he's a snooze.
Okay.
I'm
He
no
just
hero.
he was
Yeah,
not
whatever.
acting. He came on, made a like stoic look, occasionally smirked when he was like,
I think that was what they
"Here's
were
my
going for,
yeah,"
though,
but
it
that's
was
not
so
that,
bad.
What kind of character is that to name your movie? He's the titular character, and he's a block of wood.
He's supposed to develop into a round.
I don't like Black Adam in anything, but especially in this
He's
movie.
just a
Well, they
bad
were
guy.
doing
He
like
doesn't need a
they were doing like the
backstory.
Drax thing, but like in the worst way
I was
possible.
also thinking about that. So like he doesn't know. Is that sarcasm?
I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
It's like I work well with the team.
This-
I'm assuming that's sarcasm.
It was like the most cliched like early 2010s like superhero the
Even
big
the-
CG monster, the army that everyone fights.
And
That
it's
doesn't
also
even
like-
make sense. That was like literally
Dude,
like
I
5
hate.
minutes.
I don't even-
There's nothing more in super. They do it in every fucking movie when they don't establish like what hurts. Like, is he in
It
pain?
was
Is
the
he not? Like, does this
material.
fight
It was
hurt?
the
was the
Ethereum or whatever.
material.
No, I know, but like in a fight, like he's getting whipped around, he's whipping the
Sabak.
bad guy
That's what
around,
I was thinking.
he's
I was
fighting
like-
the devil, and he gets punched, and he's like, "Is it like ow? Like
Well,
does
I
that
assume
hurt
the
you?"
devil was powered by Eternium or something.
But like it's
The
like there's
helmet
no
was made out of
stakes to it. Like
Eternium.
it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You
this
can't. It's
movie
like
was
hard for you to imagine
muck.
like what even like like there's a reason like fist fights work so well because it's like how what it feels like to get punched.
The weight.
Like like that hurts. Like but it's like he just got thrown through a building and then he like like he catches a statue that weighs 15,000.
It's just
million
nothing.
pounds.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
It was weird that the first like hour and a half of this movie was pretty much just an action movie. There was maybe be like 15-minute long like dialogue sequences, and then it'd be like another action movie. And all the action in the first half, I was like, he's killing people. I was like, I guess I'm entertained. I'm monkey. But then he like an hour and a half of the movie, he gets put into the jail, and then the devil comes, and and it all just happens so fast, and there was no build up to
really,
it.
Really,
and it wasn't funny. It wasn't well written. It didn't look good. It was bad on every front. It was poorly acted.
I thought
the other cookie cutter like superhero film. The one thing was like the catchphrase.
Yeah, that's.
And then there was a second one that.
What?
Yeah.
What movies?
21 Jump Street like fail.
There's no movies coming out anymore that like. No one's doing that. Tell him the Man in Black sent you. Choose your words carefully next time. And just release the boy.
The amount of like, I fling this guy 100 miles away.
Like
jokes.
5 times.
Yeah. Or like he like finds the last guy. He's like, like bring him in for questioning, and he's like, and he's like looks away.
He didn't make it.
Yeah, he didn't
that was funny.
I thought
that one was okay, but like
that was the only thing that made me go like maybe a little smirk. I was like, all right.
But it wasn't out of like it was.
No, it was because I wanted to kill myself,
sad.
and I wanted to feel something in this movie.
All right, I don't want to talk about this movie.
I want to more.
The reveal of the the sun like twist where it's like the sun is the one who got.
You know what doesn't make any sense? They marketed that movie. Every trailer was like my son.
Yeah, my son. I was like, well, I already know
that part was at the end of the movie, so it's like, why did you?
Noah Centineo is Atom Smasher.
I thought the Justice Society was lame as far.
The only thing I kind of liked about this movie was
Pierce.
Dr. Fate looked cool, and his powers.
Hawkman looked cool too, but he was so fucking pathetic.
I just hated
Hawkman.
Hawkman
looked ridiculous.
I hated his character.
Also, I could not stand the like chemistry between like the smart girl and the dude who becomes big, and they're like got a little crush, and it's like.
It didn't feel like a real movie. It all just felt like so fake and like
what were they doing? Like why did they make
together that? And like
that
no one saw
that should not have been a thing. Like the whole
Dwayne the Rock Johnson waited 11 or 20 years to make this movie, and it's like the worst.
The hierarchy of power will change in the DC universe.
I think that's like something that could be expected. That the Rock is going to be the worst superhero movie ever.
Fucking the game plan is. A good movie, I'd say.
Honestly, the game plan is a great movie, but I don't think that was on purpose.
Another year passes where we're talking about The Rock, and another year passes where it's not a good movie.
Last year? Oh,
Brown Notice.
Brown Notice.
It's just he's
Jumanji too.
But like, I didn't.
Every single jungle movie you could think of.
I didn't know what we had in Brown Notice. He's joking in that movie, at least making me like feel something. This movie, he does nothing.
Jumanji, the first Jumanji was kind of funny.
I like Jumanji, whatever it's called. This sucked. 3. The cameo at the end is hilarious.
0.
Knowing where things go.
Oh yeah, that's so bad.
People are so excited, and now it's just sad.
Well, when I was watching, I was like, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess, because it sets up something. But like, oh wait, he just got fired.
Black Adam is a Shazam bad guy.
I know.
Why is The Rock trying to make him like a Superman equivalent?
Well, the whole thing, like I think The Rock posted Black Adam on like the throne. And with the caption, the hierarchy will change.
Yeah.
And it's like that's completely like not what he wants. He doesn't want to like be like the ruler or anything. He just wants to be a powerful guy.
The Rock doesn't care about Black Adam. He just wants to play like a superhero that can like fight Superman or something.
And that's not Black Adam.
Black Adam sucks. I hate Black Adam. He's bored. I don't like him. Like in anything. Like in Injustice, he sucks. 3. Let me change that.
Well, let's.
What's that?
4.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's a 1. I could not stand that movie.
The meme part where he like the like weird focus thing. That's, like, I thought that was gonna be like him going straight. Or I thought it was gonna be a lot longer.
Yeah,
it was
like a second.
It's like when he's flying in the air and it like does this like dolly zoom thing where it like makes his head like fucking huge.
It's like the 0.5 filter.
Or, yeah, whatever it is.
Oh god, stinky. Last DC movie
like,
for a while, hopefully.
Caught me off guard.
What's next? Minions.
Chase. I think that
literally
was
keep it
solid.
to 10 seconds.
I thought it was pretty fucking funny.
When did you watch this?
Valhalla?
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted to watch this and I never did.
I remember when I wanted to watch it because we were like, oh, we should watch the first movie before we go to see the second one. And it starts getting a little late, like 12:30, and Josh's like, Minions are done. So we got halfway through the first one, and so we couldn't go see the second one.
I was dying.
Dude, the trailer for Minions 2, honestly, I don't think I've laughed harder at a
what
trailer in my life. It was like there's like a
Jurassic
toilet
World.
scene or something. He's like,
They get sucked into it while they're flying up. That part was
Oh
like,
my god. Alright, Chase.
first
I know it's better than the first. I am assuming that at least.
I'll give it like a 6. I like the first one actually.
I like the first one too.
Well,
What were they doing between 1933 and 1945?
I think that movie
They're
was
frozen.
like, it was so stupid, but it was like, it was a fun ass watch.
Didn't they get
It's
out
probably-
of the ice after 1945? Is that what the whole thing was?
I don't think so.
No, because they worked for
Oh.
like no, they didn't. I don't.
Maybe
think.
that is.
Like Illumination should.
I don't know. Like realistically,
They really
it's
wrote
probably
themselves
like
into a
4.
corner. If not,
We work for the
Something
evilest
fun.
guy every.
Next movie, The Menu.
Perfect.
what's on the menu?
It was pretty
I've
good.
heard good things.
I heard bad things.
It's definitely unique, sort of. It reminds me of something else, but I haven't been able to figure out what it is.
Well, it's like an Eat the Rich kind of movie, because that's what that was.
It kind of reminds me of
Don't spoil it.
the Invitation, the one with
The good one.
Where their heads
Yeah.
blow up?
no,
Which one's that?
that's like
What the
the
heck are you talking about?
it's like the hide and seek one, but it's not.
Truth or Dare?
True. No.
No, Truth.
Ready or Not.
Ready or not?
That's not.
What's the,
Is that-
that is.
That's a different one, though.
What's the one where all their heads blow up at the end?
The one that was the girl that from Babylon, the one that looks like.
That's
fucking-
Ready or Not. Samara, the baby, the
But that's what
babysitter?
he's talking about.
Oh, then yeah.
I thought it was good. There's a few things I was just kind of like, huh? But like the ending of it, I thought was pretty sweet.
The main,
Like the whole
antagonist, like.
Shit, I should have gone to see it.
Do you guys care about?
It's on
spoilers?
HBO.
Yes.
Yes.
Josh does.
I think we tried to go see this about 1 million times.
No.
I was gonna say his like motive. I'm not gonna spoil it.
It's
his
his
motive is interesting.
His motive is confusing. I think it like
I think I
kinda
figured it
switches
out.
around.
I think I figured it out finally.
I
But
I have a guess of what like it is overall. It's because like the whole like ending, she's the only one.
yeah, who understands it?
Yeah.
And I also think, the like style of how they kind of transition between things is cool.
Yeah, they do like the whole like, especially the ending one.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Ratings, baby.
I don't know. Give it like a 6 or a 7.
I was thinking of 7. Oh, that was good.
Cool.
We haven't had a
Definitely
10
Definitely worth a
perfect movie
watch.
yet. I
Well,
feel
it's
like
coming
last
out.
year overall was stronger.
I don't know. I think this year. I definitely think there are more movies this year where I've given like 7s and above than last year.
But like I'm
seen-
saying, like my favorite movies from last year, like I felt real confident about them being like super good, like The French
I
Dispatch.
think there's just a lot of slightly above average films this year.
I agree.
And there were good movies last year, but
There were some really good movies last year, or at least I remember there.
I'm pretty happy with this year.
Like Pig.
I really want.
Watched it.
Next movie.
Let's just go ahead and say it. Thor
Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Honestly, probably the worst.
2,
movie.
4,
3,
11,
2,
Farmer.
3, somewhere in there.
I'm cold. I'm
That
cold.
movie's comedy is relentless on how bad it is. It
I-
doesn't stop.
no
It's
mercy.
joke after joke.
Can't believe the kid's face made it past like any editing whatsoever.
This movie
That is
fits-
a ridiculous thing to keep in a, I don't know, what, $200 million budget movie?
You know what? And then you
Let's
watch
say
the rest of the
180.
movie, and are you surprised? They let a lot of things slide. Like
Nothing
you know,
that
Yeah,
bad.
but
That's
not like that
script.
visually. Horrendous.
240.
250.
what
That's
happened?
the same budget as like Civil War.
$250 million budget. And they
That's
allowed
surprising.
that, that
I like to
absolute
think
horrid
Taika
picture.
Waititi was drunk every day of the writing and
He
not
wasn't. He
present
just
every
wasn't
day
trying.
of the
Even
directing.
if you were
He
drunk,
wrote
I think
it and
you
did
could
not care.
I
He's
genuinely
so-
think he wasn't trying
I think
at
it was
all.
just
He was
in
like
the
almost
face.
on purpose.
That's what I think.
Like
what-
I'm
I mean,
confused why he did that, but like
He's done caring.
maybe it was like a I'll give them anything and people will like it. And I'm sure people watch that and were like,
I cannot believe he made Jojo Rabbit and then 3 years later made one of the most like least enjoyable movies I've ever seen.
It was-
comedically.
that actually might have been one of
Thor
the worst
Ragnarok?
movies.
I think it
Good
was.
It just
Well, that movie was
Good.
that movie was
well,
like
it just
love
it like
Ragnarok.
it like was Thor Ragnarok if all the jokes were like 1,000 times worse, and then the only like the few kind of like good emotional things that were in Thor Ragnarok just weren't there, and it looks worse, and all the
also,
action's
I was
worse,
cringing.
and the characters are worse.
What's her name? What's the girl's the actress?
Jane Fonda.
Natalie Portman. Everything Natalie Portman is in, just as far as like big franchise movies I've seen with her in it, they all have been terrible. Like every time like she was in like a Star Wars movie, they also
That's like one of her first roles.
Oh, she was a kid.
Black Swan was amazing.
I haven't seen it.
It was just.
I can't believe
I
she
think
came
too
after this one.
many
Also,
jokes, and all the jokes
For the money.
sucked.
I can't believe
So bad, though.
how many I didn't laugh at. Well, I didn't really laugh at.
usually,
any
like
Yeah,
I'm
but,
pretty
like, they don't
sympathetic for those kind of movies,
Yeah,
like with
Joseph
jokes like
likes
that.
the funny jokes.
Yeah,
Even
but
if
like
they're not funny.
I could stand Chip and Dale, but like this
Is that what they
was
say?
so.
It's because it was relentless. It was
fucking
every
bad.
2 seconds there was
Yeah.
another
And
one.
what they
never
weren't
paused
funny.
on
Like
Circus
in
Point.
premise, they weren't funny.
The goat sounds like a dead meme since fucking 2011 or something.
Yeah.
That one, it's
And
just
they-
like when you force it too much. It's like when it's like a casual joke. It's like I can laugh. I can just be like happy by that because it's like, oh, they don't really like.
There's no serious.
It
tones
doesn't
in
matter.
that.
It's
So
like,
we're
I
like,
think the only redeeming part was the visual
Christian
style of Christian Bale Thor fight scene on
I
the
agree.
Good
That
God,
was
Christian
the
Bale,
only
you
thing
stinker.
that like had me kind of.
I was like, oh,
interested
this
at one
looks
point.
cool.
And then even then, I was like,
Christian
I don't
Bale held out
care
for
about what's happening.
Yeah.
This is a dumb plot.
all this time, and then he goes in.
Yeah, he's trying, but the villain doesn't get enough time to do anything. The plot sucks. It's all the stuff with like the wish
MacGuffin.
place, the McMuffin, the wish rock. It's like Wonder Woman.
I don't
It
even.
looks
It is like
terrible.
Wonder Woman.
The action isn't exciting whatsoever. Like he gives all those kids the like power of Zeus.
Or Zeus.
Zeus at the
That
end,
was his power.
I think it is Thor's power.
but he can do it with the lightning bolt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
gives
almost
a
positive
shit?
it's Thor's power.
Who gives a shit?
I just
Because their eyes turn,
uh,
right?
I feel like
Yeah.
his does.
I just know when he adopts his daughter at the end and they do the like title drop. I was like, man, this sucks. Like Love and Thunder, Taika Waititi.
I can't
is
believe
like,
that's why it was called that. I thought it was Love and Thunder because of fucking Jane Foster being in the movie, but
Maybe there's multiple reasons for it.
Jesus,
You ever
it's
think about-
multi-layered.
Uh,
Thor like
Is it?
regresses as a character. He's
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah, that's super cool.
he's like, who is he? Who is he? Like, who's Thor in that movie? He's a big
Stupid
jokester
idiot.
that cares about Jane Foster
just
having cancer, which
big-
they talk about for like a second, and then it like comes up every once in a while, but they don't treat it.
And then she gets stuck in Valhalla. It's like, what if she didn't want to go there? And she just died in there.
I think it's a
now
good
she's
thing.
stuck with all these random ass people. She
Which-
doesn't know.
I don't know. I feel like there's been
She's
a lot of
immortal.
people in
She's
Nordic
immortal.
history that battled a disease and didn't go to Valhalla, but
I don't make the rules. It just
Uh,
was so insanely stinky.
I do remember laughing at one point when it was the kids fighting and that giant like shield just like dropped. Like I don't know what it was.
The
A
final
giant
fight?
rock. Just like yeah, it was just the kids like. I don't know.
I
It was
remember that.
it was before they got into like the center of the universe or whatever that place was called. It was all the kids were like fighting, or maybe it was before they were fighting. This giant rock just like fell, and it looked like it just smashed all of them. And I laughed. I was like, oh my god, did that just happen? But it like turned out like someone like caught it or something.
I
don't
have
remember
like
what it was.
nightmares about the banter between between Natalie Portman and that other girl.
Valkyrie?
Yeah,
With
there's
the
like
speaker?
there's like
The speaker scene?
maybe it's that scene. There's
What?
one scene in the movie.
Remember she's like, you ready to go? And Valkyrie's like, here's my speaker. And then they like listen to it and like dance for a second.
I don't remember that.
It like
I do,
there's
'cause
like
I was
one
like,
scene. It's like yeah, they're
"Oh."
leaving an apartment or something, or no, they're inside the boat. And they're like talking to each other, and they're doing like, it like hurt me like so badly to watch. And I was
Valkyrie also
taking-
like isn't a character in this movie either.
she was such a good character.
This movie makes me sad. No
Good
more.
then.
No more.
I
Thor
really
movies.
liked Thor Ragnarok. Okay,
I
I was
did
the
too.
Thor Ragnarok guy, and when this came out, everyone was like, "Oh, it sucks," and I was like,
And
"Dang
that's
it."
what we have.
And I was like, "I bet they just hate it." And then I started watching it, and I was like, "I cannot believe Taika Waititi did this. What a fucking idiot."
Fuck 'em.
All that being said,
One.
I'd give it a fucking 1. I didn't like anything about that movie.
I fucking hate that movie so much.
I'll give it a 3.
Fair enough.
For dropping shield on children.
Yeah.
That didn't really happen.
Yeah, it didn't actually. But I don't know. It was
I
just
turned
out
off
of
the movie right
pure
after that.
shock, and I was like,
I guess Christian
Oh
Bale's
my God.
performance was tease.
It was, but I just don't. I mean, I don't.
parts.
I'm
And
pissed
he
at that
still
movie.
wasn't like great.
He wasn't
in
in
that
the movie enough, so.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 3 as well.
You're gonna say 4. Stick to your fucking guns.
No,
man.
I
I'm
said
giving it a
4,
4.
but
You're crazy. What other movie did you just say 4? Black Adam? What the fuck do you like these movies for?
I just want to be a hater.
You're so bad.
Okay, Black Adam for the first hour and a half, I was like, this sucks, but it's like bad action. And then it was just like bad.
Badass. Then it was badass.
Badass.
Oh,
It
so
was
sad.
badassery.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh my god.
I love that
Quite
book.
the tonal shift.
That is.
I heard it was really good.
It was a really good movie. Hey, did someone else watch it? No, just.
No, that's,
Just me.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
How long is it?
Probably 3 hours.
3 hours.
Fuck it.
But I think it's a long
We're
3 hours.
bashing
It's
on
a
3
war
hours.
movie.
No, we're making
I mean, I have to-
It's a war drama.
Oh, it's only 223. I can do that.
It's a war drama. I watched it all in German because it's about Nazi people, and the voiceover just sounded awful when I first started on.
Classic dub.
So was it written in? Was it filmed like in?
German?
Oh,
I
that's
saw
cool.
like the main actor was like some son of like either
He looks familiar. I don't know who it
some
was.
like famous people. I don't
Um,
remember who it was.
but I thought it was really good. It captures the kind of like. I mean, I'm sure either it's on par, if not. I'm sure it's on par with the original. All Quiet on the
It's a
Western Front.
critique on war, right?
Yeah, it's a critique on war. It kind of hits everything
Brewer.
pretty
Sure.
hard.
Alright.
She'd be happy.
And some parts are a lot harder to
The scene of him in the
Sit
crater
through.
with the other guy with the.
from. Yeah, that's
Guys,
even
read the
from.
book?
Isn't that
Yeah,
one from the original
How
too?
long is it?
Yeah,
The book?
That one's pretty rough.
the book is like 200 pages.
Dude, I do not
I might read
remember.
it.
It's not that long. Honestly.
can't
I don't think
It's a very interesting
because
story.
I actually read that book in high school. Like I
Same.
skimp.
Very
Then I got a 60 on my paper, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Whose fault is
Um,
that?
Yeah, very interesting story. Shows every bit of the worst parts of war.
Probably a 4 then.
Gross.
And then I don't know,
Those
just
big
like,
friends.
and just the ending is just
Mm.
shocking, and
Damn.
it's just
I
like
kinda wanna watch
you know,
it
like
now.
Yeah. I'm
everything can just happen in an instant. You know,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
All right. What do you give it?
Probably give it either like an 8 or a 9.
Nice.
No.
I'll keep it at that, an 8 or a 9.
Cool. Happy to hear it. The Fallout, let's be quick. School shooting movie that didn't like blow my socks off, but was solid. Good performances, solid writing. It was like the director's first movie. I thought it was good. Got a message about not shooting up schools.
Good.
Uh,
I like
Good
that.
message.
Shit, too. That's not the message. No, it was good.
Oh fuck.
No, it just felt like trauma and grief and stuff.
That's fair
Can't believe this
message.
computer hasn't died. I'll give it a 7.
All right. What's next? How many more movies?
R.
How many
10.
more?
Almost
10. All right. Well, this is gonna take us 30 minutes.
Cheers.
I'll just stay here.
Yeah, I don't think you need. It's not like you would spoil anything.
Oh,
by talking
Boy,
about-
oh
God.
boy. What a
I-
surprise.
Fucking.
Loved it.
Absolutely love that movie.
This movie was...
I think that's the most good cringe I've seen in one place. Maybe.
Cringe.
Yes.
When were you cringing?
Do you remember the songs where they're like, will they be friends or will they
Yes.
just not be friends? What will happen in this movie? And they're running by a train and the train goes by. Or maybe... Dude, what do you mean? The whole fucking
I'm
thing.
confused.
I wasn't cringing. I think the amount of times I said, this is so cool, was like every 15 seconds.
I think the only weird part was when they broke into song and dance during the dance scene, like halfway through the middle when he first goes to that dance with the
The
girl.
musical number?
Yeah,
They
the
do
musical
like
number.
multiple
I was like,
musical
where the
numbers.
There's
did that come
3.
from?
There's that one. There's
The
one
final one is so cool. Like the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
at the post this credit
The
scene.
credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like visually beautiful. I
It
thought that one was
also.
actually
I liked
good.
all the songs. Like
I
was
did.
Like,
Yeah.
That's why I was like, that
you hate
one-
Indians.
No, I like the final bit. The like, I mean,
The like during like when they were the dance scene, the like dance off scene. I thought that was awesome. They're like so you could like last the longest in the dance off.
That was awesome.
It was like
that
all
one,
the
that's not really the one I have quarrel with. The one I have quarrel with is their friendship song.
I still don't.
the one that like plays over it, like when they're becoming the montage, like the friendship montage. What was your problem?
Do you not remember the like lyrics of that being like?
I remember it was like, will they be for? I don't remember exactly what they were, but yeah, it was like what you were talking about. I didn't have a problem with that really.
I don't even remember there being lyrics to that song.
All right,
I know what he's talking about, where it was like, will they figure out each other's identities or like whatever. But like, maybe if that was in English, I would have felt.
Well, that's what I was
but,
interpreting it as. I was like cringing because I was like, if there was a song in like Star Wars where it was like, will Luke find out that Vader has a secret?
Yeah,
Vader
but
has a
also-
secret.
I'm sure it was a lot better in its native tongue.
The fact that it's such like a staple of Bollywood movies, I don't think you can really. compare
is?
it to, like musical numbers and stuff.
I don't know anything about Bollywood. I mean,
They're usually like really
also,
crazy
like-
and long and have musical numbers.
okay,
but-
well,
Yeah, no, I mean
makes more sense.
I mean, I don't know where to start. I guess the action, it's like primarily
Insane.
an action movie. It's like wild.
Insane. I thought like the wildest thing I was going to see is the bridge scene where they just like from a head nod they're like one is on a motorcycle, one is on a horse running at each other, and then boom,
and then
jump off.
They didn't need the motorcycle or the horse. They could have just gotten a boat and come over and say that game.
Sorry about that.
It wouldn't be a yearly movie podcast without a little intermission.
Okay, we were talking about RRR.
We were talking about the bridge scene.
Well, I was gonna say before even that, the first action scene with
In the fighting Ram.
The first like action scene with him where he's like putting down all the he like is going to grab that guy that threw
And he
the
like
thing.
is fighting an entire field of people.
Yeah.
I thought at that point this movie was like, I was like, this is ridiculous.
Well, the
but,
second
like,
he jumps over that fence, you're like, oh, like this is the kind of movie I'm watching, and then it like lets you know there, and then you're on board, or maybe you aren't, but I was.
well, I was like, yeah, at that point I was like, this is like exaggerated.
This isn't realistic.
Yeah, I was like, this is exaggerated, like, okay. And then directly after that, I'm pretty sure the introduction of Beam.
Yeah, the
Is that his
tiger.
And he's
Yeah.
fucking... him sliding under, like, the tiger, and then, like, he, like, gets them to come at each other, and then he slides under, and then they attack, the tiger and the wolf attack each other, and then, like, he traps a tiger instead of a wolf.
But so the bridge scene.
Every
Oh
bit
my
of that
God.
wasn't like, I mean, it's like the premise is outrageous, but it looked like good.
Yeah, I mean the whole thing like
It's
looks
well,
like-
okay. Let's not say it looked good. It
did.
looked like
Well, it doesn't look real, but I don't think it looks like. But
I
like
think
the
some
animals,
of the animals
it's-
look kind of bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah, but like the zoo, like when he.
Dude, the visuals,
It
like when the
wasn't-
hoses are going off
yeah.
behind him, and
It
then the
wasn't-
fireworks are going off, and they look pretty
It
good.
wasn't
but,
bad
like,
enough to take me out of it. I was like, I'm in for the ride now.
Well, no part of me thought those are real animals, like from
Well,
what
yeah.
was happening. So it's not like I was like, oh, that's like a CG tiger. I was like, I don't know. That the visuals never bothered me, like the CG animals, personally. But
I guess not. I mean, I wasn't really able to focus on that for very long. Anyways, it's
for
kind
another
of a
crazy
fucking
action
crazy
scene.
movie.
Yeah.
The scene where he like pulls the truck in, and then the guy takes the
That's-
thing off, and
yeah.
then he they did so many of those, like the car stops, and then the person, they always are like this, and they like emerge and then like fly out.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. When they got the truck in, and then the fucking door flips open, and there's like 4 tigers, a couple of wolves, like some
A deer.
Yeah,
Jumps out
all the
altogether.
action was like the
Awesome.
most wonderful thing I've ever seen.
It was
The,
just
like,
like it was funny.
The scene like the palace, the one with the palace like fight scene, that one was great. The one they have at the end in the first one where he breaks him out of prison And then they, unless there's one in between that I'm forgetting about.
Okay, that
The
like,
one in between. I guess there isn't.
The movie had like the tone.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
Between
What?
between like getting
Between
What?
like when Beam gets captured.
No.
To
There's nothing
there's
in
just
between that.
the whipping scene.
Because I guess then they do the flashback and all that. I guess that's the flashback like scene.
That was like a much more grounded action scene. I will say, like, the entire tone of this movie is something I haven't seen in a while, where it's like, literally, it seemed like they weren't worried about, like, people critiquing, like, dumb things. Like, they just, like, put in whatever they thought would be fun and cool.
Yeah. It just, committed to it.
Yeah, it did commit to it.
The, like, breaking him out action scene where, like, he, like, was the legs and then...
I didn't think it
like,
looked good. Like, I was laughing because it's, like, it's fucking absurd, and I can't really get behind it.
See, I think it was absurd and it was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I had a smile on my... God, even them, like, banging on the fucking ground and, like...
That was
like,
the
just
thing
the
they
start
did
of
at the
that.
dance.
Yeah.
That was the thing they did at the beginning of the dance.
But, yeah, from that moment on, I was grinning the entire time.
Okay, I was also, like...
But it wasn't out of, like, this is stupid. I was like, this is so much fun. I'm enjoying... this is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Awesome. Like, and then that scene, and then the one where... And then the final scene in the woods, where... where they're... You know, he's got the bow, and the two of them are fighting.
He's running, like, the, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I confused?
And then he comes out with the fire, and then, like...
Yeah, the whole, like, fire and water, like, theme that they had going, like, when they do, like, when they're holding hands, like, after Beam, like, breaks into the place, and then he, like, captures him. And then, like, especially at the end, like, that came back, and... Yeah, just...
What came after the whipping scene? With him, like... why am I always waiting on the other? Not Beam... Or no, yeah, when Beam is running away, and... Ram, whatever.
I was calling him Ram.
Is... When Ram is, like... Making sure everybody is getting to Beam.
Oh yeah,
they did
yeah.
that so many times.
Yeah,
the characters like the soldiers were like NPCs.
Yeah.
Like all of them would like just like mindlessly run, and then like on multiple occasions he like picked someone up and threw them into them, and they'll just like topple over.
Well, yeah, when there, I think they had something like 2 or 3 times where like they would get put like up in the air by these 4 or 5 guys, and then they would somehow just like overpower them to the point where they would just like fall. He would be like on his back, and he would like bring them down somehow, like when they were like holding him up.
My favorite.
But it was fun.
I think the most absurd, like the moment where like I was like actually like rarely do I ever like jaw drop while watching a movie alone, but when he stops the motorcycle and then it spins and he catches it and then like whacks him with it and throws it like 100 feet.
I text you, so this I just like I must have just like I was like that wasn't a motorcycle, was it, or something? And so I like rewind and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, because immediately after seeing that I like text Josh. I was like, I cannot fucking believe what I just saw, and it was like that was like the see, in movies where they do have supernatural powers and they establish it, they never do anything that fun. Yeah. But I think it's more fun that like they don't have supernatural
it's just treated
powers.
like it just commits to it being like
it's like supposed to be like he's just really strong.
Yeah. He's the protector.
Also, do you remember when the king, the tree goes down, he recognizes what's happening with the trap where Ram is gonna knock down the tree and then get away with Molly and go free Beam, and then he recognizes, he's like, speed up. Also, I really like how white people are like all like absurdly evil.
Yeah.
So he's like, speed up.
The guy like the dance off that like hated like the
and he like breaks his hip.
Yeah. Oh, there's that.
That was like my favorite moment of that entire movie when the white people can't dance as well as the
that was just like I was like, all right, we had those crazy action scenes, and then they do like a literal dance off with like 200 people. I was like, oh my god. I was
it's
like,
literally like they were just like going through all the fun things they could do, and then they did them all.
I was like, okay, yeah, like they're doing like I expected like a musical number of some kind because there was in the movie, but then I didn't expect it to like literally.
I didn't see that coming. Also,
well, I had heard like that there might have been like some musical number. I was like, whatever, but I didn't expect it to be as big of a thing as it was. And then when it happened, and then turned like a literal dance off, and then he like falls so Beam can get with the girl.
I think if it had been prefaced that this movie is like stupid but like fun.
It's not stupid. I don't know where you're getting the stupid thing. It is ridiculous. I wouldn't ever call it stupid.
Well, just if like
it's ridiculous.
Commits
action.
to like what it is, and it does what it's doing like well, and everything's
Even
purposeful.
The plot, like nothing in the plot was the plot was well written.
Well, also, like, I enjoyed the character, like, both those characters and actors, both characters I thought, like, were good, and then both, like, were fleshed out, and there was, like, things to them, and I thought both actors, like, did a really good job. Yeah.
And for a 3-hour and 5-minute movie,
the pacing
didn't
is
feel
insane. There's, like, constantly something happening. Like the, reveal of...
I don't think I quite liked it as much as you guys did. I wish I did. I couldn't watch it in one sitting. I had to take a couple. Maybe that's what made it not as good. I just, like... It is, like... most of what was going on was absurd and crazy. And, like... I don't know. Maybe I just, like, my expectations never got, like, recalibrated enough to where I could, like... handle that without being like cut me a fucking break. But like, it was like I was like happy about it, but I was also like, obviously this is like really, and like there were scenes that didn't like stuff, just like they just kind of like put it in, and like it obviously it doesn't make sense, but that's like ruining the fun of the whole thing. Like at the end when they're like chilling in a field and like that one girl has just magically showed up. Like, we never really resolved that she was, like, willing to abandon the side of the throne to, like, go chill with the guy who just massacred all her, like, acquaintances, I guess. And, like, that showed up, and I was like... I mean, again, obviously...
It was
like,
never showed that she was on, like, the other white people's side. She was the one that was actually taking care of the daughter.
You were wanting a scene where she was like, you killed everyone.
Well, I wanted a scene where they explained that she was, like, either A, okay with what he did, or B, at least, like, remotely on that side. They never talked about her politics aside from her being, like, a little nicer to the indigenous people. Like, she was still, like, why was she there? Like, what was she doing?
Well, I think
why, like, after she saw him at that party kill a bunch of people... and, like, do all that, like, I feel like it'd be reasonable to, like, need to talk to him and be like, you're not crazy, right? Like, you've got, like, obviously, it's justified, like, in the eye of, like, the movie and, like, what he's doing, but, like, from her side, it doesn't make any sense, and then she just, like, shows up at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was, like a...
That, I see what you're saying. That, like, never bothered me, but I can see what you're saying. I guess there was, like, so much going on with, like, that did impress me with literally everything else. And also not just, like, the, musical sequences and action, but that I also, like, I did think the characters were good, and it had a good plot, and I, like, cared more. I thought the two actors did, like,
I think the two actors did a great job, too.
Yeah. And like, the like, whipping scene, and, like...
That scene was fucking great. That was, like, that was one of the few scenes where I was, like... I thought that it was, like, through and through, like, the absurdity, like, worked in a way that you could also still take it seriously.
Yeah. It was just, like enhanced, like, a exaggerated reality, kind of. Which that's, like, there's nothing even, like, wrong with that, because if any movie, like, sets up what it is, then as long as it, like, abides by that, then, like, there's...
See, I wasn't thinking about it like that. That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah,
like,
it's not like it came out of nowhere. It was well established that these two people are, like, fucking
pretty much superhuman. They stuck with, like, the weird physics of everything.
Jesus.
Yeah, there was, like, crazy, like
the goat simulator physics, where, like, everyone just goes, like,
flies. Yeah, there was, like, crazy, like, wire work. I remember someone, like, in that final fight at
it's
the
always
end,
the wire work.
he, like, goes, like,
it looks
fly, like, actually just, like, straight up goes... I was
also,
like,
dude,
I swear...
The CG when Beam is breaking in, and it zooms out to, like, this shitty computer model, and he's, like, moving, and, like...
Do you remember the palace at the end?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Oh my god. If you look back at it, it looks fucking awful.
I don't remember that.
And
I do, actually.
I think... what did you watch it on?
My phone. I watched it on my phone and then my computer.
I watched it on a big TV, and, like, you catch a lot of things that's like...
My phone also has a bunch of cracks in it, so...
Maybe that was what was...
Well, then I watched the second half on my computer.
I watched it on my TV, and
yeah.
I didn't notice whatever you're talking about.
Maybe I'm just being a hater.
I think you are.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking during the movie. I can't really help it.
I mean, I loved it. I thought the action was great. The musicals numbers were great. The plot was great. I thought the characters were great.
I thought that the dancing scene was one of the best weird out of pocket musical scenes in a movie that I've seen in a while.
Also, it ended up serving a character purpose. So
yeah.
Well, also it was enhancing their friendship.
I was surprised by
that Ram or whatever.
Yeah, Beam was gonna to get.
I was surprised by it.
Beep bop boop bop.
Keep talking.
Oh.
I was surprised by it, but yeah, like you said, it kind of fit well with what was going on, what needed to happen, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's it was an awesome movie. It's weird because I'm just tearing apart other movies for similar stuff that I don't know. My biggest criticism in Far From Home or No Way Home is that there was the story doesn't make sense.
But this one does.
I mean it doesn't make sense.
Well,
But in the world that they established, it makes sense.
That's every movie.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with the MCU. That's the same thing with Star Wars. The same thing with Babylon. Any movie that doesn't take place in our exact reality, which is I would say most movies, or at least a good amount, is going to have that to an extent. Yeah, even Banshees of Inisherin doesn't. It feels like it takes place in a fantasy Ireland world kind of the past.
Yeah,
and it's
that's just what Ireland is, I think.
I wouldn't know.
I do really I liked at the end too, it was a nod to all the I'm assuming only one I didn't recognize many of them because I don't know much about the history of. I'm assuming that's just India, and it was I thought that was really cool.
With all the portraits of them in the back.
Yeah, and I was this is awesome. Also, it's somewhat based in there's got a historical thing. I guess that's what happened.
They took two Indian revolutionaries and just made them superheroes. That's what the director said. And I was that is awesome. And then they never met in real life. They never interacted. He just made this movie. Which I think is super cool.
Never met in real life?
The two people the people they're based on, the revolutionary figures.
They're based on people?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But to the extent of I think, know, barely.
Well,
but anyway, we should probably wrap it up.
Also, the king, when the tree falls, he jumps up and then shoots the tire of the car. It's
yeah.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
No,
but I like that. I was just happy, smiling.
I loved it.
I think the exaggeration made everything so entertaining.
Yeah.
But
That's the point.
Yeah, I guess that was the point. And I didn't love maybe some things got lost in translation. The subtitles were kind of killing me with the songs as well as saying. And some of the scenes the writing, or maybe it was the delivery of the lines was just a little weird from the ones that were speaking English, and that kind of brought me out of it. I was a little annoyed by that.
Cool. I am gonna give it a 9.
Give it an 8.
I want to give it a 9.5 because I recognize it does have flaws, but I really want to give it a 10. I'll give it a 10. A 10 that has flaws, but not enough to bring it down to a 9.
All right.
I wish I could have. I think it would have helped if I'd turned off the cynical side of my brain and just enjoyed what was going on.
Why just the second that first action scene started, I was this is what we're doing.
I didn't have that. I didn't have that realization.
That's
I was just
no, yeah.
Next movie.
Thank God.
No, you won't like it.
Turning Red. Oh, no one watched it.
Oh, great.
It was a pretty lame Pixar movie, but it was fun. It's just Twin Towers.
Was that part of the movie?
No, but it takes place in 2002, I think, the movie.
So what?
What? So this YouTuber was why didn't it acknowledge 9/11 at all?
I think you told us about
Bruh.
6. No, 5? 6. It was okay. It was decent. It gave me a few chuckles. Kind of adult for some reason. Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh God.
Oh fuck! I already gave out a 1. I don't know what to give this. I'm actually gonna give that a 0.
Nah,
you're not allowed to give that a 0. You left.
I've been holding out my 1 for this.
Holding out. I feel like I give Thor.
I've been giving
For
out
context, I left the theater during this. I've never done that during a movie, and I hope I never will do that
After
again.
you were the one who was like, let's go see Jurassic.
That's not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see a different movie, but we weren't.
This movie sucked. It was so boring. The most boring movie I've seen in a
It's about dinosaurs. I don't understand how you can make
Just fucking throw some more dinosaurs in there.
Why wasn't they get released into the wild in the last movie? Why wasn't it about that? Why was it about some locust thing at wherever they? I want to
see an RRR version of this movie where he like catches a dinosaur's
Maybe
mouth
that's
like
what
that.
65 will be.
Or they ride in on the T-Rex and tear out the...
Yeah, like they're so past the point of these movies being anywhere close to good.
So
They've
why
been good
you-
since
Just make
94.
it ridiculous.
I wish they
Yeah.
would make it ridiculous.
But
Last good one
instead,
was
they
the first
have
one.
all these characters that suck, and they bring back the old characters, and they also suck in this movie. And it's one. I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, I
Give
mean,
it a 1, too.
I didn't technically see it, so fucking 0.
I'll give it a
This whole
2.
trilogy is god awful.
I'll give it a 2 for
what?
the end. For
The scissor hands.
no, for the ending scene where the fountain in like the final like T-Rex versus whatever God's creation
The Joker
was.
dinosaur? That's what the director
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, what does that
I don't
mean?
know.
What did that end up meaning?
The final fight where the T-Rex comes in and it's the Jurassic World logo in between the circle and then it turns. That's why it gives
Alright.
an extra point.
The Joker of dinosaurs?
No.
Sorry.
Like
sorry.
scissor ones.
Ow.
It has like
That helps
giant
him
finger.
fight for some reason. Like
The opposite
what?
end of the spectrum, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh,
Holy
I'd say
shit, this movie
opposite.
was so fun, and it
Good
was
movie.
like really good.
Just a well-made movie.
It was weird that it was
Seriously.
so good. Not expected.
I watched the first one like a week or
Yeah,
something.
Owen hates it.
before.
I did
The first
too.
one sucks.
I mean, I like the
First
first
one
one.
doesn't suck.
It's really
It's just
It's
dated.
just it's the 80s.
Yeah, it's
movie.
I
really
think the
80s
fact that
movie
it's
of the
dated
80s.
doesn't help. But like when I saw
Also
it,
the style.
I guess
like,
Back to the Future.
or like
also.
when I
the sex scenes just
yeah,
suck.
when I was
Take
watching
my
it,
breath away.
yeah, I was like, I wasn't having it as much as I
It's
don't know.
entertaining though.
It's entertaining, but like I wouldn't call like I don't understand why it had the like God status it did.
Well, it's also it's just
Tom
like
Cruise
cool.
is
Like
well,
Tom
it's just-
Cruise is cool and planes are cool.
I guess it is
and
cool.
It's just cool.
So is Top Gun.
It had a
I
banging
don't.
soundtrack.
But it wasn't nearly as cool as Top Gun Maverick.
No.
Maybe that's because it's so dated, but
Well, Top Gun Maverick took everything good about Top Gun and like
amplified
made
it.
it way
Just
better.
took all the good
Um,
stuff and made an actual good written movie.
Yeah.
Well written.
Tom Cruise is like one of the best actors ever.
That is the
But he's
most-
fucking insane.
Yeah. That is the most I've
That's
ever
amazing.
been like fucking on the edge of my seat, like anxious
Same.
for like a
Yeah.
straight like 30 minutes.
All the
That was like
action
a just a
scenes were-
movie. That was like a movie theater like fucking.
It's the
Modes
movie
of
theater
Rock.
experience. That's what he keeps fucking saying.
It was like
He's the last movie star.
it was how to
of
do like
generation.
Truly.
a like well written big budget blockbuster that looks good and the characters are good. It's like if Avatar was like a little bit better.
Although
I
there was-
agree.
there was
Spoil it.
like the weird just like
character.
oh I just got stranded out in the middle of this snow desert.
I
It
mean,
was just kind of like a random sequence to have in
I
that
think that's my
movie.
least favorite part of the movie.
I don't
when they
even
steal
care.
the-
It didn't-
No,
I feel
yeah,
like
it didn't
last
like
very long.
yeah no
Well,
It
it
didn't
was like-
bother me at all. I thought it was.
it was
like,
just
fine.
a weird sort of thing to have.
It's just it was a lot slower than like, or like right after that big ass battle scene, they like crash land, then they talk for a second. It's like
Yeah.
it was just
the
this-
energy is not the exact same right now.
Just all the action was like top and all the like the way all the
It's all-
practical stuff with how it all
it looks
looks.
so
The way it's
so
like
cool.
shot with like those cameras that are like on like the front, like
being
looking
able to
into the
like
cockpit.
capture like I don't know if any of it was CG, but like the way jets move is like very difficult to like show that weight without making like if the physics are
Dude.
wrong a little bit, it would really fucking take you out of it.
they
But
shot
it looked
everything inside of an F-18.
It was so cool.
It looks so.
was that directed by?
fucking
Was
good.
it Chris, or did he write it?
Tom Kaczynski, something
Okay,
Kaczynski.
the writer Chris McQuaid.
He produced it. I
Okay.
think. Yeah, that makes sense.
The Mission
Fallout.
Impossible guy.
Yeah.
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 I liked how like the helicopter at the end like wasn't like it didn't seem like it was controlled by anyone. It
The
was
which
just like
one?
it was just like an evil the one that's trying to kill them.
At the very end.
Oh,
Yeah.
the plane.
Evil helicopter, evil
Is
plane.
that the
helicopter,
helicopter, right?
I thought it was a plane.
At the end, like when it chases them.
Through the
Yeah,
forest.
why would
thinking
a
of
plane be...
Oh, when it. I know what you're talking about.
Why would a plane...
Oh, when they're on the
and
ground?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant when
That's
they're
how
riding.
I was scared the
I thought
other
you
were
meant when
getting
they're flying
chased.
back.
This helicopter's like, oh fuck, they're so fast.
Something what?
I was, when you guys were saying plane, I was like, there's no way of fucking...
That was like a Modern Warfare 2 moment.
That'd be
Yeah.
Yeah, the
ridiculous.
jet is
Where
like
just like
fucking
it
Like,
turns
pulls
to...
up and
That's like
Yeah.
GTA Online. It's scary. All the characters were like great. All the stuff with
Rooster.
Miles Teller as Rooster and the
And
scene
like they
with,
did a weird like callback to the last movie, and it actually like fucking
Everything
hits.
the
felt-
music scene.
yeah, everything
Yeah.
felt like earned. The scene with like the one scene Val Kilmer had and then he died was like great.
I think they did the beach scene better than the first, or like the
they
fun.
totally did.
Yeah,
The song. That song. Is
But-
so good.
that song is so good.
I don't
The
think
Boys
it's ever
song?
gonna like... Yeah, well, it would be the One Republic song from
Yeah.
this one. But I don't think that is as memorable of a song as Playing with the Boys.
Oh yeah, that's just.
I
a
honestly,
classic.
I think they're
I think
like
they did good.
on par, but not in the same way. Like outside of the context of the movie, if I heard that like weird whistling One Republic song, I'd be like, oh, it's a pop song. And I heard Playing with the Boys, I'm like, obviously.
It's also it's pretty
I know
iconic
that
at
was
this
for
point.
the
So.
from the Top Gun.
There's really not like that much. It just was good on all fronts. How to make a good blockbuster.
Yeah.
Or a really good blockbuster.
That was like the best blockbuster
Movies
I've
are
seen in
back,
so
baby.
fucking
I can't think of
long.
anything wrong with that movie.
I
Nice.
agree. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Biggest movie of the year.
I'll throw it a 10 because I haven't given anything 10. So
Dang.
Throw it a 10.
God
Wait,
dang.
Wait, there's still Glass Onion.
that's definitely not a 10.
The fuck?
I was trying to think of a bad movie I've left.
I do like that movie.
Maverick, I'll give that a 9.
I'll give it an 8.
What don't you like?
See,
You say you don't like, or there's nothing.
I
not
would
to
much
like.
rather rewatch that than RRR.
Would
I'm gonna
you?
be totally honest.
I mean,
yes.
Top Gun's like
Maybe I want to
About-
rewatch RRR through the lens of Josh. I wish I or Keith. I
Top
wish
Gun
I
is
enjoyed
like
it as much.
top
as you.
notch, but
But RRR, you will...
But
I
I
think
know,
it's the
but it
most
was
fun
like-
I've
it
ever
was-
had watching a movie.
It is.
well, no, it was like it just Top Gun was like it was great. You'll see where it is in the ranking, but it's like high. But like, yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
No, Top Gun's great. Finishing it out, kind of.
What the fuck is that?
I'll keep this quick.
Is
I
this a
watched
movie?
this. Yeah.
Oh, I think super.
Doing an homage.
There's this movie Aftersun. Recommend you watch it. It was really sad. It's about a girl who goes on a like trip with her dad, and it's like her watching the memories or like a videotape of the trip like 20 years later. And it's about aging and how you perceive your parents.
I don't
And
like
and it's like it's sad, and it has like a climax that hits pretty hard, I think.
I don't want to watch that. In my
Yeah.
current
Well, I
state.
like watched it. I was like, that was pretty good, I guess. And then I like laid in bed for like 20, 30 minutes. I was like, oh. And then I like rewatched like the final scene, like the climax scene again. I was like, oh. And then
I haven't
Yeah.
seen a movie like that in a while. Where
I hadn't either. I still don't. I like want to watch it again.
I think the last one, A Star Is Born, or something like that, where it was like,
it just is like kind of bummed me out. But I mean, it was great. It was like the performances were really good sound design. Yeah, give it an 8. It's great.
Damn.
Did anyone else watch Do Revenge on Netflix?
Never watched it.
God dang it.
you like it?
A lot of
No.
solos.
I didn't like it.
What'd you give it?
I'm trying to remember. 4.
Obviously, I should say no. Very high.
Maybe suck. Give him a 4.
It was like it's a Netflix original. Moving on.
Whoa.
Glass Onion. Knives Out.
That's a
Mystery.
Netflix original.
Shouldn't be.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Not as good as the original.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I think
Some of the.
I don't know. I think it was just kind of like the whole mystery behind it was like really rushed. There was like 10 minutes. It was
I don't
like,
think there
what
was-
just happened?
Exactly.
Well, I
Like
didn't
this
feel
guy
there was-
died, and then he's going into the backstory of the sister, and then
That takes
tells
up
the
the
whole
whole
thing.
fucking-
I guess the
movie.
circumstances around it, because I feel like most people, like when they get on the island, they're like, okay, Edward Norton's the leader of these people. He seems like he's the obvious one that would like have done something wrong.
Was.
And then he was, and then like the reveals are like why and how, but like I never felt there was other than like the twin twist like that they do. I didn't feel like there was ever like a big like
Debate
reveal
of
that I was.
who.
I feel like the biggest
In
reveal.
Knives Out, it
came-
was like actually like who fucking did this?
yeah, it wasn't really a who done it. It was like a why do it?
Why
they done it? Which is like, I was like, I liked it for what it was. I liked that it was different, but it definitely wasn't like as interesting to like peel back the layers as the first one.
Did you notice the first time when he like
the
put the
glass
cup down?
No.
I noticed that and I was like, okay.
I did.
What was it?
He gives him his glass.
When Edward Norton gives Dave Bautista
and then
his glass.
Like then I just.
I mean, I thought that was kind of cool because I was like, I didn't notice that.
I didn't
was like, if I did notice that, I'd be like, oh.
I was looking for shit, then I saw that and I was like, well, I guess that.
Why were you looking? Did you just know?
It's like whodunit.
Yeah.
Ah, fuck.
I don't know.
But I mean, I still enjoyed the reveals as they happened.
It was just a good. It was like a good cast too.
Yeah, they were all playing like really like over the top, kind of funny characters. I thought everyone did a good job. I do feel like there's like some things that don't like make a ton of sense, but it's with the excuse of like Edward Norton's like stupid, like because they keep saying you're like he's dumb, but
I guess that was like one of the bigger reveals.
I really do wish the reveal was different.
Yeah,
well, and it's like I wish they went like really ambitious and then made it kind of lame.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so I think the problem was that they focused on the twin sister so much like that.
Which I didn't even like. I still like got more of like a heart of the movie from Ana de Armas' character in the first movie than I did from her in this one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. She was like a I don't
definitely.
know.
And there was like there was some more like emotion between like Ana de Armas and Daniel Craig like in the first one.
Her sister was dead before the movie, and then it was just like
yeah, I don't know. I didn't
also
like. She was like a perfectly fine character. I just didn't.
First one, sorry.
I didn't feel that she like gave as much emotion to the movie as like the female kind of protagonist of the first movie.
We didn't know her as her. We knew her as like related to Blanc. We knew like the story opened for the first one on Ana de Armas and like the head guy.
This one's about Blanc.
And this one's about Blanc. And
stuff. They probably should have taken a different angle.
Which I really like. I like him a lot as that character. He always cracks me up.
Yeah, he's fun.
I like his little accent.
I did like the one thing like it was like he like Edward Norton's is like dumb, is when he like made the connection like. When he said, like, it's like putting everyone in a dark room and putting a gun in the middle of the table.
The gun, and he took that idea.
Like, yeah.
Wait.
I like the whole, like, a lot of this, like a lot of the stuff they, like, tried, like, ideas they had, like, stuff like that, and where, like...
I like the Mona Lisa scene a lot.
Which one?
Where, like, they're, like, running to the Mona Lisa to, like, burn it.
At the end?
Yeah. And like I just like that premise of like he's got this like cool piece of art and he put a fucking override on it and then G gets screwed because of that. I wish he wasn't as dumb as he was though. I like would have been cooler if he was like, not a absolute fucking idiot. Yeah.
I do like that idea, but then it does make for a less sasatisfying ending.
You know how they were all like, we didn't see the fucking letter burn or the napkin.
I thought that was so dumb.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
and then she started breaking shit.
Well, not the way.
Yes.
Well, I'll get there in a sec. But I was saying like the fact that she like got that close to him and he like pulled out that thing. Know. Like I was like, I just like didn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that happened.
It takes a while to catch something on fire.
Well, and to like pull out the lighter and there's like she
didn't react. She
didn't like.
It's like what the fuck?
She didn't like try to like just like.
She didn't see him do that. It made from what we were like presented no sense. Like, I didn't believe it. I was like, oh, that's dumb.
That was too...
And then the finale kept going, and I thought more silly things kept happening. I didn't, like... I like the idea where she's trying to, like, convince all these rich people to turn on their friend. And, like, that's kind of her goal, or how she wins. But I didn't feel like... Like, they were... She starts smashing all the stuff, and they're like, you go, girl.
But it's weird. Yeah, they say you go, girl. 10 seconds after, they're like, we didn't see shit.
Well, I think that part makes sense because they're like financially and like they're like tied to that dude.
I know. I'm saying it makes sense that they're denouncing her fucking like.
But then they won't help. You were saying this, that then they won't help her like take him to court.
Or I mean, I guess they do at the end, but it just like it's like we won't, we will, or we won't. We like that you're destroying everything, and then we will. I guess that.
Well, I think the movie just will happen after he went down, and it was like, oh, he's fucked.
It's because the thing that held them all together of like going against is now gone. Yeah. So like now they can actually act without
which I
like,
really
any
wish
repercussion
to their own.
But they didn't really change. They just changed because he got fucking screwed.
I know. I wish that they had changed
because he got screwed. that means they're not.
I know,
screwed
that's
anymore.
what-
So then
Well, I guess in the
they could
first
just go
movie,
against
it was like everyone sucks, and then the second movie it was like everyone sucks.
I just
It's, like,
wasn't
the same.
feeling like when they finally were like with her. I didn't feel like
That's what I'm saying. It was-
satisfaction. I wasn't like.
They
It
still
didn't-
seemed like
I never
shit.
felt anything in that finale like where I was that like I was like I was like that's it. I was like once the like reveal happens and everything's out in the open, and then she starts smashing the stuff. I was like, where are they gonna take it from here? And it never like landed in a way that really hit
It
home
also
for me.
confuses me because Blanc saw the napkin too.
Yeah.
So is he not a witness to that, or I guess I don't know, because he just leaves.
Yeah, wait,
after
why
that,
wouldn't
and
they
he's
take
like, we're
his
screwed.
word? Well, no, he says it won't stand up in a court, which is true
Well,
because
he
it's
says
like a
his word against
billionaire's
hers,
lawyers,
yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
which is true.
I just remember like right after I saw this, I was like reading online like a bunch of different things, and like it was like all these like kind of like no, I guess they were plot holes, but just like things, like questions people were asking, and then there would always be a response that was like, well, the movie said he's dumb, he probably just forgot about it or something, and like there were like 4 different things like that, and I was like, that's kind of like I like that idea of having like a really dumb antagonist, but I also don't for reasons like that. So I don't know.
It's
just
like
like
also,
a
how did he
catch-all.
not drop
Yeah.
the ball any time before this? Like, if he's that.
We didn't really kill anybody ever, like before that, and then he just.
He
It
shot
kind
her.
of just started because like he drove his one-of-a-kind sports car to this lady's house, killed her, drove his one-of-a-kind sports car back.
Well, it was the
and had a
sleeping
bunch-
pills, right, that he gave her or whatever?
I
And then
guess.
he posed her in the garage to make it look like she'd killed herself. And then she did die. So then when Andy comes to the island, or he sent the invitation so it wouldn't seem suspicious that like he killed her or anything. So he sent the invitation like normal. And then she takes the invitation, goes to the island, and the only one that knows that she's dead is Edward Norton, right?
And Blanc, but.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
the twin.
And. But.
Do you think they'll
All
do
of them
another
know,
one?
right? Or wait.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to do like 5 or something.
Never mind.
None of them know that she's dead. Besides
Yeah,
the
they're-
sister.
I
Blanc
forgot
and-
Dave or
Dave
Bautista
Bautista.
just saw fucking.
Or he thought
him
he was
leaving.
dead.
I really like the name of both those movies, Knives Out and Glass Onion.
Well,
Yeah.
he was like pissed they put a Knives Out tail.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, I was wondering like why the fuck goes on there, but
It's
the fact that he's
marketing.
disagreeing with it makes sense.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it though. I always said like I'll keep watching.
I
these
liked it.
movies.
Oh yeah,
I think it's
sure.
entertaining.
it was good, but like I think Knives Out was like on a different level of good, which is like
Just the story was.
I don't
like,
even like love Knives Out that much. Like, it's
I do.
good, but like
I really like.
I
that.
it just
also liked it.
everything came together. It had like for me it was like the character, like Adam Driver's character that was like holding a lot of that first movie together, and this movie
Also-
didn't have anything like that.
Yeah, the fact that Blanc was like in the shadows and he wasn't like the main character. It's like kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, where they make a movie that's like decent and like it's got a side character that everyone gets attached to, and then they make another movie with a side character. Although not,
You
because
Surely you're not
about?
talking about Jack Sparrow being a side character, right?
in the first movie
What are you talking about?
he is. The main characters are
I guess.
Will and Kieran
Yeah, but I
Knightley
hate Will.
and Elizabeth.
I don't like
Well, maybe you
Orlando
do.
Bloom. I think he's
I
a
don't either.
shitty actor.
Hey, okay.
so-
well, hey guys,
I agree-
come on.
I don't remember
Good.
anyone
Can't we
else in
just
that
call him a
movie
side
having
character?
a grand entrance of him out in front of
And
the
then
sunset. on
they
the
blow up
ship.
that building. So when
dun.
It doesn't matter.
he gives him the clear, you know how he throws the clear to
To set everything
to
on
Daniel
fire.
Craig. Well, I thought like when he brings it out later in the movie, or like gives it to her, I was like, I don't know. For some reason, like I thought it was weird that like he let him keep that, but maybe it's not weird. I don't
He's
know.
dumb.
No,
Yeah, exactly. He's
I'm
dumb.
pretty sure he said like.
I rewatched the
Maybe he
scene.
said
after
don't
he
drop
keep
it.
Yeah, he did, and then he gives it to him, and
Yes.
then the scene moves on. So I was like,
Oh.
wait, you let him keep the clear because he's dumb, and then
That's such
The
a
what?
plot.
the he gives him the clear like
Because why
diamond.
would he ever? What would he have to do with it?
But then they
Hydrogen bomb.
blow up the building at the end. I literally, when that happened, I was like, oh my god, they're all dead. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And then he's
doesn't
like,
make sense.
cuts to Daniel Craig like watching. I was like,
She's like Hindenburg, and then the whole building blows up, and they just walk
And they're all
out. They're like,
fine,
ah,
yeah.
fuck, that hurt.
I was just like, did you have
Are
to
you
like,
alive?
did you have to like blow it up that much? I was like, I don't believe you.
I thought she was just gonna like throw it at the Mona Lisa or something, or Mona Lisa.
I thought you were just gonna throw it at him.
I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen.
I did like it, but I felt the ending was a little sloppy. I'll still give it a 7.
I think a 7 solid.
I think a 7 is solid. I really, really want
agree.
that to be like an 8 or 9.
Maybe the
I was
next one.
happy with
Um,
Too many eights on this list.
I'll mention it. The not the Adam Project. The Fabelmans, the Steven Spielberg movie. I wish it was better. Paul Dano is funny.
I love Paul Dano.
Give it a 7. Although
I can't smell.
I still wish it was better.
Would you give it a 7?
A 7. It's like good.
Is it? In the movie, like I know that like the story behind it is that he didn't talk to his dad for 25 years because he just kind of assumed that they divorced because it was his fault, but it was actually his mother that cheated on the husband. Like his mom cheated on his dad.
Yeah.
And then like
So
they split apart.
Yeah, the parents learn like a lot. It's all about like a divorce kind of and like just. But I just didn't. I wasn't
Didn't connect.
Yeah, which I was like, surely this movie will connect. No, and I was like, what?
Divorcee.
Not that part.
Oh,
Adam Project.
Oh yes.
That was this year?
Yeah, that seems
Oh
like
my
forever.
God.
I watched this on the way
I can't believe
from
it.
spring break, I think, or something.
Lucky you.
I watched it.
I downloaded
For
it
some
and watched
reason.
it.
Easily the best movie of the
I thought
year.
you watched it with your nephews.
There's 2 movies
Maybe.
with Adam
Thought you
in the
mentioned
name that were both almost equally
What was
terrible.
the Black Man?
Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds.
That movie sucks.
Why does he keep saying that every year?
Free guy.
Terrible action, I think.
Movie
from what I
sucks
remember.
balls.
Joseph's a defender. Let's hear him out.
You
Of
like
what?
this movie?
I
No,
don't know.
hell no.
Who am I thinking? Oh, that's Owen. God
Spirited.
damn it.
Why does Owen?
Everyone keeps mixing me up with. Someone was.
It was
Liam, and he was like, "Remember when
Hockey
you-"
sucks or whatever. It's
Remember
like,
when you said this
okay.
really strong opinion without any base of knowledge?
I was like, man, that wasn't me.
Sounds
That
like
was
Joseph.
That wasn't. It's like I say stupid things, but they're usually just like not thought out, not like completely
nonsensical.
wrong. Yeah.
Adam Project is so.
I honestly don't remember it.
It's like he
Time
goes
travel,
back
and
in
then
time.
she's-
Yeah, I know.
She's
that whole
already
thing.
back,
I
like,
just don't remember like.
Been traveling.
I've at least
Mark
heard
Ruffalo's
the
the
kid
dad.
in that movie that's also playing Percy Jackson. That's
That's
pretty
it?
good.
Oh, he does a
Yeah.
really good
He's
job.
like a good
I've heard
actor.
he's good.
The kid does a great job, and like there are like if you watch it, like I'm sure like the average American audience could like get some laughs out of that. Like,
Yeah.
it serves a purpose, but like it's just not.
It's weak.
It's
Remember like
whatever.
looking bad.
It does look.
Where's our like Back to the Future? Like when since
Word's so easy.
Tenet? It's not really.
Said no
time
one
travel,
ever.
is it?
No.
It's
Ratings.
so goddamn confusing.
rating fucking 5. It was like I remember watching it. I was like, this is bad, but I can tolerate it.
I guess I would do 5.
I was
feel
thinking
like
5.
I feel like lower would be
Hot.
too bad.
It
Last,
was like what?
but not least,
Oh boy.
What is it?
Violent Night.
Oh fuck.
Oh man.
Did you watch this?
No.
You don't have to leave the room.
Oh.
I really don't want to hear what
Ho,
happens.
Ho, ho.
I genuinely want to experience
All
this.
right.
That great
Maybe
of a
next
movie.
Christmas.
All right, fuck you guys.
No, you can. You can leave, but
Go ahead.
you don't have to.
Get out of here. Who gives a shit?
This movie, fun Christmas.
Man, I want this to be top 5 too.
Took itself not too
I don't
seriously,
know
which
if I
was
can.
great.
Yeah, David Harbour was good.
John Leguizamo is pretty
Great.
funny.
The fact that
As
they were
always.
saying these like awful Christmas puns, like
So
every
good.
like they all had like Christmas code names. All the bad guys.
His like backstory was that he accidentally pushed somebody down the stairs on Christmas or something.
It was just
It just-
fun. It was fun. What are you gonna say? All the stuff with like the family
the
was like,
Russian
who cares?
or like Viking background.
Oh my god, that was awesome.
That was
Yeah,
worth the price of
blacked out.
admission. The
That was
first,
so funny.
the shed scene was fun, where he's killing everyone.
Yeah.
What? It's just the like one shot for a second.
And then
the
you-
music.
Yeah, it's like slowly hinting at like I think it does like twice.
I wish they
right?
didn't even say anything.
I kind of
Just
just
it came out of nowhere.
It's just like it's so ominous. I don't know.
yeah, it was good.
I loved it. It was violent. The violence was awesome. The one-liners were even better.
Yeah, not much to say. It was about what I expected. I got what I wanted.
I struggled to rate it because it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a bad-
one of like this and
Fucking-
RRR have been like the 2 movies this year that have been like these are awesome. Now this
I'm
one
not
is
sure
like
they're
a
quite
worse
comparable.
movie.
I think the husband like takes this movie down.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
with the
I don't like
family.
him.
I like the like stuff at least with
Daughter
the
was
little
fun.
girl and Santa, but like all the thing with the I was like, who cares? I I think it's a 6. I want to give it a
I
7,
was thinking 6.
but
Yeah.
I think 6 is appropriate.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it is
Eight
a
with a-
6 movie.
8 with a drink in your hand.
Some spiked eggnog.
Yeah.
That's 54 movies
That took forever.
from the year.
How many?
Overall-
averaging 3 hours apiece.
Overall, I thought it was... looking at like my top 10 for this year compared to last year, I'm pretty happy with it. I think there's some...
Okay,
Okay.
I think what at least 3 of us put Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah, that's
or
rough.
Far From Home. No Way Home.
No Way Home.
No Way
just-
Home
The movie sucks.
in our top 5.
That's slim pickings.
So like that's yeah.
That is slim pickings.
Should we do,
There was
should we do
also-
stinkers of the year
I have
first?
like
Let's do the
I have like
stinkiest.
7 rated 8 and above. I think it's successful.
Yeah, exactly. All right, stinkers from the year. I think
Thor.
Thor,
Morbius.
Morbius,
And
Jurassic
fucking
World.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic World is like easily my least
Well,
favorite movie this year.
Black Adam was pretty bad.
I guess ones that I've
I'm
watched.
trying to think of some one that's like worse than that.
Texas Tall Girl.
Oh yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Tall Girl.
I think I had more fun with Tall Girl than Black Adam.
I didn't hate Black. I wasn't on the Black Adam. Like I didn't hate it that much. It just really sucked.
How is this?
She's
like
in my
a
stinkiest
idiot
is
today?
Thor, probably.
Stinkiest is easily Thor.
What
I
do you
know.
Worse than Jurassic World. Jurassic
You-
World was the movie is like.
At least it
2.5 hours
wasn't full.
long.
At least it wasn't full of fucking diarrhea jokes.
I'd rather diarrhea in my mouth than sand.
Sand.
Maybe not.
I think it's solid poop.
Sand would be easily better than.
All right.
I guess Jurassic World. was
Let's-
better, too.
Who's got their top 5?
Their top 5?
Yeah.
I could do mine first.
Let's hear it, buddy boy.
Top
All right.
7?
Top 7. So,
Number 7.
number 7 would be higher if a couple things were different. But Babylon is my 7th favorite movie of the year. Then
Cool.
comes RRR.
Cool.
Then The Batman. Then Avatar.
No, we just had really similar lists.
Then Top Gun Maverick. Then second best is Banshees. And first is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Which is so surprising that Everything Everywhere All at Once stood up in like against some fucking killer movies.
Yeah.
But I will say like it wasn't like the traditional like I did not expect to like Top Gun Maverick as much as I did. I didn't expect to like Avatar as much as I did. I didn't expect to like RR as much as I did.
There were a lot of big blockbusters that were good this year.
It was like big blockbusters and they just like
There were some stinkers.
Yeah.
There were more good ones than usual, I feel
they
like.
weren't soulless, which is weird because most of them like it just like the whole message just get lost in the translation of going through like thousands of different people working on it and it's like not ever a cohesive. It's usually just a piece of junk that like has got some funny jokes in it.
Mm-hmm.
But Top Gun Maverick seemed like
Surprise of the year.
one mind was in control of all that, or like
Especially since that movie
They
was
were on
supposed to
the
come
same
out
page.
like 3 years ago. There have been trailers since like 2018 for that movie.
yeah.
It's great.
That movie was really good, and Everything Everywhere All at Once like has like probably one of the most touching moments of the year. Banshees was like all the way through so well written and well acted that it like kept me entertained, and I was just happy about that movie, which is weird because I almost didn't even watch that. I didn't even know that was a thing. But.
So yes, someone tells me you're not ready. We'll come back to you.
I'm ready, man.
Alright.
No, I'm not good for it.
Just
I'll go.
confused.
My number 8 / honorable mention is Banshees. I'm sure if I rewatched it would probably go up, but it was good. My number 7 is Aftersun. Recommend. Number 6, Babylon. Number 5 is Nope. My number 4 is
Nope.
Top Gun. Number 3 is RRR. Number 2 is The Batman, and number 1 is Everything Everywhere.
Similar film.
And yeah, all bangers, except 20 Minutes of Babylon.
For real.
Yeah, and then Avatar I also really liked. That's about it. And Cha Cha Real Smooth was also good.
The top 10.
Yeah, I just
My top 7, starting with numero 7, is Avatar.
Cool.
Then The Batman.
That's okay.
Okay. Just make
That's
sure.
where I put mine, I think.
Then numero 5, Babylon.
Cool.
Then it goes All Quiet on the Western Front.
Nice.
And then it goes Top Gun. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Number 2. And
The
number 1
madman, he's gonna do it.
is RRR.
That's your favorite movie of the year. That's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's basically a fucking tie between Everything Everywhere All at Once and RRR.
Yeah, I can confidently say that they were like
For completely different reasons.
like
Yeah.
at least like
I think
or roughly at least that I've seen like 8 great movies this year. Which is cool.
me saying those 7 movies in like an order is like
yeah.
kind of like I know that there were some that were on a different level than others, but like really they're all just good and for very, very fucking different reasons. Like how do you compare Babylon to RRR to Everything Everywhere? Like
to the Batman. Yeah, they're all over the place. I've just got Batman so high because like seeing like I just did a lot with like the Batman character that I really like.
All right,
You guys right.
your list.
Let's hear it, baby.
I'm gonna do a top 5 because
It's not that many
Yeah,
movies.
Probably for the best for
I
you.
really haven't seen a lot of good movies.
Number 5, Black Adam.
Ambulance.
Wait.
Don't joke.
Okay,
I'm just putting
so-
Ambulance on there because it's so much fun.
I mean,
And we got the song Sailing from
what's
it.
his
I've never heard
Wait.
this.
What was number 5?
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Okay, what is it actually?
I don't know.
all right, number 4.
Oh my god.
X is probably a
Oh
good
shit,
number
I forgot
5.
about those. Actually, didn't I give Pearl an 8?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Yeah.
Pearl is definitely that's an honorable mention then.
So number 5,
My
Ambulance.
realistic 5 is probably X, but I just want to put Ambulance on there for kicks. And then I'd probably go Glass Onion number 4.
Yeah.
The Batman number 3. Everything number 2. I'll just put Top Gun number 1.
That's fair.
Everybody's putting fucking.
Yeah.
Everyone's like top 3 were pretty similar.
Same as last
I
year.
wouldn't say that's. a
Except
top
I
5.
like
Just
all these movies more
I like
than
those 5.
most of mine from last year.
I think there were some
What were
from
the-
last year that I can't
It was
fucking
French
think of.
Dispatch, Dune,
That's-
Licorice
Fuck,
Pizza.
I loved Dune and I really liked
More
Licorice
thought
Pizza.
about it.
Licorice Penis.
I like
Dune's on my naughty list.
I like Licorice Pizza like in the same. I don't know. I like that more than any movie I've seen this
I
year.
was never a huge fan of Dune.
I liked
When
it.
it came out of the theater, I was
I
like,
rewatched it. And I liked it a lot.
Tick Tick Boom, that's still a banger from last year.
wait, did Dune start the
Finish
3-hour
that shit.
movie trend?
So the next one will be
That
3.5
wasn't 3
hours.
hours, was it? That was like 2.
That was long.
Um,
It felt like
Suicide
3.5.
Squad, I mean, there were bangers
Actually,
from
maybe
last
it
year.
is.
There were bang. I think I
Suicide
like
Squad.
I like some of the movies from last year
Supposed to be
more
Suicide
than I
Squad.
like these movies. Like, but that's only like 2 or 3 movies. There were like 8 or
I think
9
these
movies
movies
from
this year were
that
just
good.
slow fucking going.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I didn't see any of the good ones.
For real.
we need to seek them out a little more. Where was RRR when it was in theaters? Holy fuck, that would have been awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be
Was that
playing
in
in some
theaters?
point.
You know, it's like
That probably was.
it's like one of the top movies in like
Of all time.
80 countries.
Yeah, the most expensive Indian movie. Only with
What was the budget?
I think it was like 70 million.
What? No fucking. Next time I see a movie with a budget of 70 million and they make anything less than that, then I'm gonna be fucking up in
That's
arms.
Okay, what is the heck does that mean?
5.5 billion
Stop.
Indian dollars.
Rupees?
Indian rupees. Is that what it is?
That's a good guess.
Why didn't you just
Convert.
Why didn't you just
Hey, why do you have an
put
SD card?
USD?
70 million. 69. A crisp 69
Why do you have
million.
an
Which
SD
is
No
ridiculous
fucking
because
way.
Black
What's
Adam
that
had
for?
how much? What did we
Why do you
look at
have
that
an
had
SD
250
card?
Gray Man
million?
had
I
200
was gonna try
million.
and use
Gray
it to
Man-
save this
no,
too.
Did you
what
just
was
have it in
what was
your bag?
250 million?
It was Thor.
Thor.
It was Thor.
Gray
Thor was
Gray Man was 200.
Wait, it's like they spend like
Or
60
triple the
million on actors.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Well, what
Meanwhile,
they do
these
is
two
they
guys
give them like
should be
revenue.
actually
two
everything.
bozos.
Box
Yeah.
office.
These two guys were killing it in their roles.
Royalties.
Honestly, that I didn't like the guy who played Beam was like a good actor, but the guy who played the other guy I thought was like really good.
Oh, they were so you don't like Beam?
I didn't like him as much. I was like, I don't want to see this dude, and I'm not gonna like follow his work. But the other guy I would consider.
It's okay. Well, cool.
And that just about does it.
Maybe next year we can.
If
shoot
you
for-
made it this far,
I think
Maybe next year we can shoot for 6
I
hours.
think next year we should do shots for every movie you didn't see.
you just
I'd
get
be
increasingly incoherent.
We
Next
already
time I won't
talk
miss.
about like 50
I
movies.
think we need a
usually.
more comfortable setup because these fucking chairs are killing my
My
butt.
cheeks are firm.
Then why don't you bring the chairs next time?
Maybe
I don't have any. What do you want me to do? Like, you want me to get 4 very comfortable chairs?
I was just saying we need a better setup.
Relax, Chase.
Yeah, we've gone from a red wall to a blue wall.
The
That's a
colors
cool
are
change. I think we need to keep the primary
Should've done
color
the
kind of
green.
on. We can do that next year.
Any movies you guys are looking forward to for next year or this year?
Suicide Squad killed the Justice League.
Not a movie.
Isn't Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2 coming
That's
out?
me.
That's a
I'm
good
excited.
one.
Yeah.
I feel like there's another one that.
Guardians.
I'm excited for Dune 2.
Dune 2, I'm
Super
fucking
Mario?
pumped for. I really like Dune. I've watched
Super
it
Mario.
twice, and
We'll be there.
I think I was in
Super
like,
Mario.
I think I was in a bad mood when I saw Dune because I was like, I did not want that movie to
It's
end.
just so dark.
Yeah.
It was
so-
a theater,
I
right?
couldn't see anything.
I don't know.
No,
When
it
I
was not the
rewatched it,
fucking
it was.
theater.
Okay, well, the theater
I've been
was
saying that since the
darker
goddamn-
than normal.
We
And
saw-
that is a
wasn't. That
fact.
was the fucking movie.
No, I
No,
rewatched the
we
movie
saw,
and it
we
was
saw like
fine.
3 movies in that theater, and they were all like dark.
I agree.
I don't know.
I promise.
Well, I'm looking forward to
other movies are
Spider-Man
coming
Into
out?
the Spider-Verse. I bet it's gonna be great.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man Across the
Yeah.
Spider-Verse. I bet it's gonna be
What
great.
other movies are coming out?
I'm looking
The
forward
Marvels?
to.
I don't give a shit about any Marvel movies.
I don't know.
65.
I'm looking
Oh,
forward
65 is gonna be
to
awesome.
Cocaine Bear
Ah.
65.
Cocaine Bear.
Every movie that played
I
before
don't think I can sit
Babylon.
through Cocaine Bear. That movie seems.
Oh, Oppenheimer. That actually.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I swear that was another one.
Is Tarantino doing a series this year? Or
I don't
Shazam,
know if
John
that's this
Wick,
year. Indiana Jones.
Megan.
That trailer.
The
Oh,
Dial.
Megan comes out
Mithrigan.
tomorrow.
I keep getting fucking.
I did too.
questions
It's got
on
like a
that movie.
96 on Rotten Tomatoes. You should probably check it out. It'll be bad, but it'll be a fun bad.
F it.
Barbie.
Walk out.
The
Oh,
Craven
Barbie, yeah.
movie.
Not that.
The Barbie movie looks weird as fuck.
I don't know what it's supposed to be.
I'm kind of excited.
It will probably be good.
I mean, I'll watch it.
I were betting man.
Cocaine Bear.
Guardians 3, the only Marvel movie that might be good.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Here's hoping.
Did you guys watch the Christmas special? That was
Yeah.
decent.
I'm solid. Hey, stop that.
Oops. Kevin Barkin.
Alright, well, Joseph, you want to close us out?
It's been 5 hours, 4 hours. How long did this take?
It's been 5 hours.
It's been
Yeah,
5
so
hours,
Did
and
not start at 7.
you know we spent countless hours watching these movies, so got to give them some justice. You know, if there's anyone out there, you agree with us, you disagree with us.
What's your top 5?
Let us know.
Top 8.
Yeah, top 8.
And why is it ambulance
We're
like this
accepting
guy?
it, yeah.
Or just at least skip to your
Didn't see
favorite.
enough movies.
Just skip to the favorites of the year.
Fucking
just
watch
our
RRR.
review and then just turn the video off.
Watch RRR. Honestly,
If there's one movie I recommend,
if there's one
it is
takeaway
Shout
from
out
this-
RR for 10 minutes.
I didn't shit on it. I was just saying it's
Said
good,
to
but
shit
I have
on it.
complaints. Watch it.
Stupid.
Just watch it. Just watch RR. That's all I
Watch it.
gotta say. That's all I gotta say for 2022. Fuck you. Watch it. Watch RR.
Hopefully some like mystery movies come out in the following months.
sure.
Enola
for
Holmes
the end
2.
of
You
this
guys,
year.
none of you
Remember?
watched it.
I missed it.
Best movie of the
Oh
year.
shoot, I actually forgot to
I
put
did
that
watch
on.
the first one.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus, Chase, be polite.
Bye. I'm so sweaty.